Well, you can't win them all. You can't be right all the time. But Penn, Marz, Carson, when you're right, you're right. And boy, did I not say Rudy Gobert is one of those players, Marz. Have we not been big up in Rudy Gobert and how phenomenal he is? He's one of the 10 best defenders of all time. I specifically remember, Marz, people down talking Rudy Gobert for years, saying that he wasn't worthwhile. And then on the other end, who could have predicted Nickeil Alexander-Walker strapping Jalen Brunson? On the other end, I'm not going to lie, Marz, this might be a bad day for some, but this is a good day for me. I feel great today. That was a great evening. You know what? And defense matters. That's the biggest thing. That's my biggest takeaway from all this. Defense always matters. You need players to be able to lock in defensively. And wow, man, what a special show. Carson, how you feeling about everything going on, bro? First off, welcome to the show, man. Good to meet you, man. Can't wait to hear from you, bro.
Appreciate it. Yeah, good to be here. Thanks for having me on. I think defense does matter, and we've seen from the Nuggets and Wolves series, when your center doesn't play defense, it matters. The Minnesota Timberwolves were 15th in paint points per game in the regular season. They are at 58 paint points per game this year. That would be first, right? They're shooting, 74% from the paint when Jokic is the nearest defender on nearly 27 shots a game. I mean, the paint is sweet. And Jokic has proven to be a liability in that area. It's concerning. I would be concerned are you concerned as the Nuggets and Jokic fan that you are?
Penn?
Oh, you want me to defend you again?
No, I'm not. No, are you talking to me?
He asked a Nuggets fan. He literally said, as a Nuggets fan.
Is that you, Marz? Hey. Marz, are you the Nuggets fan of it, Marz? I'm not the Nuggets fan of it.
I'm a Nuggets fan.
He is a Nuggets fan. Go ahead, Penn.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Right. Let's get to it then.
Go ahead, Penn.
If I'm a Nuggets fan right now, I need this team to get angry. I need this team to really show some pride. I need this team to show some grit and some toughness. And I need my star player to show up. I need my star player to be a star player right now, right? Truth be told, Nikola Jokic has been so great for so long that when he has a game like this, you really have to pause and just go back and look at some highlights from like previous years and just be like, was that trip? This dude is as good as I think he is, right? When Jaden McDaniels calls out your entire team, I'm expecting a response from the Denver Nuggets. I know Aaron Gordon downplayed it and he said, "No, we don't care about that." But I consider that media training. Internally in that locker room, I'm thinking, let's go punk these dudes. And to come out the way that the Nuggets did yesterday, to get down as early as they did, that was very disappointing to me. It was very disappointing, and I'm looking for a response in Game 4. And if there's no response in Game 4, this is going to be a quick series.
I'm not one of these lighthearted dudes. No, I want to get right to the meat and potatoes of this. He said the whole team was food. I never heard that in my whole life. This is the first time that I've ever in my entire life heard a player say you, and you, all food, and really? Then come out and prove it.
That's the first time you ever heard that?
Ever. I've never heard one player go, all of these dudes, not one guy or two guys, every last one of these guys are food, and then come out and prove it. I think that Rudy Gobert has been the best player in this series. I'm going to say it for the people who don't believe it. I think Rudy Gobert's defense on Joker has been nothing short of fantastic. I think Joker is the engine for their offense. I think Rudy has stifled that. I think he's forced him into a lot of tough threes. I think he's trying to get to the rim, and it's not working. In addition to that not working, I think that whenever any of those guys, whether it's DHO, whether it's a drip, whether it's DHO, or whether it's just them coming off a screen and getting to the rim, whenever they see Joker or anybody else at the rim, they're going to the rim. They did all of this yesterday with Anthony Edwards in foul trouble. I'm going to be honest with you guys. They should have beat Denver by 30 yesterday, because those turnovers in the fourth quarter where DiVincenzo is just throwing the ball away, and then Naz Reid is turning the basketball over. Those are silly turnovers that you could get away with when you're up 18-19. They should have smoked these dudes by 30. And they actually served them. I just thought that what Jaden McDaniels did, calling out that entire group and instilling that confidence in what's going on in Minnesota, I think he broke them. That's what I'm going to say about that. I had the Denver Nuggets winning the NBA championship. I don't know if they're going to win another game in this series. I'm not sure if they can win another game in this series. I know it's nuts, Marz. I actually had them winning the NBA championship. I don't know if this series goes past Sunday. I don't know if they can win another game in this series.
We'll have to go past Sunday. Yeah, I think the biggest thing I'll say that I said on my show last night was this is probably the most, there was this moment in 2020 in Game 3 where the sentiment that everybody's feeling now was felt across the world. And it was after they got blown out by the Utah Jazz, and Jokic, everybody, but especially Jokic, just looked horrible. And everybody was ready to throw him out and say, like, this is not the team that we thought they were. The defense was horrible. Everything you could have asked for. Like, anything you could have asked for, everybody was saying. So I think for me, this is one of those moments. This is going to be a legacy moment for Jokic. I think he was just absolutely, like, ridiculously horrible. Like, I called him an imposter yesterday. Like, who is this person that I'm watching on my screen?
That's not your guy. That wasn't your guy.
I have no idea who this is. And I even go so far as to say, I think a part of his greatness is the fact that he is immovable in his mentality, but a part of his weaknesses is that he's also immovable in his mentality. I think when you get to a point where you're like, you need to press and you need to be able to show up and you need to be able to do these things, and the fact that he didn't do it at all yesterday on either end. And I mean, everybody, remember, Penn, we had a whole argument about Zeke Naji, is he an NBA player? He was the best player on the floor last night for Denver. Best player on the floor for the team.
I'm going to play the devil's advocate here because, I like to do that. Does Aaron Gordon and Peyton Watson make a difference in any of this?
No, and let me tell you why. Because there's nothing you can do when Jokic is like that. When Jokic is in that mood and when he plays that bad, there's nothing you can do. I don't believe in that. Like, I don't believe in that Aaron Gordon deserves to have to be the one like, oh, if I can't fix it, nobody can fix it. You never passed the buck like that, Chill. I think he was legitimately, I didn't mind how he started the game pressing as a shooter because that didn't bother me. But yeah, I mean, it was horrible. Like, everything you could have asked for. This is probably one of the worst performances I've ever seen from Jokic in the 11 years that I've been watching him. It's easily one of the 3 worst playoff games I've ever watched from him. I just thought he was disengaged. I thought he was getting dominated physically. He was slow. And then
yeah, what I don't want to do, Swiper, what I don't want to do is I don't want to put this on Joker was just bad more than Minnesota was really good. Like, I don't want. Let's not do that.
Because that's still bail, though, brother. Like, Minnesota they're good, but that's not what happened. Yesterday, what happened is in the first quarter, the Nuggets were missing everything wide open. Jokic couldn't do anything about it. And then on the other end, in the first quarter, Minnesota was bricking. So this is what I'm saying. Jokic was so bad, even when Minnesota was bricking, they couldn't get into the game. Like, if Jokic is playing at a normal level, it's a game in the first quarter. It's a game in the first half. He was so bad that whatever that line was, that here's the floor, if you play normal, they were then losing points because you were out there, because you were bleeding on both ends yesterday. So that for me was what it was.
I want to make sure that I'm following, because it sounds to me like we're saying the same thing. It sounds to me like Jokic was bad because Minnesota's defense was good, because Rudy Gobert was really good, because Rudy Gobert forced him into tough shots. The idea that Minnesota was missing shots early, okay, that's an offensive thing that we can fix throughout the course of the game. But Joker, on the other hand, Joker was not good because Joker just wasn't good because he wasn't making shots. No, he wasn't good yesterday because Rudy crowded him at the long ball line, and then Rudy pushed him away from the basket. And when he tried to get to the basket and he tried to bully Rudy, Rudy wasn't trying to hear it, and Rudy smacked shots right back into his face.
Threes.
Okay, he did miss open threes.
They were giving him open threes the whole quarter.
With them giving him open threes. Let's not make it sound like the fact that him getting to the rim and him getting his shot blocked and Rudy being physical with him did not affect him missing open threes. Let's not make it sound like that wasn't the problem, because that 100% affected his game.
For 3 months, man. We know about to do this. Like,
I mean, really, technically, since he came back from injury, he's been a brick from 3. He's shooting like
exactly. Teams know that. They do their scouting. They know.
Shout out to Jokic that you can be so great as a basketball player that you could have a game like this, and we're not even talking about Jamal Murray.
Why?
We're going to get to him. Don't worry. We'll get
Johnson,
to him.
And especially Christian Brown.
We will get to him.
You want to do a quick calculus on how much money all 3 of those guys make? They can't show up. They can't show up. If are they getting punked too? Is everyone getting punked here? Aaron Gordon not
Everybody is.
playing. Okay, cool. Next man up. Where's the next man? Zeke Naji. That's your
Jokic
next
meant to be
man.
making them better. That's what's meant to be happening, but that's also not happening. So salute.
What's today? Today is the 20th.
There was a clip that went out, and Swiper correctly called me out on Twitter.
Well, Marz, hold on. Let me just correct that first. I don't think, and I want to be clear about this, I don't think you intentionally misled the people. I think that the first statement that you made was incorrect in the tweet. In the tweet, I don't think you purposely misled people. So I want to be clear. People said no cooking.
Yeah. So there was a clip that went out, and then I quote tweeted that with some information that wasn't entirely true. So I want to correct that up here in front of the people. I don't know how many people are watching, but I'm sure there's enough people. So my point is going to come across. Jokic has not led a bunch of negative offenses in the playoffs since he became an MVP caliber player. That information was per Data Baller, but they use relative to league average regular season offenses. So the information was faulty in terms of that being the premise. The premise of his offense is not stacking up with the other all-time greats does still hold true. But I do want to correct that. It's not a bunch of negative offenses. With that being said, that did lead me down a rabbit hole of doing research because I didn't want to be misinformed again. So I spent longer than I care to admit doing a bunch of research, getting the accurate numbers per NBA RAPM. And I even put them on a little spreadsheet. I'm going to ask Host Swiper if I'm allowed to display said spreadsheet, but if I'm not, I will just read it out. So I'm
actually a visual
learner. We showing that.
Quiet, Ron. We're actually having a conversation up here. Quiet.
Do I have permission, Host Swiper?
Please, I'm a visual learner.
Yeah, do you have to send the link?
I can share the screen. I didn't want to start sharing it before.
Come on with the free eats. Let's go.
Okay. It's now being shared. If you could just display that.
Yep.
As you can see, this is what I have tallied.
Okay.
I have taken a group of all of the main considerations for the S tier offensive players of the modern game. Someone has background noise. I don't know who that is.
Background.
That's not me. That's not me.
So the names I have got here are Nikola Jokic, Michael Jordan in 97 and 98, as we don't have the data before then. So Magic Johnson is excluded, and so is Larry Bird, Oscar Robertson. I have Steph Curry, LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal, Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, and Kevin Durant. I have got their prime seasons, and I have tallied all of their team offenses when they were on the floor. I have even color coded it. As you can see, the red is for the bottom 10 offenses. This is 52 different postseason runs. Okay, I'm going to read it out. I'm just making sure everyone can see the due diligence.
No, I'm telling Swiper, no one can read this. Just go back to the original layout where we were all on the side, and that was big. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm now covered by shout out to Splash Sports, but that's fine. I can still speak. So the red is for the bottom 10 teams. Blue is for like the lower thirds. Yellow is for the middle group, and green is for the top 15. And this is for 52 separate postseason runs. Jokic from 21 to 26, MJ 97 to 98, Steph from 15 to 22, LeBron James from 09 to 2020, Shaq from 97 to 04, Steve Nash from 05 to 2010, Kobe from 08 to 2010, and Kevin Durant from 2011 to 2023. You will notice there is a lot of red on one person's particular name. That is because Nikola Jokic, in 5 of his 6 postseason runs thus far, has 5 of the bottom 10 spots in terms of team offense when he is on the floor. Thus far in the 26 series, the Nuggets have a negative 8.6 offense. No one else has a negative offense on this list for reference. He's the only one with a negative offense. His other spots in the bottom 10 include the 25 postseason run, the 24 postseason run, the 22 postseason run, and the 21 postseason run. The best he ever did in 23 is the 26th ranked offense among these 52 different postseason runs. It is literally in the middle, the exact middle of the pack amongst all of the postseason offense. This is the best he's ever led, was middle of the pack compared to the all-time great offensive players. As you can see, there's a lot of green for certain people. Shaquille O'Neal is the only person with a bunch of green and yellow. That means he led the most consistent high-level offenses of the group, peaking at number 7 in 01, as low as number 33 in 99. Jokic has the bottom ranked postseason run, the second bottom ranked postseason run, the third bottom ranked postseason run, the 8th bottom, and the 9th bottom. That is what he has managed to put together. When you look at guys like Kevin Durant, which was very pleasantly surprising for Kevin Durant FC, he has a bunch of postseason runs in the top 20, some not with Golden State. So before people give him the Steph Curry tax. And I also ranked them 1 through 52. If people would like to know 1 through 52, I can tell you. In first place, it was Steph Curry in 2017. In second place, it was Kevin Durant in 2017. So we know they are merged together. We can understand, take that with a pinch of salt. In third place was LeBron James in 2017. In fourth place was Steve Nash in 2005. In fifth place was Steve Nash in 2010. In sixth place was LeBron James in 2016. In seventh place was Shaquille O'Neal in 01. In eighth place was Steve Nash in 06. In ninth place was Shaq in 98. In 10th place was Shaq in 2000. I'm then going to move to the bottom 10. I don't need to read 11 through 40. In the bottom 10, we have LeBron James in 2011, his worst postseason run in his prime. Jokic in 2025. Jokic in 2022. Steve Nash in 08. Steph Curry in 2015. Kevin Durant in 2011. Jokic in 2024. Kevin Durant in 2013. Nikola Jokic in 2021. And Nikola Jokic in 2026. So I just want to make sure that everyone is aware that Nikola Jokic, amongst the transcendent offensive players of this modern era, has led by far and away the worst postseason offenses when he is on the floor, and it's not even close. He has led not one above average offense relative to this group. Meanwhile, a bunch of them are in the top 20. Kobe has, I think, 3 top 20 finishes. Steph has 3 top 20 finishes, I want to say.
Oh my God.
LeBron has a bunch of top 20 finishes. Shaq has all of his in the top 35.
Penn, you should be loving this, by the way.
So yeah, this is
You should be
based on the
loving
fact
this.
that-
This
Why
is
would
all you.
Why would I love this?
No, he doesn't need to love it. So because I was incorrect about negative offenses, it did lead me down this rabbit hole.
So this is basically
so-
doubling down. You are doubling down.
Yeah, because I was.
You know why he's
absolutely correct.
doubling down, Penn? He's
Yeah, 'cause I
doubling
was
down
correct.
because these are the facts.
So
This is what he did.
So,
This is to Marz's
based on
point.
this
Keep going,
information
Marz.
at hand, I'm going to once again pose the question I posed 2 days ago, but without inaccurate information so that no one can misconstrue the argument. The premise was he leads worse offenses than the other S tier offensive players, but it got obviously I led with negative offenses, so it got not misrepresented, but people focused on that part instead of the actual premise. So now I've got the accurate data. I'm going to pose the question again. Why has Nikola Jokic led by far and away the worst postseason offenses when he's on the floor compared to his peers? And this is all relative to the opponent's defense. So it's accounting for the fact he's played stronger defenses. So the bar to be above league average is lower because their defensive ratings are lower. So you don't need to have a 120 against a team with a 106 defensive rating to have a plus. You know what I'm saying? So it's accounting for opponent defenses. So with all of that being said, why does he have 5 of the bottom 10? And why does he have not 1 in the top half? Someone please explain it.
So do you also include like 2021-22 with
You seeing all the
the
numbers?
rosters?
All of the
Everything
Yeah,
is
but
there.
I'm asking. Hold on, I'm asking context. But like we
21
realize,
to 26 is all included. Yes.
yeah, I know, but we
Yes,
realize
we're
the
aware of
context.
the roster he had.
Yeah, but that's a part of it, though. I mean, they
Sure.
played against the 2022 Golden State Warriors by
Yeah,
himself.
+3 offense. Yeah.
No, but I'm not even like you asked the question I'm answering, and I think the issue is that when you get into 21, that was without Murray, the injured Porter, Will Barton, and them, and he played versus the team that went to the NBA Finals that year with 57 games.
-7 in that series. Yeah.
Yeah, that was for several
Bad
reasons,
one.
but obviously,
Yeah,
but I
bad
don't blame
one.
Jokic
Yeah.
for that. And then in 2022 is him versus the Warriors without Porter or Murray. And I think the
+30,
the
yeah.
delineation I would have for you here is that because since you're doing this with the team construct thing, why is it then that if we've seen in the last 6 years, which I think you can also verify with the same thing, that he's been the best in these series, in every series he's played in, he's been the best scorer versus those defenses in every run that he's been on. And I think
What do you
for
mean
the
by that?
so if you look at him versus the Warriors, he was a +10 relative as a scorer versus that Warriors team. Like,
Okay.
and I think some of this is like he didn't have the teammates to be able to depend on in order to get to a point where he can actually score at a high enough level to offset some of the stuff they were running into. I think this series has been bad because like Jokic legitimately has been bad. I think last year, even versus OKC, which is maybe we talked about one of the most talented defenses we've ever seen. I think he had some series in that game, or some games in that series rather, where he was inefficient as a scorer. That would be game 2, 3, and then 4, and then had game 5, which he was a minus in that game because nobody in the fourth quarter scored with him in that game. Like, so even that, like contextually, like I think he was a minus in a game that maybe the best playoff game we had all last year. He was like a -5, -6. So I don't know if that's like reflective of his value in that game at all. So like, for instance, like if you look at certain situations like that, or even in the last 3 games of that Warrior series, I want to say he averaged like 36 on like 73 the last 3 games of that series, and he was a minus in all of those games. So like, is that more on Jokic, or would that be on an implication on the team around him in those situations?
Can
But we're
you
not
filter
using
out this
four
little
plus and minus,
spreadsheet?
so-
Do you have a tool
I know,
to
but
filter
like,
out
the issue
players
is
who played without all NBA teammates? Are you able to do that? Because last I
I could
checked,
if you wanted me to.
sure, because I think Amari Stoudemire and Sean Marion
Well,
are
Nash did that without
all
Amari.
all NBA level players,
Okay.
right?
You think
I-
Sean
I
Marion's
think-
an All NBA offensive player? Because once again, we're talking about offense.
It's prime.
That's what we're
Well,
talking about. We ain't
defense
talking
and
about
offense are
defense.
connected in ways that Spreadsheet FC is not yet willing to admit or concede, but it is
So how are
connected.
so Penn?
Okay,
how-
so do you think
how
Sean
are they-
Marion's defense would make him an All NBA caliber offensive player?
Yes, I think all
Based on what?
Was Jamal Murray in the 23 postseason an All NBA caliber player?
Yeah, of course.
You're saying
Okay,
in
so
the
in- so in-
postseason, but I'm saying like
yeah, because we're
overall.
using postseason metrics. So
That's what
him
we're
making the All NBA team in the regular season.
Well, hold on, Penn. Let me
irrelevant
square.
to the stature.
Let me
of the
square
player
this with
who's
Marz
actually
real quick
playing, like, in the
because
23
I want
postseason.
to make
That
sure I
would be
get this correct because I think the
Go ahead.
issue is chill. We're running into if I total the last 6 playoff runs, there's a very clear argument that Jokic has been the most effective scorer that we have seen in the playoffs over the last 6 years, series by series, year by year, and this really honestly not even close. So I think some of this is like the conversation we're having about Jokic at this point is like overall team impact stuff, but then I think we got to get into the a minutia of like what exactly is happening in a playoff setting that if he is this effective as a scorer, like for instance last year versus OKC, he was a plus 6.4 as a scorer. Like he was the most effective scorer versus that defense on the season as a whole. It's like, what is it then?
I think we're talking about two different things though.
No, we're talking about offensive value.
We are we're talking Marz.
Offensive impact, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're talking
Not only are we talking about offensive impact, we're also talking about what the result of that offensive impact.
No, chill. That's not the same thing. I think what you're missing here. No,
I'm not
because
missing this.
Yes, you are. Because the reason I'm asking these questions is if I'm watching, if Jokic is going out there and being effective versus these defenses, which Marz can agree, and he's having impact and he's scoring at a high level, but he's scoring at a high level better than anybody else in the league over a 6-year period.
Relative to his peers, is he doing that though?
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
But we're not. But he's not. But none of these players are relative to his current peers in the league. These are all time.
Oh, you talking about the all time, just all time?
Right.
Yeah, that was the names I had. I had Michael Jordan, prime Steph Curry, prime LeBron James, prime Shaquille O'Neal, prime Steve Nash, prime Kobe Bryant, prime Kevin Durant.
And the reason why Marz
is there a reason
telling me he's doing better than Anthony Edwards?
The reason
is there a reason you left Harden off this
bringing
list?
these players up is because we've had the conversation that Jokic is the best
I
offensive
was on
player
Real Talk
in
stream. I read
NBA
Harden's
history.
numbers. That's
So if
also
Jokic
pretty
is
good.
the best offensive player,
you're scrambling, brother. Like I don't. What do you?
If Jokic is the best offensive player in NBA history, well, what does he look like stacked up relative to the other great offensive players in NBA history?
Thank you, Chip.
And what does he look like stacked up to the other players relative to in NBA history? So with that being said, if I'm looking at this and what Marz is explaining to me, it says to me that in offense only, we're not talking about Jokic, we're not talking about Jokic overall, we're just talking about offenses only. He's bottom 5 in offense. Am I not
that group?
Well, he's by far lost in this group based on this.
This is what this is of the great ones. So if we're talking about him being the best to ever do it, it doesn't look like he stacks up to the best that ever do it.
That doesn't. Well, I think the issue that I'm running into here personally with this argument, because like I said, I disagreed when I saw Marz do this on the timeline. I think some of this is Marz is correct on. I think if you're looking at team effectiveness, Jokic has not had that impact. But I'm also sitting here, and this is me, as somebody who's watched every one of these playoff games. I'm also asking him getting tagged for not being able to elevate 21. That's ridiculous to me, especially given who was around him. Him getting tagged for not elevating 22, even though he played as good as he did, that's also ridiculous to me.
Do you think teammates explain a -7 offense in a postseason series?
Yes. Which one? Which series? Which series in particular?
21 against Phoenix.
Yeah.
They had a -7.
100%. And also,
but there's
and also, it's no. But Marz, hold on. But
Steve Nash didn't have Amari.
I know, but it's important.
When Kobe didn't have Powell,
I agree.
or anyone on his team.
I know, but Marz, you're
-7.
asking a question. I think in that series in particular, that was coming off the bubble. And remember, I brought this up multiple times. He was the only player that made the conference finals that of all those players that made it past the first round that year.
He was tired.
He was 100%. He was exhausted.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not even a question. That's not even an excuse. That's
fine.
literally what happened.
Yeah, if I'm not disputing that.
Sure.
So fatigue is the reason for a -7 offense.
In that run.
Plus teammates allegedly.
Yeah.
So he was tired.
My point is, regardless of
hold on,
health,
Marz, hold on. I want to make sure you realize this, Chill. That year they had 1 month off going into the season. of every team that made the conference finals in the bubble, there was only one that
Not
made
doing
it to
that.
the second round
Not
that year.
doing that.
No, it doesn't matter if you're doing it. I'm telling you what happened.
He jumped on my case.
No,
when
he
the same
played
thing happened
all
with Anthony
72
Davis.
games that
Anthony
year. and
Davis,
went
they-
into the
that team-
playoffs without his best players. Yeah, that matters.
6
That
weeks,
does matter.
they were out, and he ended up getting hurt. And you
Who?
roasted me for talking about Anthony Davis being injured. You
What are
roasted
you
me.
talking?
Now what
Anthony
you're doing,
Davis wasn't good. No, that's he got
the reason why
hurt.
he
Anthony
wasn't good
Davis
was
got
because they had
hurt.
6 weeks off and
No.
he didn't have an opportunity
And
to
then he
recover.
got
Which is
hurt.
the same
And then he
argument
got-
that you-
Again,
No,
we're
it's not
getting
because
moved. We're getting
No,
moved
no,
off.
we're not getting moved. I'm
We're not
addressing Chill.
getting moved off the point,
Chill
Marz.
is bringing.
Marz, this is the point that he's telling you. He's telling you that the reason why Joker wasn't nearly
In
as
the
effective
second round,
in
yes.
that postseason
In the
was
second
because he had
round.
a little bit of time off. And because he had a little bit of time off, it affected his game tremendously. Meanwhile, when I talk about Anthony Davis in the postseason getting injured because the Los Angeles Lakers won the NBA championship and he had less than 2 months to get back in, he completely dispelled that for me.
About
Meanwhile,
what?
he's using that same logic
About which
with
point,
Joker.
Chill? About which point about Anthony Davis?
About the fact that he wasn't able to perform because he was injured. And
What
he wasn't,
perform? He got hurt.
that's the point. And
But
why
I've
did he
never
get hurt?
no, but hold on, because Marz is trying to get this agenda thing off. I'm not saying a bad agenda.
He's not
I'm
trying to
just-
get his agenda thing
No,
off.
it
No,
is.
he's not.
It is. We're dedicating a part of the show.
I'm trying to
talk
get
about Jokic.
answers.
I
but
know that's fine, but Chill. The issue that
You
you're
got the
bringing up,
answer.
the issue you're bringing up, yes, it's a perfectly fine delay. The issue you're
Go
bringing
on,
up,
sorry,
Chill,
go.
is that nobody said nobody said that Anthony Davis had fault for getting hurt after the bubble. He got
roasted me
injured
for
going
Anthony
in
Davis,
the regular season, and he got injured in the playoffs.
You roasted me for that.
What?
You
No,
jumped on. You jumped on my case
I've
for him
never
getting
brought
hurt.
that up. Jimmy Butler was hurt. What are you talking about? Jimmy Butler didn't even play.
You stayed jumping on my case. for
Jalen
Anthony
Brown
Davis.
didn't play either. What are you talking about? They all were injured.
I'm talking about what you said. So now,
I've never said anything to you about that.
Back to
Chill. I've never talked to you about this. Not one time. I've never brought up 2021 in that season with you. I've never talked to you about that. Never, not once.
You literally just like 2 months ago when we talked about Kawhi Leonard getting hurt. You literally talked to me about this.
About what?
I don't get
About
the same,
Anthony Davis
I don't,
getting
I don't
hurt?
Get this, yes.
Anyway,
which
Chill.
is
The
back to-
reason
which is
why
back to
the reason why this is not even a salient point
Which is
is
back to
because
Marz's point.
I have brought this up numerous times. I don't think Jokic went through what he went through in that year, playing all 72 and then getting to that situation and then getting in the first round, winning that first round on crazy efficiency, and then getting into the second round, he was exhausted. That's not even like a blame thing for me. He was literally exhausted. He was by himself in that series. And Will Barton even came back halfway through the series. So that's what happened. So I'm telling you, I'm not blaming Jokic for that. So that's crazy to me. And the 2022 thing, I also don't think that's legitimate personally, just because I think the personnel he was out there with versus the number one defense in the NBA by far, and he was by far the best player that the Warriors saw
+3,
over the course of that
that's
run.
great. Yeah, shout out to him. He was +30.
I wonder what
That's
James
not bad.
was.
-7, in my opinion, is unexplainable regardless of teammate help. Kobe in 06 wasn't -7. He was
Yeah, but
-1.
he shot 46% from the field in that series. Shot 21 from three. It was horrible. Yeah, it was bad. It was a horrific series.
We're on the same page. -7 cannot be explained away by fatigue and teammate help.
I disagree.
Regardless of
I 100%
teammate,
disagree.
in my opinion,
Yeah.
maybe it can explain some of it. I don't think it can explain it away.
Yes, it can.
The
The
S tier
last
offensive.
time you brought this
the-
up, we explained it.
Go ahead.
I explained it. I said Jokic is a very deeply connective player,
Okay.
and passing engines and passing dependent engines, in my opinion, in a playoff setting are easier to stop than scoring dependent engines. So I do think that when one of your
Steve
greatest,
Nash really easily, but okay.
I mean, you're gonna say Steve Nash, and I'm gonna say that system did not yield a championship, did not yield a conference, that did not yield a finals berth, did
We're
not
talking
yield a
about
title.
offense. So once again, now you're moving the goalpost again. The whole premise is offense. You telling me if they didn't win a championship or make it to the finals is irrelevant unless their offense is the reason they didn't do that, and that is not the case in any of the years in which
this
they lost.
argument,
so
this very like narrow-minded argument is what is wrong with Spreadsheet FC. This is what is wrong. with Spreadsheet.
narrow-minded is focusing on offense, and you keep trying to move it to places that aren't about offense.
You're focusing on a single number as opposed to the process of offense, the aesthetic of offense, the result of offense.
I mean, I have other things I want to get to, but until I get a valid explanation,
well,
that isn't
wait a
moving
minute.
the goalpost.
no, but dude,
So you don't like
we can watch
But you
these
don't
games
like
back.
that.
We can
Your
watch
explanation,
every one of
yeah,
these
I'm
games
fine with
back,
that.
Sure.
and you
Yeah,
can
your
tell me where
explanation,
the
I'm
hole
fine.
is. We
Okay,
can watch
so-
these games back, and you can say, is Nikola Jokic creating good looks for his teammates?
Okay.
Yes or no?
Oh yeah,
And we can look at that back. We can say, is Nikola Jokic
Jokic
taking the right shots? Is Nikola Jokic going cold from three at the wrong time? Is his offensive process flawed? Is he committing too many turnovers? we can discuss this game at a place where a coach can actually understand what we're
That was
talking
the next
about.
part I wanted to
right?
get to, but until you keep
Like
bringing
there
up
were
them not
3
winning a
games.
championship,
Like
that's
no,
still
there
irrelevant.
were 3
Okay,
games.
yeah.
There were 3 games that happened yesterday, which I'm sure a lot of people would like us to talk
We're gonna
about
get
in the
to Toronto,
playoffs,
and yeah,
right?
we're
And
gonna
I
get
get to this
I
in the Friday
can
episode.
1000% assure you 80% of people here are here to talk about Jokic and the Nuggets. I can assure you that. There are people who want to talk about the Raptors beating the
We'll get
Cavs.
to
I'm
that.
also
We
one of them.
100%
We are going to
will get to
talk
that.
about it. There are
The
people
New
who
York
want to
Knicks
talk
are a
about-
huge market.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes,
pretty sure
there
there's some
are
people.
people.
They are.
Yes, and we are going to
We are
talk about
going
those
to get
things
to that.
as
Yes,
we
we
do
are.
every day. We
Yes, we
talk
will.
about what happens, but I know there are people here who want to talk about this. So once again, Steve Nash offense is a passing-driven engine. Plus 16 in 05, plus 11 in 06, plus 8 in 07, plus 14.5 in 2010. This is while playing elite defenses in all of those runs. Against the San Antonio Spurs, NBA champion San Antonio Spurs that year, the Phoenix Suns had a plus 16.5 relative offense with Steve Nash on the floor. They did not lose that series because of their offense. Jokic has never had a plus 16.5 relative offense in any series, regardless of the opponent defense he goes against. Whether he goes up against bad defenses or the best defense in the league, he's never done that. So no, this passing engine stuff, I'm not willing to listen to. And I actually do want to talk about the skill set stuff, because I do think there are a bunch of reasons why Jokic's offense does seem to fall off in the playoffs from an impact perspective and from his own individual perspective. His rim assist, and I said this last time and I got interrupted and we started going back to the team success, his rim assists get cut by about 40% in the playoffs. Every single year. In 2021, they took a 48% decrease. I already tallied this as well. I came with my facts, so I wanted to make sure that we got through this. They had 5.2 per 100 possessions in the regular season, down to 2.7 in the playoffs. That's a 48%.
Well, whose fault is that? I'm
And by
asking
the way,
a
this is
legitimate
and-
question.
And
Marz,
I'm going to get to the reasons
Yeah,
too. I have
yeah.
all of this written out.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
In 2022, it was 5.9 in the regular season, down to 1.7 in the playoffs. That's a 71% decrease. In 2023, the postseason run in which they won the title, it was 7.5 down to 5.2, a 31% decrease. In 2024 was the lowest decrease he had. It was 5.6 to 4.6, an 18% decrease. In 25, it was 6.5 to 4.1, a 37% decrease. And this series so far is from 6.7 down to 3.2, which is a 52% decrease. The reason I think this happens is because a lot of Jokic's rim assists come from defensive lapses. So when defenses are more keyed in the playoffs and are less willing to give up those defensive lapses and are also trying to funnel shots to quote unquote weaker 3-point shooters, they are able to dictate where Jokic's passes go, because he is not a typical advantage creator from the outside like a point guard is, someone who's able to get 2 feet in the paint religiously and collapse a defense. He is someone who relies more on stationary passing, which means defensive lapses have to open up the passing windows for him. When those passing windows disappear, his rim assists start to disappear also. That is a big reason why I think his playmaking is inherently less valuable in the postseason. Another reason why I'm also lower on Jokic's offense in the postseason is because of how much more 3-point reliant he becomes in the playoffs. And teams are very willing to concede pick and pop threes to Nikola Jokic. That is something that many teams, especially since 2023, have been willing to do. In 24, he shot 25% from 3 in the playoffs. Last year, he shot 38% from 3 in the playoffs, but had a multitude of games in which he could not buy one. He shot 0 for 10 in the game against OKC and had many games in which teams were willing to concede and live with that shot. Thus far in this postseason, he is shooting 20% from 3. Penn said it earlier, he's missing wide open threes. Those are wide open threes that teams are willing to let him take. If he goes 4 for 10 instead of 2 for 10, they still see that as a win for their defense, because you aren't putting Jokic in the paint, you aren't getting him downhill, you aren't letting him collapse the defense. He is now hovering on the 3-point line. The other thing that also leads to that people seem to ignore is when he is popping, Jamal Murray is now having to deal with 2 in the pick and roll, because the big is able to stay and help on Jamal Murray's pull-ups in the mid-range, because they are fine closing out late to Jokic threes. So when Jamal Murray comes off a pick and roll and Jokic pops, Rudy Gobert is able to lurk and stop Jamal Murray from getting either down all the way down to the rim or getting a clean look off and allowing Jaden McDaniels to get back into play, because Jokic is above the break and no one is worried about that. So Jokic popping takes away offensive rebounding, which is a big value add for him. He's barely getting offensive rebounds in this series because he's above the 3-point line. It takes away Jamal Murray's opportunities in the mid-range, because he's seeing multiple defenders that he wouldn't normally see if Jokic was in the short roll. It takes away Jokic's middle of the floor game because he's above the 3-point line, so he's not being able to operate the now. He's not seeing gap help in the same way because no one's worried about him. He is actively hurting his team's offense by hovering shooting out the 3-point line. So that is a big reason why I think his team offenses start to decline in the playoffs. So once again, I've given you the facts of how they decline, what they look like, and I've given you reasons why.
You've made a really salient point here.
No, but
you made one very
all
very
that shit
salient
sounded to me
point,
like his
and
game
you
and
kind of
translated in the
brushed.
playoffs.
No,
That's
no,
what that
you-
shit sounded
No,
like.
time out.
In the playoffs,
Because
his game does not
I think
translate.
the issue that now we're running into though that's where this whole thing boggles down to me. Because I'm fine to say he was ass last night. Like I'm perfectly fine to say that. I'm fine to say that he's been trashing most of the series. But that stuff, when you start doing this about like rim assists and everything, the problem is that if you actually look at who they're playing and who's on the roster and how they're situated, that speaks more to me about what he's playing with in those scenarios. Because if you say it dropped by 71% in 2022, then I'm saying he's playing versus Draymond Green and Kevon Looney. And Aaron Gordon was ineffective in that series in the first half of that series. I don't know if people remember that. He was legitimately garbage. There's nobody for him to pass the ball into. So I think some of this is like Christian Brown is playing in the dunker spot now. That's not like there's nothing Jokic can do about that. The reason they're putting Christian in the dunker spot because he's ineffective on the perimeter. So even in this series, yesterday, he got the ball 4 times at the rim and it didn't do anything with it whatsoever. So for me, when you say he's ineffective in the playoffs,
Bubba, stay right there.
Why is Christian ineffective?
He got the ball 4 times at the rim.
Yes.
Why wasn't he able to do anything at the rim?
Because he's not a rim finisher like that. He's not even a big.
I vividly remember him being one of the better transition players.
Transition.
And I'm not.
It's
I'm
not dunker
finished.
spot.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about him.
That's
being
where a
one
lot
of the
of
better.
Jokic's rim assists come from, outlets, to transition layups.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, that's basketball.
Let's keep that right there, Marz. So in addition to him being,
So that means Christian Brown helps.
No, but 100%
man,
he does. This is when it gets dumb.
Why does it? No, it doesn't. Because why isn't he able to finish? Why isn't he able to finish around the rim?
Because he's not a rim finisher as a guard next to a center. That's very simple. He's 6'6".
So then why can't your big man finish around the rim against the center? Why can't he do that?
You realize Jokic is the only person that can. I think that's what we're missing here.
But
in this series, this is what I'm talking about. In this series, he's not played well. Last year he had shot. I think he shot over. Did he shoot over 60% from 2, 55%? I don't remember what it was. I don't know what the exact number is. He's the only person consistently finishing at the rim. If you want to say this series, cool. Going into this game, he was shooting 70% from 2. Going into this year, he was shooting 70% from 2. No, that's fine. But again, he's playing versus Ivica Zubac and the rest of that roster.
I could look at his layups.
He's playing, and he's also playing versus the OKC Thunder with all the injuries they had on their roster. So what I'm saying is he's not like he's getting crazy help out there consistently. I think that's the other issue about this. Jokic, for all you want to moan and gripe about, is still putting up 40, 15, and 5 games versus all-time great defenses. So no matter what you want to go to, and the issue with Marz, whatever the lowlights you want to talk about with him, which are legitimate.
I'm talking about trends. I haven't even brought up.
But even if you're talking about him at his peak and what he's done in the playoff, he's obviously one of the best playoff players we've ever seen.
Okay, one of the best players. We're being told that he's the best offensive player in NBA history. That's number 1.
Yes.
Number 2,
it's a cumulative regular season playoff. Yes.
We're talking, and since you want a subject swiper of talking about 14 and 15, if you look at the box score, sure, he went 27, 14, and 8 yesterday. Now on the box score,
we're not saying that was a good game yesterday because of the box score. No one's saying that.
Okay.
No one.
The point is that if you see that, you think, Joker wasn't bad yesterday. Yes,
Who
he was bad
said
yesterday.
that? What person?
Yes, he was.
Name one person.
You brought up the box score. You did.
Yeah. All right. You know why?
Brought up the box
chill.
Score. And since you brought up the box score.
Yeah, because chill. The difference is you scoring 40 points on 25 shots versus that defense. That's all time great. You putting up 42, 22, and 6 versus that defense. And that's all time great. That matters. Yeah, that matters. On elite efficiency, that matters.
Yesterday, and 10 of those 26 shots are long
He was
balls.
bad yesterday, though.
He
was bad yesterday.
In the series.
But what you're doing is conflating. You're conflating box scores with good games.
Marz is showing.
No, because chill, you're running to what Marz is doing, and you brought up something that's also inaccurate. I'm not bringing a box score just to justify all the games.
I'm not running to what Marz is doing. I am going off what I've seen from Joker in the playoffs and what I've heard about who Joker is.
No, what have you seen from Joker in the playoffs?
Great.
What have you seen from Joker in the playoffs?
What I've seen from Joker in the playoffs is an inefficient big man.
No, that's not true. Again, that's
what
why I know you're lying.
What are we doing?
You're lying and you don't know what you're talking about. That's one of the things I think that one of the things that's getting lost in all this nonsense.
Inefficient?
No. One of the things that's getting lost in all this nonsense, and this is why the chat and everybody that's Jokic haters, this is where we disappear. This is where we always separate every single year. Because I can say Jokic was bad. I can admit Jokic was bad. I can say he was an imposter. I can say he was terrible. I can say he's garbage and he's failing his team. I can say all this. The issue is, and you start running
What happened?
Yo,
Get off the screen, Ron. When the issue is that you chill when you just start talking. When you just start talking, chill, and you don't know what you're talking about, that's when you put yourself in a box. Let me finish this. He's one of the most efficient playoff scorers, literally, that we've had in the league, and he's the most efficient we've had in the 2020s. Period.
Okay, so
period. So you lying? No, chill. No. You lying? I'm not done. I'm not done. No. That's not. No. Chill. This is why Marz didn't bring up the scoring. He was talking about the relative offensive rating ranked to his relative to his
leading an all-time great offense. What is that?
If you are leading, chill. That's why I know you're lost. Chill. You're lost.
I'm not lost.
You don't understand what you're hearing. Chill. You don't understand what you're hearing.
I do understand.
No, you don't. No, chill. You don't. You do not understand what you're hearing.
Marz, what I just heard.
No, don't run them off. Don't run them off. I'm not running them off. That's not true.
This whole thing was about what Joker
you
is.
Said he's an inefficient scorer. No, I'm not being quiet.
What is this?
You said he was an inefficient scorer. Show me how.
What we're talking about.
Show me how.
What we're talking about.
Show me how.
Marz broke down what Joker is leading offenses.
Sure.
If you're leading offenses, it's about a number of different things. One of those things is about buckets. Yes, they're about buckets. 100%. It's about scoring, and it's about being an efficient scorer. And just last year alone, we just talked about it. What was he, 53% in the paint? Something like that?
53%.
Is that what I heard?
It was
53% on twos. That was where he was. That includes mid-range jump shots. That includes layups. That includes anything that's two. That's where he is. With all of this being said, I've heard countless times that Joker is the best offensive player in NBA history. Marz didn't bring up what Olajuwon did. Marz didn't bring up what Magic did. Marz just did relative to the
more
people.
Efficient than both of them in the paint. By the way.
Marz just brought up people who during this time, Bryant, Shaq. If I'm thinking about what Shaq did, has Joker had any series in the postseason? Has Joker had a better series than Shaq in 2001? Any postseason series?
Shaq was kind of the gold standard of the team offense measure I was using.
And the reason why I'm saying this, the reason why I'm bringing this up, Penn, is because I am listening to Joker being the best offensive engine in NBA history. Has he ever had a postseason?
Don't change
Shaquille O'Neal.
No, don't change what you said.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Has he ever had a series?
What you said.
Has he ever had a series?
Do not change what you said.
What did I
just
say?
He's an inefficient scorer. Okay. I want you to stand on your own.
The inefficient big man.
No, yeah, fine. Stand on your own 2 feet and tell me how.
Settling for threes, not getting to the rim. Yep, settling for threes, turning the basketball over, not getting to the rim and finishing. That's inefficient.
You realize
that's what's been going on.
You realize he's at 20 in his career. He's at 27 points a game. I think on +8.
Mm-hmm. And he's not doing that right now. He's not doing that right now
in this series. So
you literally
said he's an inefficient scorer.
You literally asked me the question about what have you seen with your eyes.
You said he's an inefficient scorer. He's one of the most efficient we've ever had in the league.
You asking me what was going on this series? That's what I've seen. I've seen a big man.
No. You said playoffs.
I've seen a big man settling for three.
You said playoffs.
I've seen a big man settling for the playoffs. Just started. Swiper.
No, you said in the playoffs he's an inefficient scorer for a big.
No, there you go, Swiper.
Am I lying? Is that not what he said?
No.
Am I missing something? That's literally what you said.
Can we ask?
Can
we ask Chilltown who's the question? In the playoffs, since Nikola Jokic has all these problems in the playoffs, as Marz has eloquently pointed out. Although Marz, I really do want to get back to this point that you said about the advantage generation, because I agree with what you're saying, and I think that's a huge part of the drop off. Unfortunately, we can't even get to the salient point you made because we're so busy.
Yes, we're going to get back there.
We'll get there. We got time.
But Chill, I have a question for you. In the playoffs, from 0 to 3 feet, so right in the dunker spot, right at the big man zone, who is more efficient, Shaquille O'Neal or Nikola Jokic?
Shaq.
Incorrect. That's the point. You have this chubby Serbian who's 290 pounds, can't jump over a phone booth, and you're calling him inefficient, and he is probably
this series in the playoffs.
No, not this series. Historically, all playoffs.
That's what we're talking about.
I don't know
what.
You gotta mute your mic, bro.
Oh my hair.
Carson.
And again, I want to get back to Marz's point. I don't want to deviate from what we were talking about. I want to get back to Marz's point. So throughout the course of the playoffs.
Oh, now we want to hopscotch to Marz's point. But can we acknowledge? What I just said?
So what is the, so what is the number? I am acknowledging what you just said. So what's the number? So from 0 to 3 feet, what's the number?
Nikola Jokic from 0 to 3 feet, according to Basketball Reference,
Sure.
74.6%.
Yep. Shaquille O'Neal, according to Basketball Reference, which I'm not looking at right now.
74.2%.
What's going on right now?
We also got to acknowledge that we're playing in an era in which 0 to 3 feet nowadays is about 70%, and in the early 2000s it was about 62%. So one is like performing about 10% better, and one's performing.
In English, the paint is way more packed back then than it is today, which means it was harder to score around the rim back then than it is today.
I'm just saying you from yourself. Since I was very clearly correctly corrected for not using relative stats for the team offense, I think everyone here should be using relative stats for rim efficiency. We understand it was rim efficiency back then was lower than it is now. So if the difference is 0.4 in an era in which the rim efficiency is about a 5% gap, that means Shaq is actually more efficient relative to.
Yes, he is. Because
just to finish this point, because I want to make sure that this is noted.
I agree. That's why I don't know why you keep.
I want to make sure this is noted, and we can get back to calling Jokic trash again. Hold on, Pin. Jokic in his career has one series where he's been a negative scorer in his entire career.
Which one is
so
that?
I want to.
Which one is that?
Oh, you mean like negative relative true share?
Yeah, that was going to be the Suns. The series that Marz brought up. That was the Sun series, which is why, Chill, I think you can understand when I say that was an outlier because of what happened to lead up to that point. That's what I'm saying. It was literally 1 of 1. This is currently on pace to be a second. This is on pace to be his second negative scoring series that he's ever had in his career. So I'm saying he's playing horrific. So I think that's a great talking point. If you're talking about right now, I think Jokic has been terrible. He's disappointed everybody, not his haters, but he disappointed everybody, including me. And to the point where I'm having to change. I mean, I don't know if he's going to keep it this way for the rest of the series, but if he leaves the series like that, then it changes everything for me. Because this is not how you're supposed to play in these moments. And respectfully, I disagree with people how they talk about him OKC and the Clippers last year. He didn't do this last year. He at least responded and bounced back. This is a different version of Jokic than I've seen in years. This is legitimately terrible, what you're watching right now. And I think this is why Marz is correct in saying everything that he's saying over this series. I think the issue is Marz, when you bring up some stuff, like talking about some of the stuff with the relative stuff, again, brother, I mean, I've just watched all these series. I just kind of see what he's been dealing with in a lot of these settings. But I mean, I do think it is important.
With all of these numbers that we just brought up, really quickly, Marz, and I don't want you to stay on that point. With all of this stuff being brought up, can we talk about just being a ball player and Jaden McDaniels going, these dudes is food? These dudes is all the relative, with all the relative true shooting, with all the effective field goal percentage, with all what you're doing at the rim with basketball. In the end, Jaden McDaniels said these dudes is food.
And Chad, he's not been. Somebody just said he's been inefficient.
These dudes
in the last
are food.
3 playoffs. He's not
one of them, not 2 of them. All of these dudes are food.
Marz, would you care to venture a guess on how efficient
get Jones in action?
Joel Embiid has been?
Don't let any of these guys off the hook.
Are we doing regular season or playoffs? Just
playoffs.
66%,
70%. So the skewing of relative era, whatever, lumping large stats, you're not taking into account how Jokic is guarded close to the basket. He is obviously guarded close to the basket. Okay. This is not a spacing situation where he's getting wide open shots and dump offs at the dunker spot.
Shaq guarded close to the basket, Penn.
Shaq was obviously guarded close to the basket.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point here. And if you consider the efficiency
relative to who he was dealing with too, by
hold
the way.
Hold on.
Keep going.
Let me keep going.
Keep going.
If I dump the ball down to Shaquille O'Neal,
sure,
and I dump the ball down to Nikola Jokic, with all present options available to the defense, who is likely to yield more points out of that possession? When I consider the fact that Jokic is a better passer, a debate that you do not want to have.
Okay,
when I consider the fact that Jokic has easily the better free throw percentage, when I consider the fact that even if Marz is right that we can adjust 2-3% around, who is going to hit the drop step, baby hook, whatever better. When you consider non-dunk attempts, Jokic is by far
No,
gotta
we're not
finish
taking
it.
that out, Penn. Are you crazy? What's going on right now?
Okay, include. You know what?
No, we're not
Do
doing
this.
that.
Keep
Take
the
out
dunks.
Steph Curry's
Keep the dunks.
threes.
Keep the
Take out-
dunks. Keep the dunks, chill.
Oh my
Keep the
God.
damn dunks. Keep your damn dunks.
Then
That's what I'm
this
telling you.
isn't a conversation.
Keep your damn
Especially
dunks.
considering today
If we
what's
take the
going on
dunks
around
out,
the
this
rim.
really ain't a conversation.
Especially what's going on today around the rim.
But
Hell no.
For a basketball mind who so much talks about block work and paint touch and
Sure.
footwork
Sure.
with Hakeem, I thought you might appreciate Nikola Jokic a lot more than this
I
conversation.
do
is letting you
appreciate
believe.
him, but compared to Shaq around the rim, not compared to Shaq on the
Yes.
box, not
Yes.
compared to Shaq in the mid post, not compared to Shaq in the mid range. I'm talking
See,
about jumping into the
Jokic
big
is
fella.
not Shaq. Sky is not green. Like I
Okay.
want to
No.
make sure
No,
because
let-
I
let-
said
let
3
me-
or
let me
4%.
say
I know.
something-
I
let me
need
say
to. I
something
need. I
that
need
is
to get
not
this. And then you can go.
controversial
I
at
promise. I
all.
need to get this off because I said 3 or 4%. I drastically understated it. In 2004, in the NBA playoffs, the league average field goal percentage at the rim per cleaning the glass was 56.9%. That's what the league was doing at
in the regular season.
9%. No, in the playoffs. I could do the
In
regular
playoffs,
season too.
in playoffs, okay.
In the playoffs, that same playoffs in the 03-04 season, the data doesn't go back before then. So I only have 03-04 for Shaq. He shot 74% at the rim. That means he shot 17% better at the rim than league average. The league average right now in the playoffs, I'm going to use the last year's playoffs and not this year's playoffs for obvious reasons. We are 3 games in, and Jokic is also shooting worse at the rim this year playoffs because small sample size. The rim percentage in the playoffs last year was 65.7%. Jokic last year in the playoffs was also 74%, which means he is shooting about plus 8.3%. So the difference is literally double. One is shooting double relative to that era compared to the other one. That is the
not
gap.
how basketball
That
works.
is
This is not
exactly
how
how
All right,
basketball works.
pause.
That is exactly how basketball
Yeah,
works.
shout out.
Go ahead,
We'll
Simon.
we'll
We
finish
know
this
we're
on the other
Yes.
side because we got more to get to, and we got
Commercial break.
80,000 super chats to get to that want to praise Jokic for the defense that he played last night. But y'all know what time it is. We got to get to Splash Sports. Shout out. The NBA is heating up, and the playoffs are right around the corner, and now is your chance to get in on the action. Quick Picks on Splash Sports is the DFS game you've been waiting for. This isn't you versus some algorithm or sportsbook. It's you versus other fans. Real competition, real skill. The playing field is completely level, which means you get bigger payouts and more ways to win. Just your picks against theirs. Now, last night, if you took the less on lesser, which apparently is Jokic now, you won. Shout out to you. If you took the more on Jaden Marz, wait a minute, Marz.
Hello.
Did not take the more on Jaden?
I believe you did. I believe you did. Good pick.
Oh, shout out. Yeah, matter of fact, listen to me, I know what I'm talking about. Jaden, if you took the more, you also made sure you won last night. Remember, guys, Quick Picks on Splash Sports is the only DFS game where you're playing against other players, not the house. What does that mean? You don't need a perfect entry to cash, get more picks right than your opponents, and you're walking away with money. One wrong call doesn't kill you. Splash has the highest multipliers in DFS, up to 50-time multiplier on 6-leg entries. Why would you play anywhere else? You're essentially leaving money on the table anytime you play with the other guys' app. So make sure you tap in to Splash Sports. If you're ready to compete, use code CHOICE on Splash Sports and get a free $50 deposit when you play your first $5. That's right, a free $50 deposit when you play your first $5. Link is in the description. Let's see what you're made of. And y'all, we got to get to our own. Because there's some really fun games that are happening tonight. And obviously, we got to make sure that we tap in and get our picks in for what we're going to see tonight from several different people. And so it's not loading up sometime in the background. But chill, the games that we have going tonight in the NBA, we have the Celtics are playing tonight with BJ Escombe. Okay. You got the Boston Celtics versus Philly. You got LA versus Houston, and then you got San Antonio versus Portland. Now, Chill, I think you've been on a little bit of a hot streak lately. Is there a game that you want to tap into?
Yes, this Trailblazers San Antonio game. Yes.
Okay.
I would love to see what Denny Avia's line.
Denny Avia, right now, 37.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
So the PR
31.5 points and rebounds, 30.5 points and assists, 23.5 points, 13.5 assists and rebounds, and 3.5 turnovers.
I'll take the more on those points. I think he's getting busy tonight. No win.
23.5?
Yeah, I think he's getting busy tonight. I'll definitely take the more on those points. Yes, sir.
Okay. Carson, you got any let me see. You got anything that you feel good about tonight? So we got the San Antonio Spurs, Portland. You want Boston versus 76ers. You want LA, LeBron James, best player in the series versus Houston.
Yeah, let's look at that Lakers series. I think LeBron, I'm going over on assists on that one. I think I feel good about what he's been initiating.
You want the more on assists. So the assists
Yes,
are
sir.
8.5.
I'll take it.
He's
I don't think they have an
10.
answer. Yeah, he's cooking.
How many
out
is he averaging, Penn?
10.
10?
He's averaging 10, yeah.
Wow.
He has regressed to Magic Johnson. I want the over on that.
A shout out to the agenda prop. Penn, do you got anything you want? Scottie does not play today, but I wish we could have took Scottie yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
What RJ Barrett?
What was that? A 51? How many points, rebounds, assists did he have? Like 50? Was it 50? 47?
33 plus 11. Yeah, we're almost 50.
Like 5 rebounds, something like that.
Penn, what game you feeling?
I am feeling the Lakers, Rockets. Is it crazy to expect an Alperen Şengün at home bounce back game?
Who has a bounce back first? Jokic or Şengün?
See, Carson, this is why we can't have nothing nice.
Well, Şengün played first, so that means Şengün.
But is he going to play well before Jokic does?
That's why.
Yeah, he gonna play well tonight.
So wait, is this what y'all deal with as a Houston fan, Marz? With this is like what Jokic is doing, what Şengün does every game?
This is the first time I've understood the baby Jokic comps.
Okay, all right.
Okay, you know what? Let's go Scoot Henderson. Let's see what the points are at.
I'm not gonna lie, the Scoot Henderson propaganda lately has been insane. He's at points, he's at 17.5 points in assists or 17.5. They got points and rebounds. They don't have straight points.
They're
17.5 points at home.
He gonna hit that with just points. He don't even need
Yes.
Let's take
points and rebounds.
Okay.
Points and assists.
Points and assists.
Yeah.
All right, we got points and assists. All right, so 17.5. So we got a nice little one. So Denny Avdia, chill, 23.5 points.
Yes, sir.
LeBron James with Carson, 8.5 assists. And then we got Scoot Henderson from Penn, 17.5 points and assists today. You know what?
So Carson, if you don't know, this is my nephew Jordan right here. Jordan,
what's up, Jordan?
we got some company here. This is Carson.
I love your film breakdowns, bro. Good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, appreciate it, but can y'all stand up?
No, we're not standing up.
Drench
Shout
man,
out to
not the fresh.
Splash. Shout out to my dog. Hope you're doing well, man. Good to see you, Brody. So shout out to Splash, man. I think this should be a lot of fun. But y'all know what time it is. We got to get into some of these crunch time chats, and
Yes, we do.
I'm sure they're going to be very positive today, Marz. Let's get into these. The first one, we got Tupac Westside, $10 super chat. Happy Friday, fellas. LA over Houston tonight. AR questionable, but I'd wait and see how the game 3 plays out. But swiping my man, my friend, my brother. I hope you had a coffee because you know what's coming. You know what, Chill?
Sir.
I do have a coffee, but I mean this, Chill. You couldn't go harder. Somebody got background music, by the way. That might be Carson or Drench. I don't know if one of y'all.
As you were saying, Swipe.
You couldn't go harder on Jokic than I did last night. Like literally. So there's no beating me down to the floor. I went. They go low. I went to the H word, the Hades.
Can
last
someone
night.
please mute themselves? Like whoever's
I don't
doing
think that's me because I'm muted.
Yeah, I don't know who
Yeah,
that is.
never had this many technical difficulties with Ron here.
I think that Jordan. No, that's not. Because that's not. That's not. Well, actually, no.
Ron is
literally will
perpetual
echo. Perpetually
Yeah,
echoes.
never had this many technical.
Jordan, you're on. You got it on in the background. I just so you know, bro. Yeah. So shout out to Tupac Westside. That was horrible. Be True 2310 $10. Nikola Jokic is solid basketball.
Okay, thank God we can finally talk about what Marz was talking about. So what Marz was saying was that Jokic is not a typical advantage generator in the sense that he's not necessarily bending the defense, but more exploiting the existing gaps within said defense, i.e. weak transition defense, weak closeouts, things like that, breakdowns that happen away from the ball. I will say this. I talked to a coach like 4 years ago who was saying that one of the things that he really sees in the playoffs is that all of the off-ball stuff kind of goes away a lot more because teams are allowed to hold a lot more. So away from the ball, you get away with a lot. So when you are super reliant on guys breaking free, whether they be cutters, whether that be like coming off a couple screens, those screens are going to be really hard set in the playoffs. Guys are going to be holding. They're going to be linking elbows. And if you're not the type of playmaker who, by your own dribble, off a live dribble, is breaking down the defense, i.e., someone like a prime Derrick Rose would be a good example of that. Maybe like a LeBron James, where your like relentless paint pressure is what is creating the collapse. You're going to be you're going to be more limited in the playoffs.
Are we saying that Joker is not a creator off the dribble? Is that what we're saying?
I'm saying that when you compare him to some of the players we're talking, like compare the following, Nikola Jokic coming down here.
He's not a creator off the dribble like Bryant. Okay, I get that. Okay.
He's not.
He's more Larry Bird than Magic Johnson.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Okay, sure. I could get that.
I don't even think Magic Johnson is what I'm going for here. Like live bullet, like when you think about playoff risers like Anthony Edwards, Donovan Mitchell to some extent, also Michael Jordan. What is the common theme? Moving from place to place very quickly bends defenses. Like that's what bends defenses. Being able to attack the rim in 2 steps, that's what breaks down a defense, especially a defense that's super schemed in on your tendencies. I think because Jokic, and this is something that Jesus Christ, can someone please mute themselves?
Y'all the mute, whatever that Jordan, that's you, bro. But, whatever.
Yeah,
go ahead.
We never had this problem before you came up, so yeah, we're blaming you.
Yes, you definitely are the problem, Jordan. Yes, you are. Mm-hmm. As you're bending defenses,
he got the new head.
Yeah, get back to the bending, Pen.
Yeah, bending defenses.
Come on, man.
I'm still with you, Pen. I'm still with you.
So if you are the singular force that is creating the avalanche downhill in the paint, then you are not dependent on anything else other than your own ability to create off a live dribble. However, Nikola Jokic is not doing that. He's standing at the elbow, waiting for players to come off of a screen, and the openness of that player will depend on the effectiveness of the screen that was set and the limitations of the defender guarding the guy coming off the action. So I just think that because Jokic is such a transition passer, like he's a pitch ahead passer, a lot of that stuff is going to go away as defenses gear up better. Because he is so and again, Marz, the first time when you brought this up, when you had the wrong stats or whatever, I gave you the feedback that I think Nikola Jokic is just such a connective player in that he is an amplifier of what exists around him, and I think that's his superpower.
Sure.
That's not to and I think that's not to diminish what he does, but it's not what Michael Jordan did.
Okay, but I get that part, Pen.
I hated not to bring up the man again, so I won't bring him up. But there was a certain content creator who created this video like 3 years ago or some years ago. Nikola Jokic is the greatest offensive player of all time. And I mean, please understand, I love Nikola Jokic, but I thought that was too far. And honestly, I think he's one of the greatest offensive players of all time. But respect to Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Respect to LeBron James.
And that's where the divide is, Pen, because you brought up getting to the rim off the dribble. Because I vividly remember having a conversation when we were up here. One of the main things that Joker did when Anthony Davis in the 23 West Finals was crowding him was getting to the rim. And with him getting to the rim, that bent the defense. And it bent the defense to the point where Aaron Gordon is catching lobs and throwing the ball over the top of his head to the rim, right? That's bending the defense where he's able to kick the ball out to guys like Christian Brown. So the things that we talk about in this particular series that Joker can't do, we were absolutely praising him for doing those said things years ago. That was 100% going on. But now, because they're boxed up as a group, and because Joker, who they run the offense through, is not being able to perform, now all of a sudden he can't do that. I don't know if that's legit, man.
It absolutely is legit because players, if you had, and this is where I bring up the point, if you put him with a prime Steph Curry, why do you think the teams form a big three in the playoffs?
To supplement. That's why
it's a hedge.
Why do I keep getting told I have blinders on? I've been nothing but critical of Jokic. I just disagreed with Jill saying he's an inefficient scorer. There's nothing more that I can do to please you people. There's nothing more that I can do other than calling him an absolute fraud.
Trying to please these people
trying to please
a losing bet.
Joker,
you do not need to try to please anybody.
Joker, Steph Curry. I'm with you, Pen. Joker, Steph Curry.
Yeah, like if you gave him that level of off-ball player that could stretch the defense out that far, maybe we can talk about comparing offenses to
Frank,
to
you
other
can get
players.
a job and get off
like when we think about D Wade and LeBron James, they had Chris Bosh, and they lost 2 times in the finals. And one of their times, the offense did fall off because that defense was very, very good. But I'm saying, like, the reason that a Kevin Durant goes to Golden State, the reason that teams want to go for a big 3 or a big 2 is because when the playoffs come and I take away your one side and I take away your other side, that third attack is going to be open every single time. And that's where we're going to go to balance things out. So you can't overload on LeBron James. And you can't. When you have Kyrie and you have Kevin Love, you can't overload on LeBron. If you're going to overload on LeBron, now Kyrie's going to go off for 40.
And when they didn't have those dudes, and then LeBron shot in the trash and was horrible.
Exactly my point. And that doesn't diminish LeBron, and it doesn't diminish, when Michael Jordan went 0-3, that doesn't diminish Michael. You need help, man. You need help.
And he had that. He not only did he have that, we were considering both Joker. We were considering Joker and Jamal Murray the best duo in the NBA that was going on.
That is largely because Nikola Jokic is the best basketball player in the world, and it doesn't take a hell of a lot to be the next best player.
Carson, I would love for your words here because you haven't spoken much, but this is where I'm not on that side. Penn goes a little further than me. Jamal deserves credit for a standalone player that he is. Jamal is also being boxed up in the last couple of games a little bit as well. But they work together. Carson, for you, what do you actually think from a maybe just a basketball standpoint? What is happening with Denver right now that you feel like is go ahead.
I think the conversation with Jokic, it gets clouded by these all-time rankings, these all-time narratives, these superlatives. And so when you put him at that level, you have to hold him to certain standards. And I think the amount of caveats that we have on his game, we talk about the off-ball scoring of others, we talk about the teammate support, we talk about all these things. It's like when you require that many caveats to explain away your stinkers that come against the same types of matchups, same types of teams, the sample size is too large, right? Like you look at this series, they have a 106 offensive rating with Jokic and Murray on the court, right? You talk about the Jokic and Murray 2-man game, that's not going to work. That's not going to cut it. You have Jaden McDaniels putting Murray in a straitjacket. You have Rudy Gobert putting Jokic in a straitjacket. It's like if neither of those guys can get their game off, now the synergy isn't there. You don't even get to unlock Jokic as a play finisher unless he's in a pick and pop, which they're conceding because he can't hit it. And the same thing happened 2 years ago in 2024, Game 7. He couldn't buy a 3. I just think the Timberwolves are dictating the terms of the matchup a lot more than what Denver is comfortable with. And when you have Jokic involved in everything, when you have to rely on him for every half-court action, and they're taking away option 1, option 2, option 3, now you're looking at Jokic as he's not inefficient. I think that's an exaggeration, but I think he's less efficient at every action. So there's no clear go-to answer because there's no clear advantage he has anymore. He does not have the advantage in the post. He does not have the advantage in pick and pops. He does not have the advantage in pick and roll. Right, relative to the usual standard. I mean, I think he's at like 56% true shooting for the series. Right, this is what the Nuggets need him to be. And I know we're talking offense, but the inverse too, because the defense that the Nuggets are not playing is putting them in a situation where like they're relying on the half-court offense. Is what I'm trying to say. They aren't getting stops. They aren't getting any transition opportunities. Nothing is coming easy because they aren't playing defense, which is also on Jokic most of the time. So it's like it puts a heightened emphasis on the half-court offense, and that's been their bread and butter. But when you really key in on it, Jokic is not – it's not just that he's struggling. It's that, like I said, the Timberwolves are dictating the terms of the matchup for both him and Murray. And when you do that, it really puts – for example, earlier we talked about Jokic and we talked about how his advantage creation comes from the lapses in the defense off ball. So when the Timberwolves are not making those lapses he has to post up, right? He has to go ISO. And he's been so ineffective at doing that whatever advantages he normally would create, when those are taken off, now you need him to get buckets. He still can't do that efficiently. So I know that's a long answer, but
don't you think though at some point that tide turns back to this is obviously the hope, right? If you're a player of this caliber.
No, he doesn't think that's right because if he thought that, he would have said that. So no, he doesn't think.
No, Jokic has never had Jokic has never had a scoring series like this before. So that this would literally like never happen. So it's never happened before. So I'm saying if he gets on the other side of that though, because he has routinely in the playoffs cooked Rudy like in the paint as a scorer. Like Marz after game 1 said, and I do want to quote you correctly, Rudy can't guard Jokic the rest of the series. Like basically you're going to have to play different coverages on him, which I think is Marz's point about the.
It's in their best interest.
Right, exactly, right. I think some of this is too chill. They're also fundamentally, but Carson, the thing that you just brought up that I argued about, and if anybody's read my tweets, Jokic has, if they're not getting busted coverages when there's nobody in the paint, then they're having issues scoring. And I'm like, yeah, like I agree, brother. Like and then even if they're generating open threes right now, they're missing them. They're missing every open three imaginable right now, every one of them. And then on top of that, chill. You know how I feel about Christian Brown. There's nothing he does that brings any value to my life. Nothing.
It looks like the shots that they're getting, it looks like the shots that Denver are getting, it's exactly the shots Minnesota wants them to take. That's what this looks like to me in terms of their offense. We will live with Joker picking and popping because he's not hitting that shot today. Well, if that continues, this is going to be a part of our offense. Absolutely. We're going to live with Christian Brown, not just in the dunker spot. We're going to live with Christian Brown being covered. Everything that they're getting offensively, it seems like this is exactly where we want them to be. Right? We want Jones in the corner shooting the long ball with a hand in his face. We want that. We want Joker trying to get to the rim one-on-one on Rudy. We want that. And it just doesn't seem like it's working out for Denver.
Chill. I think
Sorry.
we all up here can agree that Giannis is a hell of a basketball player, right?
He better than
one
that.
of the greatest 25 players of all time we've ever seen. And by no means a playoff joker. And yet I remember back in that 2019 series when the Raptors walled him up. And really, it wasn't his fault. What was happening to him was not his fault. It was Eric Bledsoe. It was exploiting his limitations with an all-time defense.
Which exploited Giannis's limitations.
Absolutely. It exposed his lack of mid-range game.
Yep.
His in-between game, his long ball game, and it exposed their lack of spacing around him, or at least proper spacing, which allowed them to cheat middle and wall him up, which means that the only available pass that they left to him was Eric Bledsoe in the corner. Right now, I believe, and this is not a conversation that comes up enough, is coaching has been a problem at times in Denver. Scheme has been a problem, lineups have been a problem, synergies have been a problem, roster construction have been a problem. Okay? And I'll say this, Christian Brown ain't scaring me. Take all the threes you want, Christian Brown. Take them all. I really don't care.
That's why they put him in the dunker spot.
But Penn,
Exactly.
could you argue that Jokic's inability to score efficiently one-on-one is why they are subjected to, like, don't you think they're scheming for those shots to go to someone like Christian Brown, who's the weak point, right? Like, because could you look at this matchup before in 2024? One of the key differences was like
there's no one-on-one defense, Carson. It just does not exist.
It was 100% was
not
one-on-one. Rudy was covering him one-on-one.
okay, but even if you want to argue
Yes,
that, right? When they matched up 2 years ago, the Nuggets were playing Gobert. The Wolves were playing Gobert off the ball. He was roaming, and then you had, I think it was Cat, right? Cat was on Jokic, and so the idea that like you cut off the off-ball stuff and you live with whatever Cat can do on Jokic. Now they've switched that. Now they put Rudy on Jokic, and he's neutralized his offense. Like if you want to say that some of the off-ball guys are ineffective, that's fine. But I'm just asking you, isn't that a result of like the ball shouldn't have to go to those guys as much as it has.
I think that's
right?
the problem is, Carson, is like, how repeatable is this going to be going forward? Because again, historically, when Jokic has had these matchups, he's been frying. So I think the surprise of the series is that he's been bad at doing that very thing. And so this is why it's on Jokic for me, Penn. There's no moving around.
I need him to come to the podium next game with his hand wrapped up, okay, and just fake an injury. That's what I need.
No, stop it.
I need Nikola Jokic to do that.
No.
We need damage control. Swipe. We need some damage.
I don't need
control.
damage control. Play better. Be a man.
It really is that. It's that simple.
Chill. I'm not gonna lie to you. Y'all get me confused. You got to earn my respect.
It really
brother.
is
You ain't earned nothing. You haven't earned nothing from me today. Eric Spinoza, shout out 7789, $10 super chat. Hell of a night last night. Shout out J Mac and Gobert making life tough for both Murray and Jokic. Shout out to my Cowboys for getting the best player in the draft and Caleb Downs. You back up, bro. They did steal. They did steal Caleb Downs' show at 11. In the midst of this trash that was happening last night, they got Caleb Downs at 11. Brother, they have been drafting very well. Very well. Very well. Brother. Carson, are you a football fan? Who's your
I'm
team?
a Seahawks fan.
Oh, and you got Jadarian, 32.
Mhm.
I love
Yes,
that for
sir.
you, bro.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Show
Even
up
though your
that
team won a
backfield.
fake ring this year. But shout out,
Fake.
no Broncos.
Come on, man.
No
Don't do
Broncos.
that.
No Broncos in the
Don't
match.
do that. Don't do that.
We got another one here, $20 super chat. Jokic is the Messi of Vucevic. All offense. Trash on defense. Marz, how do you feel about this?
I don't know if I've ever.
I think
heard
that's
that.
funny. Yeah, I think that's funny. Yeah.
Messi of Vucevic.
He's the Messi of Vucevic.
The
So is
greatest
Joker-
Vucevic, yeah.
So is Joker who Vucevic should have been? Is that what I'm understanding?
No.
He's like
No.
he's like maxed out Vucevic.
Like he's So everything.
Like it's like the Pokemon evolution thing where it's like they used to do Sabonis, Şengün, Sabonis, Jokic.
Yeah.
Now he's just doing Vucevic. Who would be the one above Vucevic? I don't know. And then Jokic would be like the top variant of that. Basically, the archetype of all offense, no defense bigs. Jokic is the greatest of that archetype.
And Marz, I think you can attest to this, brother. I don't give a damn about no historical stuff. What have you done for me lately? If Jokic plays like this, bro, all that best in the world stuff, I'm taking my I'll take my jacket off. I'll be with BSC going forward.
I'm trying so hard to be on your side here.
100% do. Absolutely.
No,
How many times have you pressed
keeps
me
it up
about Moses Malone?
Chill.
You
If he
100%
keeps this,
care
Moses was
about
garbage.
this
That's why.
historical stuff.
If he
So don't
keeps
have
this
that
up,
bullshit about
if he keeps this up, you think you gonna hear that from me? No, I got self-respect. Chill. I'm not one of the women that if I get cheated on 7-6. Matter of fact, chill. If I get cheated on once,
Not one of those women.
I'm leaving.
I heard that too, Pen. Focus.
I'm gone.
You
Hey,
100% care
hey, Wimby,
about
where's
this
my
historical
bag?
stuff. Yes, you do.
where's my bag? I'm leaving.
Yes,
I'm leaving. I'm not staying here.
Jokic's still
Carson-
better than Moses Malone. man.
Openly acknowledging yourself to
That
being
was
a
the point.
hoe
The point
is
is
not.
that
It's not.
Swiper-
This is not a good look, Swiper.
No,
The
no.
point is that Swiper is saying that he doesn't care about the historical stuff. When in
No, I don't
reality,
got it. I mean, anything.
all you do is talk about Joker in a historical fashion. You talk about him being
but that means he's playing well at the time, though. You
talk
can't
about
stink
him
it up.
being a top 5 player, a top 5 offensive player in NBA history.
Top
All
5.
you do is talk about him in that fashion. You are not one of those "what have you done for me lately" guys.
No,
Hell
but
no,
he,
you're not.
but chill,
You are
he's
not
never,
gonna do that with us today.
he's never had
No.
this moment. No, this is different. This is a different level of.
Which means you have to talk about it right now. But don't.
Yeah, I'm not going into the summer with it. I'm
Right,
saying
but don't exclude
I'm
the
not.
fact that you talk about
Jokic
him
is
in
going to
a
have to
historical fashion
re-earn
on the
my
regular.
dedication
But you
and
do.
my love. Matter of fact, that dude right there will get all of it. That person right there, chill. You see that, Jamal? That's who it would be. Drink more
Who
water.
also stinking it up.
Yeah, who's also stinking? But shout
Bro.
out, $20. I'm not fully aware of the stat, but isn't this leading a playoff offense stat? Also teammate dependent. I can also create open shots for my team, but if they miss, will my playoff leading offense suffer even if I play well? That's why I cook Marz.
Yes,
I
yes,
don't
that-
ever
yeah,
want
yes,
my
the
fandom.
reason
I don't
was
ever
using
want
that
my
was
Scottie
really
Barnes
good.
fandom to be put in the same conversation as your Jokic fandom ever again. Because I was up
Yeah,
here.
you're
being like,
not
yeah,
fake. Yeah, you're not fake.
2
Yeah.
points.
How am I being fake?
Okay,
This
I'm
is-
not saying you're fake, but
being
man,
reasonable.
stand on something.
I'm not standing on Jokic. I
There's
don't think you
nothing to
understand.
stand on. That's the problem.
Chill. No, but it's his
nothing
attitude.
to stand on.
No,
because you don't get to just do this
no,
and not
Ben.
give
Hey,
anything.
you don't get to have bad games. That's tough.
No, bro, stop it.
Not like this.
But to answer the question,
You
team
got it,
stats
man.
like team offensive rating, team net rating, all of that stuff is going to be teammate dependent. The reason I'm using it is because that's been a very strong linchpin in a lot of Jokic FC arguments.
I've never
for
brought that up one time.
MVPs. On-off numbers and numbers
Relative
when
offense
Jokic
rating
is
in the
on-
playoffs.
when-
You haven't
when
heard me
you-
bring that up once.
when Jokic is on the floor leading the best offense in the
And
league,
I've never brought a
this isn't
playoff.
an
I've never
argument.
brought a playoff.
Like,
You never heard.
yeah, convenient.
No, not convenient. Not convenient. Not convenient. Not convenient.
I bothered to do my
I think that is
research.
Nessie. I think it's Nessie. I think it's messy. I think it's
but
messy noise.
We use it every year in the regular
100%.
season.
No, we
because
don't.
these are
But
the
there's
best-
you
Yes,
yourself
we
saying,
do. Yes,
but
we
you
do.
yourself, Marz, to be fair, said it's too limited of a sample size. And there's too many contributing factors for us to use it consistently.
This is a 5-year. So this is 64 games.
I know,
worth
but
of-
it's a series.
My whole
though.
spreadsheet is 849 games of sample across 8 different players and 52 postseason runs. There have been 164 series in this sample I have taken.
Yeah, facts.
These samples are not small, and he has 5 of the bottom 10. One more little exercise. I'm going to read a 3-year stretch from 2 different players. One of them may not be Jokic. I'm just reading them off. Which stretch is more impressive to you? Player A has led a negative 8.6, a positive 3.4, and a positive 1.9. That's player A.
Mhm.
Player B has led a positive 3.3, a positive 3.1, and a positive 2.9.
That's just
Which one is more impressive?
that's
player
just
A or
Player
player
one.
That's just
Player
right.
one is more
A.
impressive to you?
Yeah.
J1 is more impressive to you?
because it's
Okay.
Jokic.
I think it's
Player-
player. I think it's player. I think it's player B.
Okay, you think it's player B? Carson, do you want to chime in? Player A or player B?
I think it would be player B.
Player B. Okay, so the one who was routinely a +3, not the one who had a -8, +3, and a +2. Yeah, you were correct, Pen. Yeah, the -8 one was Jokic.
What's the -8?
That's currently this postseason series, this series right now.
So three games. Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
yes, 3 games, and some series are 4 games. Oh my god,
Yeah, I think the series is still
yeah.
going, brother. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
with the number
concept.
changes,
Yeah,
on the other
and
side,
I'll
then you can't use
be
it.
back here at the end of the series, and if it's a -5, I'll say it then.
In a win.
Yeah,
Who cares?
Almost
yeah,
Who the
we're
series-
we're updating with the new
Who is
information.
player
The
B?
+3 guy was Allen Iverson from 99 to 01.
Yeah,
So
that's
can
what
we
I'm
use the
saying.
teammate? So
yeah.
can we use the teammate help argument for Allen Iverson?
No, of course,
are we
but
going to
it's
say
also
Jokic had less
yeah.
help than AI?
So
Because
do-
AI is leading better offenses than Jokic the last 3 years.
Through the
What's the
depleted
explanation for
East.
that
And is there anybody up here who thinks
It's
that
relative. It's
Allen
relative
Iverson
to
is
the
a better
opponent
offensive
defense.
player than
It's
Jokic?
relative to
Hey,
the
brother,
opponent defense.
brother, yeah, thumbs up.
I'm
Yeah,
are we
no,
gonna
thumbs
use the
up. Like I said,
teammate help?
it's the stats. Yeah, I know for sure. $10 super chat. Bob Solo. I wrote before the series on Substack. CJ versus JB is how the Hawks win. Why are we just spending an hour and a half on this game?
We're about to
Robinson,
get to that.
4 rebounds. Cat
Keep going.
offense not used. Knicks issues are fixable. ATL doing what you're supposed to do. Brown need to switch it up. Go, Knicks, go. No,
Well, that's
the real conversation in this series is the fact that CJ McCollum is routing. I'm talking about putting him on his back in his pocket, Jalen Brunson. CJ has been spectacular. And by the way, since everybody's trying to get off dubs, let me get a dub off, chill.
Sir.
Have you watched number 7 for the Hawks? Have you turned your TV on, Mars? Have you seen him play? Are we not witnessing pure greatness?
To justify all
He
this
has not
victory
been.
lap.
He has not
What'd you say?
Yeah, I think he's been nice on defense. I think offensively has been very up and down.
He won
He
the
has not
game
been
for
good enough.
yesterday.
He has not been good enough to justify the victory lapping that you're doing.
Carson,
What he won the
what's your
game for them
team?
yesterday.
I'm a
Carson,
Laker
what's
fan.
your
He got
Oh,
2
you're a
steals
Laker
at the
fan.
end of the game. He got 2 of them.
Okay.
So we're gonna
So,
leave out.
To me, the biggest reason why they
Chill, I
won
thought defense
outside-
mattered. Chill.
the biggest reason why they won, in my opinion, is Jonathan Kuminga.
That's what I was going.
Nah,
Marz.
he
Gonna
was
leave out
great.
Jonathan Kuminga,
Yeah,
second
he's the
chance
biggest reason
Bro,
opportunities.
why they won.
chill. He got a short roll with Jalen Johnson, and that, bro, Marz, I saw the vision for Quinn Snyder. They were running a 4-5 pick and roll with Jalen Johnson and with Jonathan Kuminga, and I was just like, wow, that was maximum athleticism. Great performance, chill. And again, just to give people a breakdown in case they missed last night's game, that was a spectacular game for the Atlanta Hawks. And chill, by the way, just getting off another dub. I think I was the only one in the Marz jump ship because, he wanted to be on the other side of that to pick the Hawks yesterday. And then Marz jumped ship at the end of it and said, you know what, everybody's sliding through with the Knicks. I'm going to take the Hawks. Chill. I told people that 3-guard rotation that the Hawks are running is a problem. They are legit. They play well. They play fast. They're together. Chill. That was a great game. And just to pull up the numbers from what exactly happened yesterday, the
I don't want
Atlanta
to take
Hawks.
anything away from the Atlanta Hawks.
Pen, why were they not?
Hold on, I'm not done. I'm not done. Let me finish it. Let me finish it, Pin. Let me finish it, Pin.
Keep
Yeah.
going. Keep going.
The Atlanta Hawks won 109 to 108 before Penn starts hating. They played spectacular defense in the fourth. They were up double digits. They gave away the lead. Jalen Johnson had his best playoff game to date with 24 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, and a block. 42% from the field, but he made winning plays in the clutch. CJ McCollum, 23-5-1 with 4 stocks yesterday. And to Marz's point, Jonathan Kuminga had 21 points. Onyeka Okongwu, the box score doesn't tell the full story. 9 points and 7 rebounds with an assist, a steal, and 2 blocks. Now, Nikhil yesterday had 14 points. I thought made some great defensive plays. Muhammad Gueye,
Facts.
by the way, was also really good. And then shout out in the fourth quarter, Jalen Johnson, 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists yesterday. Marz, chill, and Penn, you were going to say something. What were your takeaway from that game yesterday?
You have the floor, Penn.
Mike Brown is a fraud. That is my takeaway.
Oh, okay.
It is absolutely ridiculous that this Knicks offense cannot punish this defense. It is absolutely ridiculous that I have 3 guards shorter than 6'3" playing when I see the other side. It is ridiculous that I refuse to go to Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson double big lineup because I am too stubborn or too stupid to see that it would absolutely work. I think it is ridiculous that a team as talented as the Knicks cannot funnel their offense to more efficient places. I think it's crazy that a guy who used to average 25 points per game scored 0 yesterday because he doesn't know what the fuck to do in this offense. And I think it's pretty insane that we have a mismatch, a walking mismatch in Karl-Anthony Towns, and we don't know how to do anything about it. It's crazy to me that we have great perimeter defenders, and somehow it's Jalen Brunson who keeps drawing the mismatch. I don't understand this Knicks offense or defense right now. And quite frankly, it is on coaching. It is on this team to make an adjustment quickly and smoothly, because Mike Brown is going to get his ass fired right now.
Wait a minute.
It is not the Atlanta Hawks
Brown's
being
fault?
incredible. Yes, absolutely it is. It is not.
Brunson?
This Atlanta Hawks team is fraudulent. They're going to get exposed in the next round.
Why are they fraudulent?
It doesn't make them fraudulent because they're going to lose in round 2. It doesn't make them frauds.
Yeah, but why?
They are not good.
But why?
You are making them look great.
No, the defense for the Hawks. I don't know where you've been, Penn. Since February 1st, the Hawks have been really good defensively. They've been excellent defense.
Okay,
They're playing good defense.
I'm going to try to explain something, and hopefully
Dyson Daniels
y'all can
amazing
just
defense,
vibe with me. I think Dyson Daniels is awesome. By the way, I think honestly, like
can
as
make
much as I
some
love
layups.
as much as I love OG Anunoby, the swap,
he's
the
amazing
swap
on
that this series definitely needs is Dyson Daniels for OG Anunoby, and we pretty much switch this entire series, because at least Dyson can drive offense. Like he can actually create a place where the ball needs to go, gets to where it's supposed to go to. I don't think they're getting Karl-Anthony Towns efficient looks. I don't think their defense is communicating. I don't think their lineups make a lot of sense. I really don't like their rotations. I don't think they're picking on CJ McCollum. Why are we not picking on CJ McCollum? He's not a good defender. By any means, not a good defender. Why are we letting the Hawks get break after break after break in transition? Like, you shouldn't be able to run on a team in the playoffs this easily. You're making the Hawks look generational, and they're not.
How do they look generational? Their offense has
They're
been mid.
they're winning close games.
Yeah, their offense has been mid. Their defense has been good, which has been the Hawks, by the way, for months now.
Their defense has been good because the Knicks' offense is so predictable. You're going to Jalen Brunson over and over in very predictable spots. You're getting him the ball.
They ran a CJ McCollum, Jalen Johnson, Jonathan Kuminga, Onyeka Okongwu, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker lineup.
Mm-hmm.
That's all switchable athletes.
Sure.
Except for one of them, who's a mid athlete, but he still did a good job, and he got scored on when he got switched.
And Penn, what you want the Knicks to exploit
size. You have size. You have 2 7-footers. Just put them in.
100% have size.
They were getting played off the floor.
The game is too fast for Mitchell Robinson.
That's number one. Number two, he cannot shoot free throws, so he's just going to get fouled and go into the free throw line. That's basically a turnover. And that's number two.
Start
number three,
every quarter with
what
him.
you want to do, Penn, is you want to exploit the guard mismatches. Do you have the personnel to exploit the guard mismatches with the Knicks? Name them.
The only guard mismatch is CJ.
That's it.
And Brunson scored on him, by the way, when the end of the game.
Yeah. Kuminga is not a great defender.
He's been a great defender in this series,
100%.
regardless of how we feel about him as an overall defender. He's been great in this series. He's matched
100%.
up with Cat well. He's taken Cat out of the game, and when he's got in Jalen Brunson on switches, he's
The only defensive play I didn't like from him yesterday is when he tried to pull a Jokic and take a charge.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you think Karl-Anthony Towns is getting the ball in advantageous positions?
No, I don't.
No, but this
he is catching the ball above the break because they don't know how to get him the ball in the post. Like, that is a mismatch. Like,
that's a problem the whole year.
Karl-Anthony Towns has the potential to be the best offensive player in this series, easily. But instead, we are funneling offense towards Jalen Brunson, and late in the game, it is becoming overly predictable, and you're coming up short. You're coming up short in these moments because it is way too easy to predict where you're going because you have to go into that place. It's like, why does that have to be the predetermined? Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. You traded 5 first-round picks to Mikal Bridges to get him to stand in the corner.
That's not
really
the problem.
Well, that's because every time he put the ball on the floor, he turned it over. So
wasn't the whole point of hiring Mike Brown to funnel away from this, to get a little bit more like innovativeness into the offense? Like, I don't know why they hired him.
But previous to this, he actually hasn't been playing that bad, to be honest with you. Previous to this, he's actually been really good in the mid-range. I think if I'm not mistaken, and you guys can check the stats, fact check me on this, I think he's the best corner 3-point shooter in the league. Yeah, I think he's the best corner 3-point shooter in the league. And with him being that, the way that Mikal Bridges gets going is he gets going early. That's what gets their offense going. He's good in the mid-range. He's good at relocating when they're playing in transition. Even when they're playing in half-court offense, he's really good in relocating, coming off screens, particularly coming from the left side to the right side, coming off that curl cut, getting to the mid-range. When he gets going early. He didn't get going at all last night. And Marz, I did some homework.
Chill.
most
Do you
field goals
believe that you
in
can
the
you
history
can
of the
construct a
NBA
lineup?
since the shot clock era. The starting two guard in the NBA has only scored 0 points one time in NBA history in the playoffs.
Chill.
That's
You cannot
crazy
beat the
stat.
Hawks
One
at
time.
Hawk ball.
Wait, say,
okay,
that's
say
that's
that
what I'm
it.
trying
again,
to
Chill.
say.
Say that again.
I was
That's
doing
a
some homework.
crazy stat.
I was doing some homework because I thought that this was some of the most ridiculous shit that I've ever heard. So I was doing some homework, Swiper. And do you know that there's only one two guard in the history of the NBA who has scored 0 points in a playoff game? That is Mikal Bridges. That has never happened before.
That's a
Chill.
crazy
That
stat.
has never
Chill.
happened.
Do you believe
Welcome back,
that
Jordan.
the
You're on mute.
Knicks
We can't hear
that
you.
the
but welcome.
Knicks can be better at being the Hawks than the Hawks?
I
Can
think
can
that,
the Knicks beat the Hawks at their game?
Can you
Because
hear me
what the Hawks do
no,
is,
they
is-
can't. They
okay,
can't beat them at
so
their game.
why are we trying?
What the
Why
fuck?
why are we going to try and play their game? We're trying to match their speed by going super small, and they're just bigger and more athletic.
Because
and
they were getting
beating us at the
housed. They
rim.
were down double digits because they couldn't guard them, and then they
can't-
couldn't score.
They can't guard them, but they're
All right.
small. You're allowing them to play small and agile and fast.
No, they
And I
were playing big and they went
Look,
small,
I understand.
and they got back in the game.
If they play small and you play big,
No, but Chill,
okay,
they got
bro.
back in the game going
Did,
small.
we,
Okay.
did we not see the Mitchell Robinson
I
minutes? They
think-
got run off the floor.
he couldn't play.
Hang
Reg,
on,
you-
man.
check your audio.
Man, okay. Think
What am I
about this.
missing, Penn?
Okay.
I
So,
want
look,
to get on your page. What am I missing?
Styles make fights, right?
Sure.
And again, there's a
Sure.
series that's
Still can't
there's
hear
a
you,
series-
Drenchy.
There's a series that happened yesterday that
Might as well
we're not
just
talking
leave and
about, which
never
is the
come back,
Raptors and the Cavaliers, right?
Yep.
The Cavaliers are a half-court dynamic team. They have better
Mhm.
guard creation. The Raptors are a transition team. It behooves you, it would completely be against you to play a half-court game with the Cavaliers if you're the
You want to
Raptors.
speed the game
And
up
if
you
you're
want.
if you're the Cavs, you want to slow shit down. So
Facts.
this really comes down to dictating pace, tempo, and what game are we gonna play.
Mhm.
Chill. It's the same thing as if you were an MMA fighter. Are you a ground and pound guy? Are you someone who's gonna be good on the mat, or are you
I'm
someone
more of a
who-
boxer. Do I want to get in the ring and do I want to
Exactly.
stand in? Do I want to stand in the middle of the ring and go
do I
blow
wanna
for blow with
avoid
you, or do I
that?
want to
Because
get on my
that's
toes
where
and
you
move
are
around?
dangerous.
All right, I get you.
And this is the whole point of coaching. If I am a coach, if I'm a point guard, I have a lead initiator, I have a game plan. I want to force the Hawks to go where they don't want to go. I want to force CJ McCollum. It took 3 games for the Raptors to finally attack Max Strus and James Harden. That should have been the matchup all along. It took 3 games for the Raptors to finally space that dumbass defense out and show what frauds they were with Jamison Battle. My point is, coaching is about seeing what your team can do that the other team can't go, and then a game of adjustments. I have not seen that adjustment from the Knicks other than them trying to be more like the Hawks.
Marz,
And I
said
feel
this
that
to
is
you.
a losing matchup. It is hubris to think that you can do with this team. It is a lack of respect for your opponent, if I'm being really honest here.
Sure.
Now, I may come up here and some people will be like, oh, he's hating on the Hawks. No, I don't hate the Hawks. I definitely respect what they did this season, and it is very smart. I have a lot of respect for that front office and how they built this team out. They have the perfect roster to do what they did in the regular season.
Yep.
But this is the playoffs. You should not be able to guard Karl Anthony Towns with that team. The fact that you can shows me that you are not properly using Karl Anthony Towns in advantageous situations.
Going to go 7 anyway, Chill. For a
Some
reason.
of you did. I thought this series would be over in 5.
I think I said 6. Yeah. I think
And now it's going to be over in 5. If it is going to be over in 5, the Knicks are going home.
I think the caveat that we're leaving out here, because I think you made a good point about being able to exploit mismatches. I think the caveat that we're leaving out here is I feel like the Knicks find themselves on their heels because of how inefficient Jalen Brunson is as a defender. So now they need people to protect him. So that affects
Why
their
are we
offense.
paying OG Anunoby $40 million?
Okay,
Because
we're
they're
paying-
switching. Chill. The same thing you watch all the time with great. They're literally hunting him, Chill.
They go after him every
And
play.
protect him every
Every
possession.
play they go after him. They do whatever they can to not only get him into action, keep him in the action. And what that does is that affects their offense, because a big part of Jalen Brunson's defense is his offense. And if we're consistently hunting him and going after him, we can't really get into our offense like we would like. And CJ McCollum, which Drench, and I think Drench is right when he said that CJ McCollum isn't the number 1 on like a championship team. I'm not going to argue that point. But it looks to me like he might be able to win us
Hey,
a
guess
playoff
what? I'm a
series.
number 1 against you, though, Jalen Brunson.
He might be able to win us a playoff series. And What I want to emphasize here, Penn, is I want to emphasize that the players that you have to get going, you want to use your size. One of the things that I don't want to take away from Cat is his ability to stop and pop, because his ability to stop and pop, what that does, that expands the defense, which now enables him to get to the rim. So when he's getting the ball above the break, it actually works. Here's the problem with that, though, Penn. The problem with that is I don't touch the ball 4 or 5 straight trips. That's where the issue is, because when I don't touch the ball, now I can't crack the long ball. Now I'm just taking bad shots.
How you blaming? How you blaming? What's his name? What's the nigga name?
Mikal
OG.
Bridges?
Yeah,
OG
OG.
Anunoby?
No, Mikal Bridges trash. But how you blaming OG for this?
I'm not blaming OG for this.
I was talking to Penn. Penn was talking about like, why you paying OG $40 million?
Did you completely just
Yeah, he missed
misunderstand
it.
what I
He
said?
missed it. He was trying to get his audio together. So he missed that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he said we're hunting Jalen Brunson repeatedly, and they can't stop that. And I was like, what are you paying OG for? It's to help. It's to help him.
But
I mean, you can't help him if they're gonna put him in action every single time. You ain't gonna be able to help him.
And on top of that, to your point, Drench, OG Anunoby also has to help Brunson.
no,
So now-
but chill. Yes, that's not what happened yesterday. Chill. They were sending 2-1 ball at Brunson to protect him, and chill. All Atlanta did is say, "Cool, rotate ball, drive, shot, 3-pointer." That's the whole.
Now they can't
That was
rotate.
the whole
This
game.
is
Now
the
they can't
point.
rotate.
This is the point of Quinn Snyder's. Look, what I believe is very good about the Hawks offense is it can come from anywhere at all times. Everyone is a threat,
Sure.
with the exception of Dyson Daniels to some
He
extent.
made a
But
3.
yeah, I mean, when you have this
He can score
place,
this
like
series.
it's like truly egalitarian. I don't think Jalen Johnson's forcing it too much. He has not been great so far in this series, but he is not forcing it too much. I think Kuminga is playing within himself. CJ McCollum is taking what the defense is giving him. Onyeka Okongwu has been amazing. And so you have so many places where the offense can get off that it's really hard to hide 2 bad defenders when the offense does not have a center point that you keep going to repeatedly, which is why sometimes, a team like this can be very dangerous, because you don't know if you're going to lose to a 30 ball from Kuminga, or if you're going to lose through a 25-point game from Jalen Johnson, or if you're going to lose to, 15 points, 30 points from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. It literally can come from anywhere, and it's going where the defense is not set constantly.
I mean, I just
So-
think this is a good matchup between
It's
like
a tough matchup.
for the Hawks and the Knicks. Like, I think it's just a really good one.
Who do you think is a better team?
I mean, of course, the Knicks are a better team. They have the best player in the series, but at the end of the day, styles make fights. This is a good stylistic matchup for these two teams. And
What
it's
would
just,
you do if you were the Knicks coach to adjust to counterpunch against what Quinn Snyder is doing?
it depends on what you like. What are you asking me?
Offensively and defensively. So the specific question is, number one, how do I get Jalen Brunson to stop getting hunted the way that he's getting hunted? Number two, how do I get Cat? Okay, I can't.
Honestly,
Okay,
not.
let's concede.
you're not.
Okay, so let's concede on that end where our defense is cooked. Offensively, how do I get Cat more efficient touches closer to the basket? How do I get him involved going downhill as opposed to just giving him the ball at 3-point line and forcing him to drive against mobile defenders with gap help everywhere?
Yeah, that sounds cool, but at the end of the day, they've been doing that shit all year. Like, they've been doing that shit all year. Cat's been playing like that for a very long time. Like, it's kind of hard for you to just say, well, we're in the playoffs against them. Why aren't you doing this, Cat? And it's like, you ain't been doing that shit all year. He been getting with him and what's his name got the most, what you call that, the most offensive fouls? Him and Mitchell Robinson, I think.
Okay.
Oh wow, I don't know about that, but
No, it may not be Mitchell Robinson. Maybe another
Cat
guy.
definitely leads the league in offensive fouls. He does that every year.
Yeah. So it's just like, I mean, he's been doing that same shit all year. So my thing is, at some point, the Knicks is gonna have to find a way to get the ball out of their best playmakers' hands and allow guys like, you can't even say Dyson Daniels because Quinn Snyder do a good job of playing them in spurts. But they have to find something to, like, CJ went on a heater. Like, at the end of the day, CJ got hot. I feel like you have to play a cat and mouse game with CJ. I'm not going to give him no clean looks in the first half. So in the second half, when he does get some clean looks, he's not in the rhythm. But you let him go one-on-one. I know Swiper said they brought 2 to the ball. They didn't do that every time. They let him go one-on-one, and CJ's a crafty guard. Chill. I think you on mute, Chill, because I can't hear you. But I think CJ is a crafty guard. So it's just like you let him go 1-on-1 and you let him get into his rhythm, probably gonna kick your ass come the fourth. So I feel like you got to be strategic with that. You can't just concede, throughout the first quarter because it's about styles. You let somebody get off in the first quarter, shit gonna be a little difficult for you in the fourth.
So
I think one of the biggest
you're the-
gaps in this series is I think the Hawks' playmaking talent is so much higher. I think they're just better at it. They have 3 to 4 guys who can legitimately play the point guard spot in a pinch, right? Jalen can do a little bit of it. Dyson can do a little bit of it. CJ can do a little bit of it. Zach Risager obviously cannot do it, which is why he's not really playing in this series very much. But
Crazy, bro.
Jonathan Kuminga can do bits and pieces of it as well, like as an isolation scorer, although he might be the weakest one.
No, he ain't doing none of that shit.
So like you and Onyeka also is not a terrible passer by any means.
Onyeka is good, Pin, bro. I'm sorry.
I love Onyeka. He's legitimately been one of my favorite players for
I
2
said
years
it
now.
last night, but I think
Okongwu.
I like Onyeka. He's just a small big. Like you need to have.
But he
like,
doesn't
someone
play
bigger.
small though, right? Like he's 6'7", 6'8", and he has long arms and he's very, very heavy base.
I think he got a lot better though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he
I
did.
think
He's always.
Boy, at the beginning of the season, he used to be low ass motor. He used to be like fucking stuck in la la land. And Swipe, I'm gonna kick your ass if you keep fucking up my dude last name.
Who?
It ain't Muhammad Gaye. It's Muhammad Gay.
Gay. Yeah, gay.
What you
That's what I
talking
said.
No, you didn't. You said Gaye.
Oh, my bad. There's another person.
Well,
with
Drinks,
the
they
same
didn't
like
know.
that.
Well, Drinks, they didn't know.
goddamn audio right to correct Swiper.
Your audio still ain't right.
So yes, it is. It's fine. Yes, it is. It's fine. Don't let him fool you. Yes, it is.
TSD.
So what? So Drench, they didn't know what they were doing with Okongwu when he was in Atlanta when they first got him. They was trying to put him at the
No, that's not what happened.
That's exactly. Whenever I talk, you make me sound like I don't know what I'm talking
But
about.
Clint Capella was starting.
I'm watching the Atlanta Hawks.
Clint Capella was starting. He was a backup big.
Just because Clint Capella was starting, that doesn't mean
No,
that
they couldn't. Remember, they couldn't trade. They were trying to trade Clint.
They put him at the 4. They put him at the 5. They didn't know what they were doing
They
with him.
couldn't trade Clint. No, they were trying to play him.
It has nothing to do with trading. What this is about what we're doing with Clint Capella. I'm sick of this dude talking to me like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
That's what happened.
That's not what happened. No, that's not what happened. Yes, actually, it is what happened.
So they were literally trying to trade Clint Capella for years and couldn't do it.
About?
I was watching the Hawks all the time. That's what they were doing. They literally traded coaching to get Quinn Snyder, and then they finally got Clint. They finally got Clint out of there, and then he was able to play more. That's what happened.
Know what they were doing.
Hold on. I got something for you. Chill. I got something for you. So I'm just gonna ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
At the beginning of the season, do you think Onyeka was good?
In the beginning of the season?
Yeah.
I didn't think he was. I mean, good is relative. For him, I thought he was okay. How about that? I didn't think he was terrible.
Started the season lacing shit from 3.
Yeah, I didn't think he was terrible.
This shit from 3 is crazy, Marz.
He made like 8 threes. I remember he played against the Jazz or some shit. He made like 8 threes.
I thought he was good.
He was going crazy. That was in like the first 2 weeks of the year.
Yes, I thought he was good. I didn't think he was great. I thought he was good.
Okay. I was just asking.
Yeah, respect's big O, man.
Yes. But anyway, now back to your point, Penn. The fact that this Atlanta team has now found the chink in the Knicks armor, right? They found the chink in the Knicks armor.
Yeah,
Relax.
You could have that pause right there. That was
relax. Yeah, relax. They
crazy pause.
They found the chink in their armor because how do the Knicks bounce back from this? I'm not sure. One of the things that I do think that they need to do, and I do think that Mike Brown did this a little bit yesterday. I think he needs to dig into that bench a little bit more. I think he can go to Clarkson a little bit more than he has. I think Clarkson was really effective.
You want another mismatch?
I'm not. Here's the thing, though, Marz. I got to get buckets how I can get them. My defense. What Atlanta showed me yesterday. What Atlanta showed me.
You know what they haven't started yet?
What Atlanta showed me. This is what Atlanta showed me yesterday. Atlanta showed me that we will let you back in the game, and if I can get as many buckets as I can and then get back in the game, then I'm going to rely on my stars.
I mean,
Right.
but chill, I'm gonna tell you the truth though. Game 1, the motherfuckers won because JB went on a fucking heater in game 1 in the first quarter.
Sure.
Like they get like 18 points. So like, but when I saw that too though, I'm looking at that like the shots he was taking, it's makeable shots for Jalen Brunson, but wasn't nothing like simple.
Easy.
It wasn't nothing
It's hard
easy. It was
shots.
like, you gotta live with it. If I'm the Hawks and they did, I'm like, fuck it, I can live with that. So I don't know if they need to go to their bench and get another matchup. Really, to be honest with you, they gotta stop the fucking ball. They gotta quit fucking letting people just blow them off the line.
That's where Mikal Bridges comes in. And also
but the Hawks, every hit ahead past us. It's like even if you pick up the ball in transition, they're just throwing it ahead.
Yeah,
Like, and the Knicks are too slow. They
too
just
slow. Like they're just too slow. Like they're not getting back. And even in the half court set, Marz, when they swing that fucking ball around, the first catch, it's a go by. And it's like, yo, you can't stop him. Like, how y'all slow getting back in transition, right? And then when y'all do getting back in transition, y'all can't defend the 3-point line. Y'all can't defend the jump shot. Y'all can't protect the rim. You motherfuckers just not playing defense. That's just the bottom line.
Which is fair, but I could use that same logic. I could use that same logic with the Atlanta Hawks because I'm watching Jalen Johnson, and I have to come up here and I have to apologize. It is knock yourself out. Anytime somebody's standing in front of him, it is go ahead. I don't know whoever's in front of him. And to be the athlete that he is, I'm thinking to myself, you could at least get your feet chopping where you can just stay in front of a guy. No, soon as whomever is playing, whomever, whether it's Josh Hart, whether it's OG Anunoby, all they do is attack that top foot, and he is out of the play, completely out of the play. So I said this before the series started, Carson. I thought that Mike Brown could get out coached by Quinn Snyder, and I think he's doing a phenomenal job. I think that could be the difference in them winning this series.
Yeah, no, I mean it's kind of ridiculous, and I think the stat that threw me off that I saw, I did some research on this because the Hawks have completely flipped the script. Right, when you look at the regular season, the Knicks were the 6th best clutch offense. Right, the sixth best clutch record. 21-13 in clutch games. Right, Hawks were 17-18, which was 18th. So far in this series, the Knicks are shooting 35% from the field in the clutch, and the Hawks are shooting 77% from the field in the clutch. You already are at a deficit when you have 2 entry points on your offense, right? And then Jalen Johnson, like as good as he has been, he's got some limitations. You know, you look at his handle; it's not that tight, right? He drives, he gathers early to me and takes long strides because his handle isn't tight enough to really penetrate through the traffic. And going into this series, I thought that the Hawks' lack of half-court creation would be the difference. I thought they would be in games like this where it's close late and the Knicks' execution would win them games and outdo the Hawks. But so far, the Hawks are getting whatever they want. And I think the way they've underused Cat only compounds the problem because you need those two to be clicking offensively to give you some margin of error. And they don't have that margin of error. And as you see, they've become the first team now to drop 2 games in the playoffs back-to-back by 1 point. You mean to tell me you couldn't get one bucket in the clutch?
Also, I'll say this though, like
both those stats are Jalen Brunson stats.
Bro, praise Jesus.
Am I
listening to a
stats,
Lakers fan make sense?
but I also say
What
this,
the
though.
hell is happening? Hell has frozen over. I have found a very intelligent, very well.
There we go with those words again.
Oh God! But anyways,
he is intelligent.
Yeah,
no,
he
Carson's cooking. He got a great, little taper up too. He got the.
I can't call someone intelligent.
He got the nice, Nutty Professor.
He's opened his mouth 3 times on this podcast, and he's cooked every single time.
No, he just basically real talk. He just a more shaped up real talk. That's it.
More shaped.
He just look like real.
More what? Shaped up.
Oh, God, see, you being messy.
No, I'm not. No, you said shaped up.
What?
Yeah, you been messy. But anyways, I'll say this though. I'll say this. Quinn Snyder in the playoffs have always been this type of tactical coach. To be honest with you, I'm not saying like as far as like the like just being like an elite coach, but he always been tactical. So it doesn't surprise me that maybe earlier in the season, the Hawks couldn't find their half-court offense, and it was just kind of, all over the place. They dealt with a lot, just you traded Trae Young. That shit didn't work out. You try to find some identity. I'm going to say this, though, about Mike Brown. He always been ass in the playoffs when it comes down to execution. Always been ass. So it's not surprising that he's ass again. What you mean, no, chill? He been
No. I didn't say no. I'm thinking because I'm thinking back to previous times when he was coaching in the playoffs. Van Gundy out coached him in 2009.
Everybody does the same shit to him, and it's like he get nervous and panic or some shit. I don't fucking know, but I honestly, but I can't even say it's a coaching thing too, though. Like, to be honest, the Knicks just not fucking playing defense. Like, they not getting their ass back in transition. If they lost this game by 1 point. Just get back in transition.
Again, they're getting flamed in transition in this series. That to me is the difference in the series. The half court execution has not been great because the Hawks are limited talent wise, and the Knicks run the most predictable offense of all time. So like the execution hasn't been great on both sides, but they're winning the games in transition. And those 35% from the field in the clutch and then 77% on defense, those are literally Brunson stats. Like. He controls the offense in the clutch, and he's the one getting picked apart on defense in the clutch. Both of those stats are literally just Jalen Brunson's name written on it. He's been failing his team in the clutch. Like, quite clearly, he's been failing his team in the clutch.
Miserably.
OG made 2 prayer threes yesterday to keep this game close by the Lord's grace.
Sure.
And then we just got Jalen Brunson getting picked apart on defense, and in the last play of the game, he's turning the ball over. He needs to be better. It's really simple. Like, Mikal Bridges sucks. Like,
I expect his ass be traded to the Guangdong Tigers. And
Josh Hart had a stinker yesterday, but I'm gonna praise Josh Hart for the defense I think he's played on Jalen Johnson in this series, but he wasn't good yesterday.
He got a great finish in the fourth too in transition.
Yeah, but Jalen Brunson,
that was his only bucket, by the way.
Yeah, he was like 1 for 10 or something.
That was his only bucket.
But I asked a couple months ago, would the Knicks explore trading Jalen Brunson? If they lose this series, do they explore trading Jalen Brunson?
Yes.
No.
You know why, Drench? Because everybody else has been the problem the entire time. Like, think about what we've done since he's gotten here. Everybody else has been the problem. They've basically built this thing around him. They've made trades. They've brought in guys to complement him, and it hasn't worked. So if this thing doesn't work off the strength of him,
it haven't worked though. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
right? It did. But
And then he got picked apart on defense, and they lost.
again.
Yeah, for sure. But
Well, who
And
told
then-
you
and
to
then-
pair
and then
him
here
with
we
a
are,
big who can't
and-
defend
to answer your question, Drink.
But Karl Anthony Towns' defense has not been bad in this series. Like,
It hasn't been.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
and
That's fair.
here
we
Valid,
can
valid,
say in
valid.
theory Cat is a terrible defender, and yeah, I agree. But Jalen Brunson has been the one routinely getting picked apart. Karl Anthony Towns has been fine on defense.
Like, we don't
Jalen
go
Brunson
after
is
him.
the clear weak link.
Drench,
He's
you
the
are a
one
coach.
every possession. He provides nothing.
Drench,
I saw
Yeah,
Cat make a rotation at the rim yesterday. Like, Cat's making plays.
Yeah, you are right. You are right. I am a coach. I'm gonna tell you what I would do as a coach. Going in the locker room, I get it. Jalen Brunson is getting his ass picked on, chill. Like, I get it.
regularly.
But that's what it's been all year long.
And maybe that's the problem. Maybe we got the wrong guy in here.
No. The problem
We've got
is,
guys around him to protect
Okay.
him.
chill.
I'm listening.
It's not always a perfect basketball player. You take the good with the bad. Yes, his
Sure, I
offense
get with
been
that.
bullshit for a little bit, and it's like Marz said with these clutch stats. But at the end of the day, Jalen Brunson has not been his best, and we're losing the fucking game by 1 point because we can't get back in transition.
Right.
Like, let's focus on that.
So, okay.
But I'm looking bigger. I agree. I think if they get a better version of Brunson, the Knicks can win this series. I agree.
Yeah.
They can't win a title.
Their margin of error in this series means all they need is a marginally better Jalen Brunson. But I'm talking the goal of winning multiple series in the playoffs, going to the finals, winning the chip.
Correct.
Eventually, Jalen Brunson's defense is going to be their undoing. Do I think they can beat the Hawks as presently constructed? Yes. Do I think they're going to? Yeah, who knows? The way this is going. Who knows? It's up in the air. But winning a title, beating the Boston Celtics again, beating the Detroit Pistons, beating whoever, beating the Oklahoma City Thunder, the San Antonio Spurs, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, they're all going to just pick him apart. What are they going to do when Anthony Edwards has Jalen Brunson on the switch? What are they going to do when Shea has Jalen Brunson on the switch? What are they going to do when Jamal Murray has Jalen Brunson on the switch? He's just going to lose.
My only counter to that is you're 100% right. Every team is going to try to attack him. That's exactly what you're supposed to do as a coach. My only counter is it's not very many guys as good enough and as consistent enough as a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander who's going to get a good shot every single time. Sometimes these guys try to attack these guys and it don't work out, i.e. Anthony Edwards. Like, if they want to try that shit, sometimes Ant's gonna show up a sneaker. The only one
Julius Randle. Then imagine they get Julius Randle switched on Brunson.
I agree. But I'm saying, as a coach, we gotta coach with what we got. I'm saying worst case scenario. Most of the time, what we have is you're gonna see a lot of guys try to pick on him, and when they don't got it going, if he got it going on the other end, that's your ass. That's the give and take in this. The only one that I really see. Two, I'll give it two because I give Jamal Murray his credit. Jamal Murray will kick his ass every single time down. But Shea and Jamal Murray, as far as guards, those are the only two that I'm like hell bent on because it's like they will literally kick your ass every single time. Love Ant, so much better out of closeouts though. And going back to the Timberwolves game, they looked so much better when he wasn't on the floor. In the second half. As far as Cade, I like Cade, but we all know the other team struggles. So I'm not so much worried about he's gonna pick on whoever because the other part of his team can't score that well. The Celtics be bullshitting, and it's like if they want to pick on Jalen Brunson, cool. That don't work for the Celtics because their game is move the ball around, try to hijack threes, not pick on them and play ISO. So it's only two teams that I'm really worried about, and one of them got to cancel each other out. Shit, one of them about to get bounced soon.
Trench, if you put Cade Cunningham on this Knicks team in place of Jalen Brunson, would you pick them to go to the finals?
If I put who?
Cade on the
absolutely.
Because he's not a defensive liability. So
no, he's a good defender. He's 6'8" too, though. By the way,
6'6". But yeah,
them boys said it. The boys said it the other day. They're like Cade by 6'8". I've seen Cade. I saw him in person. His ass is about the same height as my own boy. And my own boy 6'9", 6'10". So Cade by 6'8" to me. I seen him in person.
I've also seen him in person.
Shout out my but let me get to these super chats, y'all, because we got a lot.
He just shrunk. He's getting older. That's it.
We got a lot dedicated, and we want to make sure that the people get all the money's worth. Because chill. People want to hear from you. They want to hear from Marz. They want to hear from my boy Drench and Carson. By the way, you know what I mean. Hey, this is brand's gonna sound like Glaze, but man, done a great job today, bro. Great addition to the show. Thank you so much for being here, bro. Zigsaw Puzzle, $20 super chat. Put some respect on Scott Wayne Barnes Jr. Allen Mobley, Wade. He had hands for everyone, looking like Kawhi out there. CMP, by the way, is giving the Cavs trouble. Did you see his block on Allen battle? 5 of 5. James Pylon Harden wraps in 7. Pin. This is your moment. Talk about my All-NBA player, Scottie Barnes.
First of all, my moment when y'all drag 35 to 50-minute segments about the other series is disgusting. Number 2, your All-NBA player is crazy to me.
Why? I've been big on Scottie. What you talking about?
No. You know what? Facts. Yes. You have.
Didn't all of us have Scottie Barnes All-NBA?
I had him third team All-NBA.
We
Me
did.
too. Yeah.
Chill.
Go ahead and get your show up,
some numbers for context here. 26.7 points per game. 7.7 assists per game. Notice I'm not using per 100 possessions because it would get a lot better. Because he ain't playing that many minutes. 53.8% from 3, 56% from the field, 8.4 box plus minus. Shout outs, got to throw that one in there. Scottie Barnes is 6th in the NBA in scoring right now in the playoffs. 6th.
Shouts.
That is freaking ridiculous when you look at when he is outscoring Nikola Jokic. He is out assisting Nikola Jokic.
Facts.
He is outscoring Jamal Murray. He is outscoring Donovan Mitchell. It is a freaking ridiculous thing. And what this dude did yesterday with that, what I consider a masterclass performance, he did it in every single way. Here's another fun fact. Only 14% of his 2-point shots that he's making are assisted. Only 14%. So if somebody wants to say, oh, he's just getting dump offs at the rim like another Rookie of the Year finalist, shout outs to Evan Mobley, that ain't the case. Nobody is generating offense for this guy inside the arc. He's doing everything off the live dribble. There, he started to cramp up at the end of the third, beginning of the fourth yesterday. He could barely move, right? If he had not cramped up the rate he was going at, he was going to score 40 points. The number of times this guy off a live dribble, for the number of times people will come up to me and be like, he's a second option. He's a third option. He can't dribble. He can't score. Yo, this dude is scoring against the best defensive front court or one of the best defensive front courts in the NBA. They are putting Evan Mobley on him very continuously. Yesterday they made an adjustment. They tried to go with
Tyson.
I mean, they gave him Tyson a few times. He fried him. They sent double teams at him. He's another guy like Jokic where you can't really double team him because he will pick you apart. And shout outs to RJ Barrett, doing great
He's
work.
Guy like Jokic. Hold on.
RJ made how many
like
threes yesterday? RJ made like what, 5, 6 threes?
Whoa.
Jameson Battle came in and ain't missed shit.
Hold on, Drench. Rewind.
Hold this shit fuck down.
What?
Another guy like Jokic.
Yes,
We just
because
said
you cannot double him. You can't double him. You cannot double Scottie Barnes. If you double him, he will pick you up.
You shouldn't even. You don't have to double him. That's my problem. The fuck is we doubling him for?
They don't have a single player who can guard him. Not one. Not one player.
I will take. I promise you, Scottie. If I was coaching the Cavs, Scottie would average 50. Go get it. Go get your 50.
And you would lose.
We're gonna beat the shit out y'all. I promise.
They would be in foul trouble because
that's why because Scottie Barnes is like his physicality as a driver is overwhelming the Cavs, and I think that's the biggest thing. Like he's physically dominating Evan Mobley.
Evan Mobley looks.
Sometimes Colin Murray Balls is doing the same thing. Like he's not doing it by getting to the line,
which is crazy because he didn't do that.
He's so strong that when he catches
heard
the ball in like the
Mobley
short
talks.
roll or whatever, like he's getting to that left hand every time, and he's getting clean finishing angles simply because he's so strong. He's ridiculous.
He had 18 paint points. He was a plus 21, bro. He was bullying them. I mean, I'm agreeing with you, Marz, but
some games be tripping, bro. Like sometimes
Evan Mobley's defense hasn't been good in this series, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Offensively, minus last night. Last night was bad, but defensively, like he's been way too jump happy. Like he's been biting on way too many up fakes. Like just a lot of ill discipline, in my opinion, from Evan Mobley. For a guy who I like hold to a high standard defensively.
That's the problem.
Relative to Evan Mobley standards.
Yes.
Like, he hasn't been Evan Mobley good on defense. And then James Harden, how many live ball turnovers are you gonna commit?
He had 4 live ones.
Scottie Barnes guards you.
He's just giving them run out after run out.
Name me another player who's going to give you 33 points and 11 assists while guarding the other guy, James Harden, and forcing him into 8 turnovers. Go figure that out. He guarded James Harden yesterday. And when they threw Dean Wade on him, who is probably their most prototypical best perimeter defender, which they've been using on Brandon Ingram. And when Ingram's not on the court, he's guarding Scottie Barnes. Scottie just took him to the rim, and he couldn't guard him either. He just moved him out of the way. So, like, there are levels to shit, and I've always believed that Scottie is like a team first guy. He's gonna let RJ eat. He's gonna let Brandon Ingram eat. But when Brandon Ingram shows up the way he's shown up in these three,
starving right now. God damn.
Yo, like BI is shoot 12 points per game through these first 3 games. I don't even want to look at the analytics because they're
completely
horrible.
Disappeared.
But because of the he does not
suck. Second to player overall.
Yesterday was more foul trouble than anything.
And I will say this:
look, game 2, he was taking.
You have given this Raptors team. Look, every single game has been better than the last. I want to say that every single game has been better than the last.
Yep.
And prior to game 3, my sister actually knows the head coach of the Raptors, and I sent her 4 messages, and I was like, please spam him this message. Play Jameson Battle. Play Jameson Battle. She's like, I'm not gonna do that. She's like, I'm not gonna do that for you. That's fucking crazy. But this was my big adjustment: is play Jameson Battle or Grady Dick. One of those 2 guys. You need space because every single time Jamal Shed is on the court, and respect to Jamal Shed, he's amazing. But because they do not respect him as a shooter, they do not respect Jacoby, who is a 40% 3-point shooter. They don't respect him. So there is a difference between how well you shoot versus how much do you shoot and how much the defenses actually guard you. When Jameson Battle came onto the court, either because he torched them in an earlier game or because he went to the Ohio State, which would be obviously very known to Cleveland people, or because he just has this reputation around the league as a lights out hot shooter, they guarded him like he was prime Klay Thompson. And it was their undoing. And they should. Because he is an fuego shooter, and them guarding him that way allowed Scottie and RJ to create all pockets of space because they are top blocking Brandon Ingram. To people who are very low on Brandon Ingram right now, they are guarding him like a superstar. He's not responding like a superstar, so you can go.
They're guarding him and Scottie like a superstar.
Are they guarding Scottie like a
He's not
superstar?
responsible.
And they guard both of them like a
Yeah,
superstar.
Scotty's
They don't
seeing
have
more
the
typical
personnel to
coverage.
guard both of them like a superstar.
okay.
If they're guarding
Guarding who
Scottie
like a
Barnes like a
superstar?
second option, and he is
Okay,
torching
then
you.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
But
Oh,
if you guard Scottie like a
So he's
superstar,
starring in his role, right?
that's fair.
Drench,
That's
he's
100%
averaging
fair.
27 points per game. I don't
28.
think you get to victory lap here. You just get to sit this one out because you told me he was a second or third option and he ain't going to do shit in the playoffs.
Okay, first and foremost, we don't know if he's not a. We don't know that. What we do know is
Whatever he is, he's hooping.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
Whatever he
Marz,
is, he's
Marz,
right
we
now.
do know who's the third option though.
we
Who is the third option?
Evan Mobley needs to go ahead and take himself on somewhere, bro.
I'm not-
He's getting
Yeah,
housed.
Evan Mobley had a good first.
Yeah, he's
two
cool.
games, man.
He's cool. But
none
I'm
of them showed up
this is not
yesterday.
even- this is not even
Donovan
about
Mitchell
you.
had a
Just chill.
stinker
Just
yesterday.
take yourself
James
out of it. This
Harden
ain't even
had a
about you.
stinker.
I don't like Evan Mobley versus any physicality, and now Scottie is literally running through him. He doesn't hold up at all. I'm sorry, Scottie to me is just.
Hey,
just
hold
better.
on.
Just
So
better. I would much rather have a four. Much rather have a four that can
You
dribble.
started at point, by the way.
Shoot.
And at the
Shoot.
end of the day, I did not say Scottie Barnes would be trash in the playoffs. That's number one. I just said he wouldn't. I just said he's not.
So he
a
wasn't
first-
going to do shit.
No, I didn't. I said he's
He
not
said,
a
when
first.
y'all are eventually a good team, he's going to be like a third option. He's not.
That he'd be a second or third option, in which you just admitted to by your own admission that they're guarding him like a second option.
But he
and
hasn't been a third option. He has been number one on usage, number one on points.
I
He's not.
said second
He's being
or
guarded
third.
because he's being guarded like a second option. When you say second option, you don't mean 27 points. Just don't even go
No,
there.
Second option. What the pen? Second options can score 30. They can score 50. It don't fucking
Oh,
matter.
so you meant he was going to be Kobe Bryant in 2003? My bad. My bad. You is that what you were going for when you said second option?
That was a good
Oh,
cook.
you did just hear that.
That was a good cook.
That was not no good cook.
That's Kobe Bryant,
He got it,
2003.
man.
That's
He
what we
got it,
listened
he
to.
got it.
Yeah,
That's
like,
Is that what you were talking about? Because if that's what you're talking about, we are not that far apart.
Pen, what do you think a second option is? Do you think a second option is trash?
Uh,
You do know it takes two options to win the championship, right? Sometimes three.
Okay, honestly, bro, like I don't know where you're at with your basketball stuff because sometimes I'll be listening to you and you'd be like, Donovan Mitchell's a second option, and I'll be like, I don't know who this guy thinks is the first option.
Once again, what do you think is a second option? Do you think they trash or what?
No, I
Jamal
think
Murray is a second option. He's not trash. He good as a motherfucker.
Their offense runs through Scottie Barnes. Though.
our offense runs through Scottie. The fact that they are guarding Brandon Ingram. Look, there's a recipe. Look, going into a playoff series, every team
By your
has
own admission, you just said they guarding him like a second option.
they are guarding him like the second most important offensive player, which is to their detriment. If they guarded him like the first most important player,
Was it to their detriment when they won the first two games?
First of all, they can't stop him. I don't know what you.
Was
I
it
don't
to
know
their
what the
detriment
fuck
when they
you-
won the first two games or no?
Jordan. I don't know if you
Oh,
get
we're
this.
going to avoid the question now. Now we're going to avoid the question because what really
You
happened?
like to dance.
I think
you like
that's
to
more on
tap
Brandon
dance
Ingram.
around
Barnes been getting
questions. You don't
buckets the
understand the
whole
question
series.
you're
Yeah, I
asking.
think Brandon Ingram dropping was the actual issue in the first two games.
Okay, but
What
that is
they are doing to Brandon Ingram, you can't do to Scottie Barnes. So they're taking one of the legs away. I don't know who they think is better, but I'll tell you right now, against this team, Scottie has been better.
Get off.
Scottie has been way better. I'm talking regular season, playoffs, whatever. I'm telling you, they're guarding Brandon Ingram as their first priority because they can't stop Scottie Barnes. They don't have a matchup for him. You cannot top block Scottie Barnes. You can't trap Scottie Barnes. You can trap Brandon Ingram. Do you understand that?
We don't
Do
think
you
they
understand basketball? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
can, bro. Stop this shit before you piss me off, and then I got to say some shit that I really mean. So relax, brother.
No, go ahead and say it.
Hey,
Why are we so
hey,
hostile?
You've been
today?
No, but
Is this the playoffs, Marz? That's why.
Jordan, I don't
Because
even.
it's the
But
guy-
Jordan, I don't even
playoffs.
think he's pushing back crazy. And Penn, I don't think he's coming at you crazy either. I think you're making good. You're both making good points.
I am pushing back crazy because you backtracking bullshit. When you talk about Scottie Barnes, you were not talking about him like a second option, averaging 30,
bro, he's not
25.
your boyfriend. Relax, bro. God damn. All I said was they are willing to let Scottie get off. They willing to. They don't
They
give
are
a
not willing to let somebody get off if you are guarding him with a
All right, bro,
fucking
you got it,
defensive
bro.
player of the
All right,
year.
bro, you got it, bro. All right, bro. I don't really want. I don't got shit else to say, bro, because I'm gonna disrespect you. I'm gonna mean it. So,
But there's
bro,
no reason to. I think y'all
Evan
both making
Mobley
good
is a
points.
defensive player of the year. I do be forgetting.
Yeah, but like,
By the way,
you
Marz,
guarded-
let's
I
Very
genuinely be
important.
forgetting
I
he
don't
won a
like this-
defensive player
I
of the
don't
year.
like
And not only did he win,
But hold on, Penn, wait, Penn. Hold on, no, Jordan, I got you. Jordan, I got you. Penn. Time out. I don't actually think what Jordan's saying is crazy, But I also think you're right. But I also think Penn is right. But Jordan, I think we can admit, even no matter how Cleveland thinks they're guarding Scottie.
My point on because the nigga want to big up Scottie so bad. I say one thing about Scottie, the nigga go left. Like, goddamn, shut the fuck up and let me tell you what I actually think about Scottie.
What do you think about Scottie, Jordan? Jordan, what do you think about Scottie?
I don't think he's gonna say anything crazy. I don't think he's gonna say anything crazy. Go ahead.
Say one thing about Scottie, this nigga have a fucking orgasm or some shit like that.
So what do you think about Scottie, Jordan? Jordan, in your estimation, Jordan, what do you think about Scottie?
Nigga, I think Scottie is a good player.
Yeah.
I've been saying this. I think he's an excellent player.
Saying? He's a two-time All-Star. He's a good
All right, let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go.
Hold on, Penn. Jordan,
I mean, shit, Sengun, two-time All-Star.
Let him go. Let him go. Jordan, go ahead.
Jordan, you were saying you think he's a good player.
This man will sit up here.
No, stay right here, Jordan.
Jordan,
Jordan, stay with me, Jordan. Scottie Barnes is a good player. That's what you just said. As you were saying, Jordan.
Yes.
As you were saying.
I think Scottie is a good player. He's a good defender. He's a good offensive player.
Yep.
My only gripe is I'm saying I don't think he's a number one guy that you can put the team on your back. Now, will he make plays like? And that's not crazy.
That's a fair point.
Now, Jordan, hang on for a second, Jordan. Hang on for 1 second, Jordan. Now, why do you feel like that when it comes to Scottie Barnes? Why don't you think he's a number one guy that you can put him that you can put the team on his back? Why don't you think?
I don't think he has the natural scoring ability like number one guy. Like he's not in his tier of Anthony Edwards. He's not in the tier of Shea. He's not in the tier of Kevin Durant. He's not in the tier of Luka. He's not in neither one of them tiers.
These are guys. These are number one guys that can throw the unit on their back.
You are in those since he's not in them tiers. That's why I don't think so. But he does other things, like he contributes to passing the ball well. He defends well. He connects well. He's a utility. He's an ultra utility guy. But if you say, "Hey, Scottie, take us to the crib as a number one," I think you'll have a problem. Now let's go back to the game. When I said that they are willing to let Scottie get off because it's in their best interest to allow Scottie to do what he do. I'm not saying they letting him do it. I'm saying
that's the best option. If we're choosing options, that's the best option.
I'm not even trying to cook. I'm asking a question. Did you watch the game?
Ken, I watch every single game either that night or the next morning. I watch every single one of them. What I am saying is this, though. They will maybe the word
watch this specific game.
Yes, he did.
He just said that.
No.
He just said that.
There's no way in hell you watch every single NBA game.
No.
You watch
Yeah.
every single game front to back. You watch that entire game.
Yes.
And your read on it was they were allowing Scottie Barnes to score.
I'm not saying that. Penn, did you not listen to me?
They're living with it. Like they're living with it.
Penn, that's not what he's saying. Penn, of the guys that we have on this unit,
like
the other option, it's either let Brandon Ingram or Brandon Ingram gets busy. If we're choosing between Brandon Ingram getting busy or Scottie Barnes getting busy, we're gonna choose to allow Scottie Barnes to get busy as opposed to Brandon Ingram. Now, Drench, you were making a point. Keep going, Drench.
I done forgot because every time I fucking make a point, brother
I'm staying with
I don't agree with that, by the way.
I don't either.
Not true.
That's totally fine. Well, all I'm saying is, as a team, there are some guys in basketball that you can just live with. Like, if he is like, I agree. In this game, Scottie's physical presence was overwhelming for them. But on the flip side of this, Donovan Mitchell, James Harden had a fucking stinker. Like they was trash.
But James Harden's stinker is in part because of Scottie Barnes.
Okay, cool. I'm cool with that on the defensive end. Yes, that's a part of it. But I'm saying games 1 and 2, Scottie was scoring. Maybe not game 1. He finished game 1 with 25 or some shit like that.
21, 26, then 33.
And okay, so in game 2, he had what?
26.
Did they lose?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's on him?
I didn't say.
I'm asking.
Not that it's on him. It's just the fact that when you don't get James Harden and Donovan Mitchell stinkers, Scottie can get 33 and win. I mean, Scottie can get 33 and we can still win.
We lost by 10 and Brandon Ingram shot 2 for 15.
And that's largely due to their defense. It's not because
Brandon Ingram.
No, it's not. We're not doing that. No, we're not. Because I watched Brandon Ingram in the
mid-range. It's a multitude of things. Part of it is the fact that they're guarding him that way.
Multiple reasons why things happen.
No, we're not.
If you are
just Brandon Ingram was bad,
and you are
Brandon Ingram's got to turn his offense on. No, it's not that.
But there's always multiple reasons why things happen, though.
There's always multiple reasons.
Yeah, Jordan, that's the only thing I'm saying. There's never just one reason for anything happening in basketball. I mean, personally.
He just missed my point again, though. Penn came up here victory lapping about a win when Scottie played great and fucking James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley all played trash. And he came up here pushing the Scottie Barnes propaganda like, yeah, I'm the number one. I pushed back on it, and now he pissed off because when I support what I'm saying with evidence from game 1 and 2, now there's no, it's on Scottie. No, it's not about it being
What
on
was
Scottie.
your evidence? They lost. That's your evidence.
All right, man. You
But
got
hold
it.
on, but
jail
can I
in court.
ask a
That's
question?
your evidence. You go to jail.
But can I ask a question, please?
Oh my god.
What the
Legitimately.
hell does Scottie
Penn,
Barnes have to
Penn,
do
hold
with
on, Penn.
Brandon Ingram 2 for 15?
I agreed with you. Hold on.
Are you? No,
But
hold
Jordan,
on. Hold on. Because this shit pissed me off. I agreed with you that Scottie wasn't the problem. I agreed with you that he played good. What is your gripe with what I'm saying?
My gripe is that you believe that the Cavaliers would prefer to let Scottie Barnes get off instead of Brandon Ingram. That is my gripe with you.
Why would that be your gripe, though?
Because it's not true.
just say you disagree.
They are guarding. They are.
Agree. Like that. What's wrong with you saying? I
They-
disagree with that. You fucking
That's what I said. Yeah, that's what I said.
rage because I said that.
They-
it's gonna say
They are stopping what they can stop because they don't have an option for Scottie Barnes. Do you get what I'm saying? You can't do to Scottie.
I agree, and I also said they don't care.
Okay, listen. There might be a series where a team concedes that they can't
Carson's
stop
like-
Shaq, so they are going to stop Kobe Bryant. It does not mean that Shaquille O'Neal is suddenly the second option or that he's a bad player. It just means we're going to concede that, but we're not going to let that go off. We have a matchup for Kobe, maybe in Ruben Patterson or Raja Bell or whoever. We don't have a matchup for Shaq, but we can't let them both get going. Scottie Barnes gets everybody going. Brandon Ingram is definitely not a bellwether for positive offense. I would actually tell you right now, the numbers all year would tell you this. Scottie without Ingram produces better offense than Ingram without Barnes. Scottie has been the biggest driver, in my humble opinion, of both offense and defense for the Raptors. He is the one that gets us out in transition. He is the one who is the best passer on this team. You can't think of another player who's the best passer, best defender, and frankly, right now, the best scorer on his team because he's doing everything for this team. He has truly been a superstar for this team through these 3 games. Now, granted, game 1 was objectively bad, and
Ben
I
Simmons,
was one
Ben
to
Simmons,
say,
no Joel Embiid.
Okay. Can I ask you a question, though, Penn? Now, can I ask you a
No.
question?
Jason
when
Tatum
Ben
is
Simmons
you know,
shoots 53% from 3, wake me up.
Let me ask you this, Penn. So, can the Cavs win
Scottie Pippen.
if Scottie Barnes play good?
Yes, of course.
Can they win if Brandon Ingram plays good?
Yes.
Okay. So if Brandon Ingram had played good, the first 2 games that they lost, what you think it would have been?
Oh my God, Jordan. I know you have this idea in your head that Brandon Ingram is better than Scottie Barnes. Do you think that? Hold on. Okay. No. I want to ask this honest question. I'm going to ask you. No. Please. Let me ask this question because this is a valid thing, and I really need to understand where you stand on this situation. I'm going to name you 10 players.
No,
And you tell me. No, please.
no, it's too many. We have 82 super chats, bro. We can't do 10 players.
Quick. It'll be 10 real quick, and just have Jordan say yes or no. I want you to let me know if Scottie Barnes is better is better than this player.
Go.
Okay, James Harden,
No.
Brandon Ingram,
No.
Devin Booker,
No.
Karl Anthony Towns,
Yeah.
Jalen Johnson,
Yeah.
Denny Avdia,
No.
Jalen Green,
Yeah.
Jalen Duren,
Everyone was
Yes.
better than Jalen Duren, Jalen Brunson,
No.
just naming every Jalen in the league.
and my final one.
Just say Jalen Brown. We know where you're going.
Michael
God damn,
Porter.
you're
Michael
naming
Porter.
every
Michael
Jalen.
Porter. Michael Porter.
Michael Porter Jr.
Scottie's better than him.
So you actually
better than
think that
Brandon
so here's the thing. He is considerably better than Brandon Ingram. As an overall basketball player, he is considerably better than Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram was top locked by Sam Merrill. He has been abused physically by Dean Wade. He is getting double teamed precisely because he cannot handle double teams. What I hate about basketball discourse is people assume that because teams guard you a certain way, that is a respect to you. It is sometimes a disrespect to you that a team blitzes you on a double because they believe you can't handle it. Now, I do believe that the Rockets
double
are
him 'cause they don't want him to go
absolutely
one-on-one.
functionally, mentally
Not a-
deficient blitzing LeBron James. But I
Facts.
do not believe that the Lakers are mentally deficient for blitzing Kevin Durant. You're blitzing a guy who can't handle it. Blitzing a guy who can is a weakness. The reason that the Cavaliers are not quick to send
That's the point of a double.
what?
The point of a double is because nobody can fucking handle it. That's the point.
No,
That's-
that's not the point of it.
Yeah,
There are
yeah,
plenty
yeah,
of players
yeah.
who can exploit double teams, and there are plenty of players who can't.
The
And if
point
you can
of a
think
double
as
team is to
fast
get
as
the ball
Scottie
out of
Barnes
the
can,
guy's hand.
I'm sorry.
That's the point.
Doubling
there's
Jason Kidd
multiple
does not
points for
help
a
you.
double team. Like, there's
Doubling
always
Jason Kidd
more
does
than
not
one.
help you.
The main reason is to put pressure on the guy with the
A
ball.
good ball handler can split a double team, so the double team has to be more controlled. A
the
good
idea of the double team
playmaker,
is to
especially
get
a
the
big
ball out of
playmaker
that
like Scottie
guy's
Barnes,
hands.
can
That's why you
dissect
double
the
him.
double team. Scottie Barnes does not. Double teams don't bother him. He wants double teams. So by blitzing him. So first of all, you cannot top block him. You can't top block him because he look. I think it's pretty ridiculous that Brandon Ingram has allowed himself to be top blocked by frankly lax defenders. I think it's pretty ridiculous that a 9-year pro does not know how to bring his man into the screen. I think that's ridiculous. I also believe that it's pretty ridiculous that you think that the Cavaliers, if they could choose a 25-point game for Scottie or a 25-point game for Ingram, given how much Scottie has basically been the catalyst to destroying them all year long, including the regular season. Chill with this because Chill watches all the Cavalier games.
That would make my point, then, Penn. If he'd been destroying them all season, then that would make my point.
It's not your point.
Yeah, it is.
Brandon Ingram destroyed them in one game too. No, it's not your point.
Hey, this was a great discussion. I appreciate it. A lot of great arguing. Yeah, we get to these super chats. I'll let you roll for a little bit more. Shout out. I want to add this. Get to these super chats. Thank you so much, Drench. That's a disagreement. But shout out for the $20 super chat that led off to that conversation. Really appreciate it.
This one,
shout out to Colin Murray boys. We didn't.
Yeah, CMB by the way, it changed everything.
Or RJ Barrett too. RJ Barrett.
Yeah, if they didn't have
RJ averaging like
CMB,
26 in the
yes,
series.
he's been really good in this series.
He is number 7 in scoring.
If they didn't have CMB right now, they would not be in the series at all.
75% true shooting.
Really good in
I'm
this
starting CMB next game. I'm good.
Yeah. Hey, Jakob and Mamu. Bye bye, Mamu. See you
Jakob had
later.
his best game yesterday. So
Yeah.
shout out
Yeah,
to
he did, and that's a low bar.
once more into the fray. $10 super chat. I need Ox up here. Respect the panel. Ox would have been fun up there today. He would have been adding to the cook.
Game today, man.
Yeah, Bob Solo, which is obviously shout out to Cowboy Bob, $10 super chat. Huh?
We read this one.
You read this one.
This one in particular?
Yes, we did.
Okay,
We read this
cool.
one. Yes, sir. We did.
All right, thank you. We don't need to read that one. All right. Next up, we got Chris Daconis, $10 super chat. Jokic getting clammed by a limited offensive player and Gorbert. That don't make him work on defensive end. He's still gassed out. What do you do? He play off big. All right, we're doing this relitigation thing again. All right, shouts. Judging Jokic at his worst. That's always the time.
I don't think Jokic is gassed. Not
I
from
just
my
think he's
perspective.
but we don't have time.
Upset.
Unlimited Z Talks, $10 super chat. I'm telling you, Marz, I'm off Jokic FC if this keeps up.
Ain't no way you jumping off
no,
the ship.
I'm going
after
to
this
Wimby.
shit. I
I'm
don't
telling you, it's over. This is coming down. This is coming
Are you
down.
kidding me? After all the years I had to
No,
listen
we
to
don't have time, Penn. We don't have time. Jordan, we gonna be.
I respect it though, Swipe. I'll tell you this. I respect it because you came up here. You came up here. You tried to glaze a little bit, but
How?
you came up
What's
here.
the glaze? Chill. What am I going to glaze? A burnt sausage in the side of the road? It's over. I dropped the hot dog out the stand. It's gone. It's gone. Dirt all over it. Bacteria all over it. You can't. It's over. There's nothing to glaze.
Top 10 all time. Then you back.
No, I'm not backing off of. No,
Mars
this
was
is
able to get
crazy.
his point off though. Mars was able to get his point
Yeah, I said.
And he got cooked. Unlimited Z Talk, $10 super chat. Oh my gosh, let Mars finish his point, bro. I've noticed this, by the way. If y'all like something for an agenda, y'all want let them talk. But if you don't like something that's true and it's not an agenda for you, you like shut them up. I've noticed that, Chill. I've noticed that, Chill.
Quiet.
Chill. Be like, shut up. I'm trying to listen to this good cook. And then if it's their favorite player, it's like, well, what about this? What about that?
But
I do think between Penn and Swiper, it's very hard to get an actual point off because as soon as they hear one word they don't like, it's straight cut.
Drench, you do the same
Jordan,
thing.
yeah, you do the same thing. If your
Drench, you do the
mic
same
was
thing,
normal
Drench.
today, Jordan, you wouldn't be able to let Penn talk.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do the same thing, Drench.
No, I don't.
There's some
Marz just
buzzwords with you,
screwed you.
Drench.
Marz does this fake gimmick of
You
like
do the same thing.
English
There's some
accent.
buzzwords with
Screw
you.
what you're saying. Carson, he literally just talks
I'm
through
going
what
to
you're
finish
saying.
what I have to
Like,
say. I'm
honestly,
gonna
like,
Yeah,
I
Drench,
think,
you-
I think
you-
we have
you hear
smart
shit like
people up
Drench.
here. I just hate
The
that.
only time I interrupt is when I like genuinely don't understand. Like I don't be
Yeah,
sarcastic.
that's what I'm talking
This
about.
is
Drench.
also
There's-
not
there's
true. This
buzzwords-
is
there's
Why
buzzwords
is
that
Marz getting glazed?
trigger
That's
you,
not true.
like tertiary.
Yeah, the last
or
couple days
like
they've been hating on
tertiary
me.
or
I'm worthy
connected
of grace,
passes,
man.
shit
I'm
like
worthy of
that.
grace.
That's what trigger Drench. When he hears shit like tertiary
I
passes.
be wanting to know like what Swiper meant with that tertiary shit. And the reason why I asked is because I knew we were getting this situation where that tertiary.
All right, next super chat. Can we get to another thing? We don't have time, Drench. Trent 8083. It was Rudy, Jaden, and CJ masterclass last night, but Nuggets defense is atrocious. I've seen people laying Rod by Jokic on defense. Nasty work. I thought Jokic had a great defensive game last game. I don't think that was the
Yeah, I
issue.
saw you tweet that. I just assumed you was trolling.
Brother. I'm leaning into it.
I just
I'm
yeah, I
leaning
just assumed
into
you
it.
was trolling.
If people do,
I couldn't even
listen,
go with that.
people legitimately think I don't criticize him. Like they just don't watch my shows. They don't. There were 6,500 people watching live yesterday.
You
At
wrong
once?
shit for tweeting
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, swipe at motion right there.
6,500
Yeah.
at once. Exactly.
All of this analytical stuff with all of these numbers and all of this
Swiper
analytical stuff.
gaslighted them people,
For
chill.
me, I am a big fan.
Jordan, what?
Shout out to
Gaslighted.
basketball players that look at other basketball players like they lunch. Shout out to them. I
Chill.
love this shit. I
Chill.
love
Swiper gaslighted all 6,500 people when he said that Jokic's defense was great. So they wanted to get up there and get on Swiper ass about that shit. That's what he did. Hey, good job though. Hey, boy, you a marketing genius. So do it again.
Bro, watch. I'm gonna sell. When Jokic wins another championship, I'm gonna say the most difficult ring of all time over LeBron. I'm gonna sell it like hotcakes.
He
Chill.
gonna mean it. No, he gonna mean it. Swiper gonna mean that shit.
It's Zornze. Sorry, $10 super chat. Now that's how you hoot, Marz. From now on, that's how you let me do it. Will Smith. From now on, Marz, that's how you hoot. KDFC, we back up. Jokic not better than Kobe. Jaden McDaniels, FC, we up. This man is a buffet. Hey, Ox, I got Rashid. Look at this. Everybody gets their takes off. But y'all best believe he drop a 52 burnt. Marz, it's going to be crickets. Quiet. Crickets. Quiet. Marz even going back to the Jokic FC. That's how it's going to work. I know how this works. Shout out to Marz. Shout out to all the great analytics
I'm
stuff.
gonna undo the +1 offense.
No, yeah, Will. LeVar B. Ballin, $10 super chat. Swiper and pencil don't hold the greatest offensive player of all time accountable. Chill definitely hit a nerd, got Swipe moving around the camera, and so y'all stay coping like a wacko. I can't be more direct about Jokic. Marz, did I not cook him?
Marz, I will say I
Okay.
saw your
I
video.
watched your video yesterday.
Okay, in
Marz,
fairness,
Are you not gonna back me up, Marz?
This plausible
your
deniability.
video,
shit
I
is not-
agree
is
with
not
you,
moving
Marz.
me at all.
I think he was critical. of
Nikola
Jokic's performance
Jokic
yesterday.
is one of the greatest offensive players of all time. 1,
That is
2,
a
3, or 5 games is not going to undo that. Y'all can go kick rocks and
It's
go
actually
argue with a wall.
64 postseason
I do
goals.
want to say though, for me, and this has always been the case, Michael Jordan is, since I was born, the greatest offensive player that I've ever seen,
That's
and
what
that
it
has
is.
never changed. That I don't know if it will ever change. I hope it does. I hope it does change, and at that point, I will be willing to adapt my opinion. But
All
I
right.
have never seen a better offensive player when it counted than Michael
I
Jordan.
definitely did before he got help. Chris Dogonis, $10 super chat. Shaq was getting triple teamed on defense. Teams were drafting and paying multiple bigs to be men on roster just to throw body to Shaq could do dumb. Hakeem was the only one to ever guard Shaq one-on-one. Brother, I'm just rewriting
It's
history.
just
I've
not
watched Shaq.
true.
I've watched
Tumble
Shaq play in
guard,
these
yeah.
series. I got to tell you, I've seen Shaq get guarded one-on-one and boxed before. So again, I don't want to.
Arvidas did a good job on him.
Yeah, like not even.
Ben Wallace did an okay job on him.
Duncan.
Yeah.
Rashid
Duncan did it.
Rashid
Duncan
has
did,
moments.
yeah,
Rashid
for
had
sure.
moments. Rashid had moments.
Yeah, like
that's
there's been people who have had good moments, good games. Even
Yeah.
some people who have had good series. Hakeem didn't have a good series guarding Shaq. He was getting fried, but that's neither here nor
It fits
Yeah.
the agenda. You got to let it fit the agenda.
there. I mean, they
shouts.
swept the series, so you know.
Yeah.
He locked him up.
DSG Piccolo, $10 super chat. This is a chill question right here, and for me apparently, but chill. I want you to speak on this. And Trent, shout out to you. You got Carnell Tate, brother. I think that's a nice ad for y'all. Wanted Downs because he's a Saints fan, but hopefully Tyson can stay healthy. Jordan, how do you feel about the Tate pick? Swiper, any picks you hated, loved, and he clinging to hoop. J Mac said they food and cooked him.
When I first saw the tape pick,
I was a little shocked by it, but once I settled down, and got in my Titans bag, like I always do when we make a pick, I go do all my research. I like it.
You ain't watched the Titans game in years.
You a lie. I ain't missed the Titans game in like 8 years, brother. I ain't lying. But I will say this. The brother got good hands. Like that shit hit his hands is caught, and that's one thing we lacked all for the last.
Chill,
4
he's 6'3" and he's 6'2.5" too. Chill, he's big. I didn't realize he was that tall.
He can jump. He make contested catches. He has. I saw a stat that he has his completion rate is like as good as Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown. Like he has that. So I'm cool with it. 4 was a little high, but at the end of the day, I don't know where else where we would have went with that pick. I think we are right on defense, and I think we need some weapons. So and they picked Jeremiah Love. I thought we were gonna pick with Love at 4. I had no idea the Cardinals was gonna get him at 3. Well, I had an idea, but I didn't think they would.
Well, if there was a better tackle, they would have got him. But Jeremiah Love was the best pick and safety pick right there.
Yeah. So
Downs, like I said, Chill. I'm sorry, bro. The Cowboys, when they cook, Chill. When they cook, they cook.
You like that Downs pick?
Bro, Downs is about to be an animal in that back end. He might be best player in the draft. He's that good.
I don't know. I think
Jeremiah Love to me was the best player in the draft.
I don't know, man. I think Tampa stealing Ruben Bain. That was a big deal.
Yeah, falling to 15, Chill. Because of this.
Because he arm side. Yeah, I knew
he got Marz arms, and they drafted him at 15, even though he's an elite pass rusher.
I think him falling to 15. And the guy that
he has a native wingspan by a good bit.
Blank on his name. He just retired from the Bucks.
Oh yeah, Shaq Barrett.
Shaq Barrett. That's spot.
So
Bain is going to take Shaq Barrett's spot. Yep. So
they needed that.
I think him falling to 15 was huge.
Oh, Chill. My favorite moment, Francis Mauoga, when he got drafted by the Giants. Chill, you hear what he said? He said, "I'm gonna die for Jackson Dart. I will die for Jackson." I said, "Bro, that's what I want. I want a lineman just getting in there, Carson. Get in there and block. Get in there and block." I love that.
Swipe, you like the DN we picked at 31?
Yeah, bro. What's his name?
The guy you guys picked at 30. The guys that the Titans picked at 31. Falk, is that his name?
Yeah, Falk. Yeah, he's good, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that was a good pickup.
He hit me up and said they said he's a good athlete. But I'm cool with it. I like the direction we going. I still think we're gonna get some more playmakers though. I think we're gonna get another running back. So
yeah, it's going to be interesting. Shout out. Thank you for that super chat. It's fun to do a second round and third rounder tonight as well. And then we got another one up here. Drink more water, ML. We got $10 super chat. My main issue with Jokic fans on PC, look at all the reasons they come up to justify poor play, and I agree with it all, but it's the same logic for every other star y'all put down. I feel like I think I've been fair to Giannis too for why Giannis hasn't been getting out, and I haven't blamed him for even the 22 Celtics series. I feel like I've been very honest and open about it.
I've been up here. Boy, he be parading his ass around when Giannis fucking lose.
No, it's not. The only person I push back on Giannis with is the people that said he's the best in the world because of the defensive stuff, and he hasn't led a great defense in years. But I think
I'm pushing back on is he's the best offensive player ever, and he's not.
And we had a great conversation. We had a great conversation. Yeah, shouts, man. I still think Giannis is top 3 or 4. Probably somewhere in there.
It could have been a lot more productive without the mental gymnastics, but yeah.
And then we got Nims gassed up, 405, $10. Swipe it. You act different up here than you do on Twitter. It's Twitter. And you'll get up here and say you always criticize Jokic, but on Twitter you bring up the other stats to try and defend his bad defense. Y'all, I just know how y'all work. This is it's a machine. Like, you don't realize y'all are so quick to hate. The opposite of love, Chill. The opposite of nonviolence. They're so quick to hate that they will literally, you will say whatever you want just to drive a point. You think I'm just going to let y'all, I'm going to benefit from it too. If we're going to do this, let's just play the game together. Let's play the game together. I like getting Twitter checks. Let's do it. Let's keep rolling. Shout out to y'all. Next up, we got BT Boy 6, $10 swipe. Who's the MVP of the 2025-26 season? I already put Jokic in. Already voted for that. That's regular season award. Shout out. Who's the MVP of the playoffs so far? Marz? Rudy?
Scottie Barnes.
Damn, who has been the best player in the playoffs so far?
Scottie Barnes.
LeBron James.
LeBron.
Man, heck no, ain't no LeBron. He don't play no defense.
Hasn't been better than Luke Kennard.
Honestly,
what did they call him the other day? They called him he went nuclear. Kevin Wiles. Chill on first thing first that he's going nuclear. I love that.
It might be Rudy Chapman good, but you play Cade has been really good.
Yeah, Cade.
Has been really good.
J-Dub, by the way, when he was playing, has been really good too.
J-Dub, yeah, there's some options. A lot. I mean, we're 2 games in. Like, there's options. MVP of the playing was Jalen Green. Just make sure we know that. But
yeah, man. Yeah, shout out. Appreciate that. This one, that guy Shay, $10. Apologize to the Queen Shield, Becky Hammond. She told y'all and y'all laughed. And Becky was cooking and Shield. They hated her. Knicks fans hated her.
We actually got into a huge.
I had no problem when she said that. It was
either.
She's right.
I 100% agree with it though.
She's 5'6".
I don't necessarily agree with
anyone,
it, but I understand it.
If she's 5'6", she coached in the NBA, she played in the WNBA, she's a hell of a basketball player, and frankly, she's one of the smartest basketball people. I mean, she was a hell of a basketball. She was a multi-time All-Star. What are you doing? So my point is, if she's saying that and people getting mad at it, it's just because she's frying, a concept that hits home for a lot of people, which is you're too.
I just think they just disagree with it, but.
We actually went down the line.
Drench, how many people in America are shorter than 6 feet tall? A lot. It's the vast majority. In fact, most.
Yeah,
so when you are telling
not many of us part of the
guy is too small,
like
why do you think Allen Iverson has such a cult following? Because people identify with that. Why do you think Steph Curry has cult following? Jalen Brunson.
I don't think
all players sell a lot of they sell a lot of shoes because people can identify with their size. And they can identify with the struggle because I think all of us who've been 5'11" or 6 feet tall have come up for a layup and then pinned by one of these giants at the rim. So
no, I think that narrative has been gone for a long time. To be honest with you, I don't think it was with Jalen Brunson. I just think I don't even think a lot of people disagree with her. I think there was a lot of Knicks fans who had an issue with what she said, which they have an issue
because she's a woman. That's what most of it was just attacking.
Maybe, but to be honest with you, I think that was just a Knicks thing. I think the Knicks fans just had a real issue with that shit. What she said was legit, and when everybody that I know that when she said it, they agree. Like most people agree with it. Like it's
and we ran it down of the small guards that you can win an NBA championship with. The last one, right? That was almost 40 years ago with Isaiah Thomas. That was it.
Are we?
Yeah, so if you ignore the guy who was part of a dynasty,
Curry ain't a small guard though. Like I don't think Curry's 6'3".
I mean, if you're saying small guard is like 6'1" and under, then
Curry's 6'3".
So the idea here is that a small guard is your best player. You can't win a championship, basically, right? It's not that you can't win with a small guard because the Spurs won championships with Tony Parker. No, and that's valid and that's fair. But I think what she's talking about is historically, and I think that today you could. I do believe Chris Paul could have won championships. I definitely believe Chris Paul was good enough to win championships. I believe if you had gotten a defensively oriented roster around Steve Nash earlier, I think he could have won championships. I think there's guards, man. I think Allen Iverson could have won
finals MVP vote, so
that's crazy.
Kyle Lowry won championships, and he wasn't the best player, but I mean, like,
but that's what
he could have won as the best player.
I think Iverson could have won a chip.
Yeah, and those are those are extraordinary players, but at the same time, like what Becky Hammond said just wasn't as bad as people.
The sentiment wasn't crazy. I just think people have an issue when I don't like when people don't counteract the take and they just like start attacking like people's identities and whatnot. Like a lot of it was attacking the fact that she's a woman speaking on men's sports. That's what they were attacking. It's like if someone part of like the LGBT community speaks on something, they're not attacking what they say. They're attacking the fact that they're a part of that community speaking on something. And that's what they did with Becky Hammond. A lot of their replies. Why is a woman speaking on NBA? Why is she's like that was a lot of,
but I don't think that's the case with Becky Hammond because Becky Hammond was always respected in this space, just like Candace Parker.
She's respected in basketball space, like but the outside public social media world. She's respected by her peers in the basketball world for sure. And she should be.
I don't be listening to the outside public that's not in the basketball space because those are some of the most ridiculous people. Period. Because you're not even in a space. How you talking about some shit you're not even in the basketball space? Like that's why I don't listen to people that talk about the WNBA because they don't even watch the fucking WNBA. Majority of people that talk about the WNBA don't watch a fucking game on it. So I don't care about that. But like in the basketball space, Becky Hammond can go on any platform
can talk basketball with anyone. And she'll know more than damn near everyone now.
For sure.
Yeah,
And like
And she'll never use relative on-off ratings in the playoffs for offense.
yeah, and every time I
then-
speak,
You know how many all-time greats have
five of the
celebrated
bottom
Jokic?
10,
Like go pull the press quotes of Kevin Garnett, Jason Kidd, like all-time greats, Magic Johnson, like talking about Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, what they
as a
should
great player.
be saying is
Michael
playing
Beasley
garbage.
just said he-
It's
Michael
Swiper,
Beasley
if
just said
they
he
had
wants
only
to-
looked at his on-off net rating, they wouldn't have
Well,
praised
I
him
just
so
also
much.
think you need to play
It's too
better.
bad.
That's all. You know,
It's too bad.
boo.
They
Cam Ward.
fell. They
The
fell.
king
for
of
it.
on
They
the
fell
king
for
of
the gimmick.
on-offs. Now all of a sudden, the on-offs are not valid.
DNE MLV $20 super chat. Knicks are minus 23 in the 14 minutes without Cat. Mike Brown needs to cook something up. My up. I'm with Penn. Brunson will not win you this particular series.
I think there's like a type of offense that is designed to get a player a ball, and then there's a type of offense that is designed to get a player in advantageous situations. And that is not the same thing. I'm watching the Raptors drag out 8, 9, 10 seconds of a clock just to get Brandon Ingram a touch at the elbow, in which he will proceed to launch a contested midi pull-up, which is ridiculously inefficient. I think the Knicks have a similar problem with Jalen Brunson, where every 3 possessions they need to get him the ball, and sometimes when he's being denied the ball, they'll drag out a possession and they won't get him a ball, and it just kind of stalls their offense out and just makes them less efficient than they could be. So I think, like the most critical part of this series to me is Karl Anthony Towns. He has to be activated. He has to be a threat. He has to collapse their defense, and now we can go to we need to consider Jalen Brunson, to borrow a term from an earlier conversation, as the second option here.
Sure. Next super chat, pimp name Slipback 7780 $10. We were inventing new slurs for Mikal Bridges in the Knicks, and an act of God gave us 6 picks for him. I will never hate that man. Fun fact, Ben Seraph scored just as much as Mikal last night. Yeah, it's not.
I've never been part of Mikal Bridges FC, but
Me
shout out
either.
to the Knicks. Yeah, shout out for the Knicks for
have.
investing.
Yeah, he's a good role player. It's just he's just
really good role player. He's a really
just- The problem that we having is when he went to Brooklyn and we saw that 25 a game and people bought that, and that's thinking that that's who he is, and that's not who he is. He's really about a 15 to 17 a game guy who can play defense.
To be honest,
That's who he really is.
I think
he's really about a 15.
So
to
if he
17
scored
game
3
guy.
points last night, they win.
Yes, he did.
he ain't no better than
anything. He didn't give them anything. No, he
no
didn't.
better than Kelly Oubre. To be honest with you, like I was pushing back when they did that shit. Mikal Bridges and Kelly Oubre is in the same boat to me. To be honest.
Good luck. Yeah, it shouts.
I agree with that.
Vortex CX9 $5 super chat.
All right.
Respectfully,
Go 0 though.
Respectfully, please don't ever bring up Jokic being the best scorer in the league. He's not even better than Embiid when healthy. Luka, SJ, Giannis. Again, we're rewriting history, but shout out to y'all. No, I know that's the way it works
He is
when moments
definitely
like this
better than
happen.
all those guys.
Jigsaw puzzle $5 super chat. CMB's impact as a rook is not talked about enough. Looking like baby Draymond already, playing gaps, finding colors, both kind of D.
Keep Colin Murray Boyles out of Draymond Green conversations. What are we doing here? He is finishing like whoa. Like,
no, we're not. You don't get to go on a tangent about that. It was supposed to be a compliment to what he was doing defensively. Apex frame 22.
How are you buzzing past the super chat that
because we have
from me?
68 of them.
We do not
remain, and you're going to go on a tangent. That was supposed to be a compliment, and you're about to turn it into a negative.
I'm not turning anything into a negative. We only have 68 because you don't actually archive the super chats.
I put them all away. What are you talking about? We even just got another super chat. Anyway, Apex Frame 22 $5 got people like Chris Move and ESPN on the timeline talking about Luka's defense for days on M, but I'm seeing not a peep from them about Jokic. Is that true, Marz?
Chris Smooth, who cares what Chris Smooth thinks about basketball? What? If you don't just go watch him play my career and just shut up, like no one cares what Chris Smooth think about the sport. But yeah, he was yapping about Luka, but no one's there like, oh, that's what Chris Smooth has to say.
He's a streamer, bro. Like, whatever he says is, it's cool. Marcus Wilson, 32.80 $5 super chat. Shout out to OG Chill for pointing out how bad Mikal Bridges has been overall. Should Mike Brown Chill bench Mikal Bridges?
No, he shouldn't bench him. He just got to get him going early.
I mean, if you have to trade him this offseason, benching him right now.
Not trading. He gave up 5 ones for him. We're going to make this shit work. No, we're not trading him.
That's
bad
logic.
Hell no.
I'm going to tell you this right now.
and I'm about to be nasty.
Chill.
Blueberry on the team, they would've won.
Should the Hawks not trade Zachary Eastershade because they spent a first overall pick on him? This shit doesn't matter.
Okay,
Value
those things are
changes
not-
all the time.
It does change all the time, Penn, 100%. But when you got Mikal Bridges for 5 ones, what are you going to get back for him? I can tell you what you're not going to get back.
You lost
You're
the
not-
trade. Accepted.
You're not going to get back
Still,
5
you
ones.
can buy a
We got to
Rolex
make
lost
this
the trade the moment you
$10,000
made
if it's
the
a fake
trade.
Rolex.
We got
You ain't
to
getting
make
your
this shit
$10,000
work. We
back.
already did this.
You're
Chill,
not making that shit back. You was never
No,
gonna make
you're
that
not.
shit back.
Chill.
Not
you
getting
can,
this
never
back.
gonna make
chill.
that
If you buy a
That
Rolex
doesn't mean
for
you don't
20
trade him.
bands, if you buy a
It
Rolex
doesn't
for
mean that,
20
Marz, but here's the difference. The difference is that really quickly, Penn. The difference is that when you traded for him, you traded for him for something specific. You traded for him to fit into what these guys were doing, and it actually was working with Tibbs. If you remember, he wasn't terrible with Tibbs. He actually was good with Tibbs. He's not an all-star point. He's not an all-star 2 guard. Like I've said to you in the past, he's not what you saw in Brooklyn. He's an offensive player who's actually really good in the mid-range, really good at corner threes. He's a guy who can get going early and often. You overpaid for him. 100% you did that. Now we're in a position where Mike Brown has changed the offense, which has now made him look even worse. So now when you trade him, what you're doing is you're lowering his value even more. So what's the other side to this? Keep him and let this thing work itself out and get better, or now move off from him again and flip this roster again and look even more look even more like imbeciles. I'm gonna go with holding on to this dude and making this thing work. That's what I'm
But
thinking.
this is like a sunk cost fallacy, Cho. Look,
Sunk
if you
cost,
bought
I
a
like that.
if you bought a Rolex for 20 bands
Sure.
and then somebody appraised it and said this is a fake Rolex, selling it for $100 is not a bad deal.
You know what's even better though? Penn?
Why
Keeping
did
that
you
fake
do
Rolex, keeping that fake Rolex, and putting a clean suit on with that fake Rolex, and having people think that this is a real Rolex. That's what I'm doing. I'm not
Sure.
getting off this Rolex.
Sure, save your face.
Yes, sir.
Save face, but look, like I mean, look,
Trev is right.
I've
Yeah,
been,
shit, if you have to get that shit appraised to know it's fake,
chill.
that
This,
means it's good
sometimes
enough.
sometimes it helps to think like an investor. I've been investing for about 20 years.
Yes,
There
sir.
are stocks that I very, very much believed were going to go one way, and after a couple of years, I noticed that I was wrong. Maybe there's an FDA approval.
Yeah,
on
you bought a lot of hand
biotech-
sanitizer in 2020, didn't you?
hand sanitizer.
What the fuck, Swiper?
No,
Hey, hand sanitizer. Investing in hand
did not-
sanitizer is not a
Yeah,
bad
you made
idea.
money.
It's not a bad idea. But keep going. I'm sorry.
No, so if I invest in Amazon on the basis of this, or I invest in a Pfizer because of the basis of that, and then that basis of that does not happen, then I have to reevaluate my relationship with this investment.
Sure.
And this is a constant reevaluation. The best playoff teams, in my humble opinion, will always reevaluate their roster every single day. Every day we are in a process of reevaluation. How is this player fitting in? How are they working out? And every single series is a new series. So you might be a top 6 defense. Like the Knicks were a top 6 defense this year. But against this Atlanta Hawks team, you're not a top 6 defense.
Okay.
So we gotta adjust. You might
Sure.
have gotten a certain lineup
That's all I
synergy
can
or
do.
data going small, but maybe there's certain teams you can't do that against.
Right.
And so it's a constant reevaluation. And so it's the same thing with Mikal Bridges. You brought in Mikal Bridges. Who did you have on that roster at that time? What were you expecting? How old was he? What was your window? Now your window is closing. You have a
Right.
different situation. It's the same thing with Darius Garland. Darius Garland was an all-star last year. The Cavaliers did a quick calculus and said, you know what? Our window is closing with Donovan Mitchell. We need to expand our upside on this by getting James Harden in the door.
Yeah.
It is a constant reevaluation of your floor. And that's why I say, like, the sunk cost fallacy, you don't want to chill. What's the worst thing you could do to bad money? Worse money.
Facts.
Don't chase bad money with worse money.
Agree. Mad Max Sports, $5 super chat. Don't need to run the 2011 Braun no more. We got 26 Jokic, most complete offensive player all time, saw basketball, worst superstar of all time. I
Cooked.
thought that was
Cooked.
hilarious
Cooked.
yesterday.
Great.
These are clearly kids that don't remember 2011, but shout out. Sincerely Kentrell, 9316, $5 super chat. Y'all see my crash out last night. Told y'all the game plan, still got they S off. Jaden don't F with nobody but 5 in the T-Wolf jersey, and Rudy been in that lab. Yep.
It's
And that
unfortunate
shot.
the conversation today veered so negative towards the Nuggets as opposed to complimentary towards the.
No, brother, you're on Player's Choice and you're on Twitter, brother. That's
No. I don't
Yeah,
care
yeah.
where I'm at. Like, credit to the Timberwolves. They put a spotlight on themselves. Everyone thought they were crazy for doing it, and myself included. I thought, oh, you are really you're poking the bear, and then it turns out they poked a chihuahua. So, shout outs.
Yeah,
shout outs to
I don't think
the
they were
shout outs to
talking
the
unfair
tougher
about
team.
saying they can't play
Yeah.
defense. Like they literally couldn't play. I said that during the game. I said,
Call
"Them
Aaron
motherfuckers-
Gordon a weak defender, saying they're all
Yeah,
bad
but that's
defenders.
just,
I
it's
think
just,
that's
it's
crazy.
just
hurt.
it's just a basketball thing. It's just a basketball thing. It's not even a
hurt, though. That's the thing. He's
Have
hurt.
you ever seen this? Have you ever seen a team called out like this
No,
in game two?
we can't relitigate that right now just for the second time. Fuliomi, Fuliomo, $5 super chat. Glad we can all acknowledge what we're seeing in the series. Pure PRA versus the actual best hitter on the floor, Baguette Biombo. Yeah, shout out.
You agree with that though, right, Swiper?
which part?
Rudy's been the best big in the series.
No. 80 for 79, 14. Of course I do. I already said that. Honest question: what 3-time MVP in history gets less criticism for consistently getting sent home in the second round in his prime, except for 23?
There's not many 3-time MVPs to choose from.
There's 9 of them.
You got
and,
Moses, Wilt, Braun,
and Will got
Bill
plenty
Russell,
of plenty of criticism.
Kareem, Jokic, MJ, Larry Birds.
Yeah,
Like,
there's 9 of them.
oh,
and
Magic-
Will
Magic
got
won 3
plenty
as
of
well.
criticism
I
at the
think
time.
this pisses people off that he has as many MVPs as LeBron.
Yeah, but that's always going to be a
Oh,
story.
he doesn't. LeBron
He
has
does.
4.
LeBron got 4. Yeah.
Well,
Spanish
if he
Jose-
wins one more, my bad.
Underscore TV,
He's not going to.
$2 super chat. Wolves plan straight to the line basket barbecue chicken.
They must have, but they must have seen what I said about them after game 1. That's what it looked like. Because shit, everything was playing out of closeout. They were moving that motherfucker around, got the Nuggets to move their feet and go right by 'em.
Yeah,
That
we'll see if it's sustainable in game 4. Football breakdown. $5. Eye test is a subjective assessment of unquantifiable skill application and physical attribute. Jokic stands refused to contextualize his PRA. A lot of word usage there. Football breakdown. Shout out to you. We got King Bo. Z7Z, $5 super chat. Swiper's ability to deflect from a point when presented with stats he doesn't like is really amazing ability. I didn't deflect anything. I addressed him directly.
You do have an ability of doing that, though.
I answered him straight up.
From time to time.
I didn't. The only thing I really pushed back on was still saying is inefficient score. I mean, that's just obviously it's not whatever. That was a segment.
How you gonna feel if Tim Connolly spank y'all ass out the playoffs?
How would I feel?
Yeah, after all that shit.
I mean,
about him.
I won't feel much of anything other than disappointment how the season is
He's
going.
gonna be rooting for the Spurs. He's gonna be like, "Hey, Wemby, let's
Isn't
go."
it one of the greatest compliments that a team could give another team to say we designed a team to stop this player?
Yep, definitely.
If you think about it, because Tim Connolly designed the Timberwolves to stop Jokic,
Yeah, we'll have, like I said, game 4 is on Saturday, and
it's working.
A lot of the
by
story.
the way.
LeVar B. Ballin, $5 super chat. Here's come Joker's Angels derailing the conversation and making excuses for a lady defender. And I remember that combo chill, swipe a line for a saver. I don't remember blaming AD for getting hurt. That just doesn't make sense.
Okay, lost in all this Minnesota Timberwolves hoopla is the fact that Anthony Edwards is shooting 39% from the field and 25% from 3. Is anyone else worried about Anthony Edwards going forward?
That's why I thought that they would
Yeah,
lose
no,
the series.
healthy. Yeah,
That's why I thought that they would lose the series because I didn't think that.
I think
as the series wore on, I thought that he would wear down. That's why I thought that they would lose the series.
Because hey man, like people have been telling me he is a superstar, and he absolutely is. So he should be held to the standard of a superstar, but he's obviously not, right? And he better get right, because if the Nuggets start to figure it out, if they start to figure out this coverage, and again, this is the thing. Like, I believe Jokic will get better as the series goes on. I don't believe that he is going to continue to have stinker on stinker the way that he's had. So at that point, Anthony Edwards will need to close the series out for the Wolves. I believe the Wolves can win this series. I totally do.
I don't think we need to bring up efficiency in the playoffs. Like, if they win it, like, I don't really give a shit about the efficiency thing. If they win it, they win in games. Like, Anthony Edwards, he didn't play well yesterday. But the game before that, he made some big plays. Like, he played well. You know what I mean? Like,
he's good in game 2.
To Drench's point, because Drench says this all the time, and we get off the subject of it. Let's keep the main thing the main thing.
just win the game. It's all we're trying to do, win the game.
To be fair, they won the game because Jokic lost the game. I think that was the big criticism of the game too, because him and Murray went 2 of 12.
Of course, you would frame it like that, but
yeah, well, your 2 best players go 2 of 12. Then they won the game in the first game off that, and then they lost in the second.
Anthony Edwards played great in the second game. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I thought he was cool. Like, I think he was 10 for 25 from the field or something like that. Like, he was cool. He's still struggling with the same thing. The Trip One, $5 super chat. Does your spreadsheet mean Jokic is ineffective as a playoff performer, Marz? Is that where you're going, or do you think it's just weird and tricky?
My spreadsheet is saying that Jokic has a trend of on-court performance that none of the transcendent offensive players do. And I've been asking for clarification. And I have not been satisfied with the answers I've been provided, but I've been provided with answers. So
I don't know if you'll be satisfied in something you're starting to believe in your corner. I think that's probably a longer foreign conversation that needs to be had.
Actually, Marz is
breaking
pretty
down individual
diplomatic when it
series.
comes to getting answers. He actually is. Marz
No,
is
you
one of
guys
those
gave
guys.
me an answer. I'm just not
Yeah.
satisfied with he was tired after the bubble and
No.
teammate help.
Well, I don't.
Especially
but-
when Allen Iverson, like I said, produced better offense.
But that's not the. I think the issue is when you
Not
start to
satisfied
put
with
two
that.
things in a context like that. Like, I think it completely matters. He's the only player to make it past the first round and then exhausted in that second round. None of the other players did it. So I think there's something to that. But we can have that conversation another time. Mr. Burnout,
Cook with that shit. by the way.
3005, $5. How we look at players in the future if the next great offensive player talent has similar numbers to Jokic.
Yeah, it's gonna be fries for like MJ averaging 35 and 5. Meanwhile, we won't have players averaging 31, 12, and 11.
I mean, we still have people comparing stats that are 20, 30 years apart, like raw stats with no explanation of anything. Like,
I'd like to hope people
Never
get
get
more
in those
educated.
conversations because those conversations just make no sense. You never get.
I
in
mean,
those
there's gonna be a time when we're gonna be Chill's age, and we're gonna have to be defending Steph Curry's 27, 5, and 4.
Somebody will be
compared to compared to this other point guard averaging 34, 9, and 12. I'm like, well, actually, Steph Curry used to run around and draw two defenders. And say,
we got Sokyo, $5 super chat. Swipe of funny. Jokic is a terrible defender in both 22-22 series, and his offense was not good into account for the layup line. Denver, Colorado. Once again, you did not watch the 22 series. He was a plus 11 scoring in that series and was frying them. Like, they didn't lose because of him. They literally couldn't survive without him. Like, that's probably the best scoring series he's ever had. So
they didn't survive with him.
But I know their team was decimated. Like, they just didn't have the bodies to counter what they were doing, like, respectfully. So,
and his defense was egregious.
Swipe, but can I ask you a question, though? Like,
go ahead, Carson.
Strategically, though, like, I understand Jokic has like a 6-inch vertical. I understand the limitations, but like, why doesn't he doesn't even put his hands up? Like, I understand the foul trouble concerns, but like, it is a layup line. Like,
Carson, Carson.
Just to answer directly, it depends on the series. It depends on the moment. He's had good defensive series at the rim. He's had bad defensive series at the rim. The problem is his inconsistency is my biggest issue. Always been my biggest issue with him. And I think yesterday was a prime example of when he just disengages, which is why I said what I said.
I mean,
how are you disengaging in the fucking playoffs?
It happens all the time, by the way.
What's happening right now?
The playoffs are overrated.
This is not unique to Jokic, so I don't want to do this again. It happens all the time for players. We in the
playoffs right now, and sometimes I disengage up here. Shit happens.
It happens
out in the playoffs.
It happens. Chill. In the 2000s, it happened. It happened in the 2000s. I remember distinctly someone giving up in game 7s or someone giving up on blow-bys in game 5s. It happens.
Who is this someone?
No, I'm not doing it because it's going to get into a whole other conversation right now. No, because it's going to start a whole
all
other thing.
Know who that someone was.
K.29, Swipe called him scheme proof, figured out his offense, by the way. Yeah, I mean, if he plays like this, he is not scheme proof. And so it's been horrible. So everything that people are saying about him is correct. K. Nicole, $5 super chat. The context he's changing. Are we talking NBA history or playoff history overall, regular season history or current playoffs? I think that's about all of it.
Well, my numbers were since 97 with the all-time great. So it's that history, I guess, the last 20, what is that? 29 years?
29 years, yes, sir.
About 29 years. So basically 30 years. Yeah. That's the history we're using.
Yeah, people we have to have a longer, whatever. But shout out.
7 was 29 years ago. Holy shit.
We got Spanish Jose. When do we talk about the Wolves? Next episode. Again,
Monday.
Yeah, when Jokic plays that bad, the conversation's gonna be dominated.
I mean, obviously, Sky Blue, yeah.
Yeah. Guard your yard, $5. Swipe got a weird obsession trying to bully Chill and Marz, Cook, and Joker. Just argue the point Marz brought up, man. It's ain't about Chill. Chill said he's an inefficient scorer. You want me to just let it slide? I should just pretend it didn't happen
in this series.
No, you said inefficient.
That's all this was about.
No, yes. Chill. You said inefficient playoff score. If you're correct,
but if he's clarifying, then what are we doing? He's
sure. Then that's where the original argument was. So Chill clarified. Then yeah, the series, sure, fine. That's where it started. Tyler Tally 7198, $5 super chat. Jokic lost. He had no help. Off-season signings. He has the best help he's ever had. Jokic lost. He has no help. Repeat. Did anyone say that?
That is a vicious cycle.
Well, no,
Swiper,
I don't know. We'll see what happens
I
after
think
this series.
If I mean, Swiper, unfortunately, all the shit that we say on this platform is recorded and can easily
By the way,
be
Penn,
called, right?
I mean, yeah,
So,
there's definitely been
yes,
said that this is the best team he's had.
there
But
has
we haven't
been
heard
I'm
them.
on
lot
record
of
saying that.
conversation that this-
No, but who said he doesn't have help though?
I'm on
Yeah, that's what I'm
record.
saying. We haven't got to that part yet. We'll see what
We
happens.
haven't
if
gotten
they
to
lose
that
this
help-
game.
that part
Marz,
But-
it just fucking sucked for them to get rid of MPJ too. By the way.
Why? He wouldn't have helped anything that's happening right now.
Oh, okay.
No, he legitimately has had his worst series versus the Wolves in his career. So like he wouldn't have done anything.
Legitimately.
His shoulder was hurt.
Yeah. Adam West, the Bandit, $5 super chat.
I want to bring that part into it too.
Which part?
I want about the fact that his shoulder was fucking broke. But
No, he wasn't in 24. He wasn't hurt. Or 20. What are you talking about? Or 23. He didn't play them in 25. Anyway, so keep Carson, fire pin. I like this new low Damo real talk variant.
Anyway, I do want Swiper to clarify, and it'll make me happy and it'll make me leave you alone if you clarify that you was bullshitting with that tertiary ball
No,
handler.
I think Cam's been good for this team. No, not at all. That's not been the issue.
All right.
We ain't got time to.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I just want to know if I was gonna keep fucking with him about that or not. I am.
He's been fine. I don't really blame Cam for what's happening. Sleeper Kieran, what's worse, 2011 LeBron or 2026 Jokic?
Well, we haven't seen the whole
2011 LeBron.
We haven't seen exactly.
By
We haven't
far.
seen the whole 26 Joker yet. No, we haven't.
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah.
I mean,
Will
Jokic
not
could turn
get
this
that
shit
back.
around, win the series, and go crazy.
Yeah, brother. I'm sorry. 2011 LeBron, especially the stakes. Bob, CD, 9YL, $5. I'm sorry, Mr. Adam West. Keeping sorry, Peter, out your mouth. You supine protoplasmic invertebrate jelly.
I don't even know.
Is that a jellyfish?
I don't know, actually.
That's
But
interesting.
shout outs to Bob because Bob gets accused of being my burner. And yesterday, Bob dropped a super chat on one of my chats while my hands were moving up here. So, shout outs.
Yeah, man, that's great. Shouts. Auburn fans in 2010, $5. Michael Jorfraud played JV in high school. Kobe, LeBron, and Kareem didn't. They were teen phenoms. To their Lakers, different levels to greatness. Chill.
What the fuck that got to
Don't
anything?
even,
that's a good
there's no
point.
reason
That's a
to
good
address
point.
this.
That's a
No
Chill, you don't want to
reason
get into that?
No, I don't.
No.
That's a good point right there.
Oh,
Shit.
that we can get into, but all these Jokic super
No.
chats, we just be flying through them.
I mean, shit, we 2 minutes overtime right now.
Yeah, we've had
I'm
Jokic
fucking
conversation.
hungry. I went to live today. I'm hungry as shit. So
Yeah.
Prince,
Prince,
to do.
I hate you.
Prince?
I text your ass and you didn't never text me back. But it's cool though. It's cool. I
who
already
you
know
talking to?
you.
About what?
You know what I text you about working out. You don't want me to look better than you, but I will though. It's all right.
You have to remind me on stuff like that.
I ain't remind
Prince, DJ, J, Marz, stop leaning back. That was a 3-second cutoff. Swiper, I love Invincible, but Invincible fans have to leave Goku, Superman alone because Thrag will get dog walked by them. Yeah, there's not even the same power level. Carson, I don't know if you watch Invincible, but yeah. No. He watches basketball. Prince, DJJ, $5. Penn, I hope they gave your boy Scottie Barnes huge praise because he truly is a great player and an elite tier defender. We did.
I don't think they really did, but that's okay.
Well, I
That's
mean,
a
we let you
subjective
get
one.
your shit off, and then it turned into
Yeah.
an argument with Jordan. We kind of let you have your moment, and it turned into a 30-minute moment.
I want to give a shout out to PC
the way,
for
I never
releasing
said
that
anything
little
bad about you.
reel. The pen was right thing. That should have me laughing. I don't think PC's ever posted anything like positive about me. It's usually just
That's just
me
not
saying
true.
crazy stuff. No. It's actually
you
true.
say a
It's-
lot
it's-
of crazy stuff.
I do say a lot of crazy stuff. I do.
Hey,
also
JD,
say
is that
things
if you're
sometimes.
listening to this in the back, please clip Penn being right about Scottie Barnes.
He be trying to,
already
they be
did.
trying to clip pen good takes, and that shit just don't be on the phone.
It's not easy to clip good takes for me. No, I apart from that one take where it's like this is what defense is and this is what defense is supposed to take away from the offense. I think that was a pretty good one. But most of it is just like Marz quizzing me on how many players Scottie Barnes is better than, and the entire internet thinking I'm absolutely insane because I stood on business, right? But it's like
He said he was a
It's
superstar.
crazy, but I feel you.
That's what he did. He stood on business, man.
I did stand on business.
Yeah.
This is another later conversation. Mars talked about this on the Real Talk show, I think, last night.
Yeah.
Mars, where does Luka
That's
land
it.
on these spreadsheets?
His numbers are actually kind of comparable to Jokic. He has like 2 postseasons that rival 23, and then he has a bunch of like lower tier ones. So his numbers are more in line with Jokic statistically.
Spanish Hode TV, $2. The views will drop when Raptors are talking about. Actually, I can look at that. They actually went back up. They had dropped from 34 to 3 and then back up to 32.50. So Penn and Drench have motion.
Good work, guys.
Dope.
That's why everybody's
we
needed on the show.
got the energy and adrenaline up. That's what it is.
Y'all know
Yeah.
Cyber made that shit up, but go ahead.
No, it was up at 30. It was at 3,800 when we were in the middle of the Jokic segment. So
You're welcome.
yeah, Morrison is no shout. Isaiah Evans 6187 $2. Let Chill finish a sentence.
That's
Chill, I
Isaiah
realize
Evans
this.
declaring for the draft, by the way.
Who?
Isaiah
Isaiah
Evans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Chill, I
And
realize that
Cam Boozer should pick him. They got great chemistry together.
when you get in arguments, Chill, it's like
Yeah.
people want it to dimmer and like, you know what I mean? Everybody else gets in arguments, but when you get in arguments, it's like just let Chill talk, let Chill finish.
Yeah,
Chill,
respect your elders. What was talking about?
no, Chill likes he gets in the squabbles. Chill can defend himself. You know, he does it all the time. Melo Williams, $24, $2. Dyson Daniels putting Brunson in hell and the kill. Yeah.
And the kill, yeah.
Brian Cook, 7696 $2. Be honest with me. Is Rudy stopping Shaq?
No,
Hell no.
it's real simple.
He
No,
doesn't have the strength.
Oh, okay.
Peyton, there's no reason to look into the stars. No, move on.
Rudy Gobert is a
no.
very underrated defender.
Yes, he
Swiper,
is.
carry on with the super chats,
No.
please.
He wouldn't
No.
have a bad game versus Rudy.
Swiper,
No.
carry on with the super
Okay,
chats.
hold on.
Oh.
He is a 7
Swiper,
foot one.
please
No.
carry on with
Yeah,
the super
it's
He is
fine.
a 7'1". He is a 7'1" human being with a 7'9"
Shaq
wingspan.
would eat his lunch.
Well,
You're a-
I tried. I'll
Yeah,
see you guys on Monday.
No. Spanish Jose TV, $2. What do you mean by these people, Pin? Again, gaslight. That's a crazy gaslight. No need.
Who said that?
I don't. Spanish Jose. He's trolling. Spanish Jose TV, $2 super chat. Give us a host that highlights the 199 $2 people. What are we going through right now? We're going
What
through
are
the
we
$2.
doing?
Ron does not chill read the $2
No, he doesn't.
in any way. shape,
You
or
are,
form.
but you are a man of the people. There you go.
Sleeper Kieran _ $5. No
Yeah,
super
man.
chat.
Popeyes in a minute. Chill. Shall fucking.
Was
No,
Dikembe Mutombo a better defender than Rudy Gobert?
At 31 years old.
He was
Yes, at
34
31.
actually. He was 34 when he first
34, yeah.
Yeah, he was 34.
Was
No.
he better?
No,
Probably.
no.
Almighty Lambo 9540 $5. Yeah, we frauds, but you only showed up when your bum A team finally won a game. Congrats, Scottie. Still won't see a game 6 chump El Pin El Bozo.
What's up
Well,
with that?
you know, El Bozo, dumbass. I actually showed up after game 1. Where were you?
We got
Nah, that's
Eli, damn fit, whatever, free
Am I
throws,
lying?
FT,
Uh-uh.
$2. CJ McCollum, Steve Nash. Hey man, look, CJ been hooping lately, Drench. Shout out to him.
He is. I still think his ass is 6 man too, but shit, I ain't tripping.
Making Jalen Brunson look like a 7th man then. We got Demarion Lampkin, 5'6", $5. Put some respect on CJ, JJ, and JK, the new JT and JB of the East. Top 4 pick loading. Hawks about to run the East death of small
Here
guard.
we
Chill.
go. Here we
If they
go.
get a top 4
Fine.
pick though,
Here we go.
That's the new OKC.
Here we
Y'all
go.
are about to get smacked to hell in the next round if you get through.
will they get past the first round and the Raptors don't
If
though?
they-
Would that be a successful season?
The Cavaliers are a title contender.
Are they?
Yes, they
Yes.
are.
The Knicks are also like, I mean,
A title contender. The Knicks are better than the Caps.
I
No,
don't
they're
think
not.
so.
Yes, they
They
have
are
been
not
better than
Caps. They're not better than the
They've been
Caps.
better all year than the Caps. What
I
are you
don't
talking
think
about?
so.
Irrelevant because
Not
the
bullshit.
Cavaliers haven't
Irrelevant.
had the Cavaliers have been healthy. This is like saying
And San Antonio has been better all year than Denver. So does that mean that if they see him in the playoffs,
Well, Denver's a horrible matchup for them. I don't think the Knicks are a
that's
bad.
not what I asked you.
Swipe it.
It's not about them
It's
being a
matchups.
horrible matchup.
Swipe it. When you
Matter of
have-
fact, the Spurs are better than Denver actually.
So if
when
they saw them in the
when you have
playoffs,
time, consider the fact that Cleveland Cavaliers team added a Hall of Fame guard.
Who?
It's complete.
James Harden.
James
You don't even
Harden.
like James Harden, Penn.
It's irrelevant whether I like a player or not. I'm still going to cover them objectively. And objectively speaking, that dude has completely changed and transformed their entire offense. And
Penn,
frankly, the fact that they look, do me a favor to anybody out there who has Data Baller or whatever site you use for your on-off metrics. Go look at the numbers defensively with Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, and Dean Wade on the court, and tell me that is not a scary ass defense.
I can do the same thing with the Knicks.
No, you can't.
No,
Yes, you
you
can.
can't.
No, you
Their
cannot.
defensive, their defense
you
when they have
cannot.
OG and Mikal and Mitchell on the floor.
Go ahead, do it.
Well, we don't have time. We can do it next show.
Okay.
Red Hood 6'3", 7'8", $5. Jalen Brunson is an A, B+ player. who thinks he's on the same level as an A+ and S+ player. He's not that guy.
Does he
Who else
think
you
that,
got?
or does his team just need him to be that? You know what I mean?
Those two things are not the same thing.
Yeah,
They're not.
like
No.
whether he thinks so or not, they've built their team around him being that.
Yes.
So
Alpha SS Super Saiyan X $5. Just want to say Luka led a better playoff adjusted offense in 2022 and Jokic did in 2023 for NBA ramp. Food for thought. Yeah, I think that's where you start getting into the weeds a little bit, but yeah, definitely is possible. Shout out to that. Appreciate that.
This is a relatively small sample size, but the lineup data with Dean Wade, Jared Allen, and Evan Mobley so far in the playoffs is plus 31.3 net rating.
Yeah, they're cooking. They're looking good right now versus the Raptors. Minnesota Timberwolves FC's 5 pounds, whatever. I missed most of the stream today, but Gobert is the great kid defender ever. Name me one person better than 2026 April Goober. So I do like that people are finally coming around on Rudy Gobert.
That's great. I love this. Yes.
Yeah.
I love this. He's
He's overhated.
He plays as a defender.
Very hated person.
Yes.
Very hated person. Trey Ray, $10 plus. How many starting PGs aren't bad defenders are getting picked on the flip? As much as it hurts to say if Cade was our PG, we'd probably be better on both ends. For the Knicks fans. I agree, Chill.
I do too.
Cade's been better this year. Next up, $5. We got something random. 3801, 5 pounds. I'm baffled that Caleb Downs went 11th. I know that NFL don't value the position like that, but sometimes you just got to choose talent over the nonsense.
How can you not value the position of safety when you live in such a pass-heavy league? Like, the safety is one of the most important. The safety, the pass rusher, and the left tackle. Those three guys are three of the most important people in the game. So it's just that getting downs is going to be huge for that group. Huge.
Agree. Christophagus Gonis, $5. You can win with small guard. Your best player can't be small 5'11" midget guard. So basically 6'3" and above. Thoughts on Jokic scoring and off? Some have said he's the best scorer because relative true shooting and play, finishing, no face-ups, can't turn over both shoulders. Again, that's just another thing that's also not true. 9-2 nasty, 5 pounds. I want to see the playoff matches handled like the championship league, could do a division champs or just the normal 1-8 seeds, randomized, better comp. We talked about that before.
I've actually been I'm coming more on the side of this 116 thing. I actually don't hate it.
Yeah.
I don't.
Void Century, YouTube, my boy told me he's always looked at CJ as a poor man's Kyrie. I didn't agree at first, but after giving it some thought, he might be right. Thoughts, panel?
No.
Incredible handle and touch, though.
Kyrie is crazy.
A poor man's Kyrie Irving? No.
Chill, he does have incredible like handle and touch though for like a guard. Like he
has a great handle.
He does have a great handle. No question about it.
Is he like the Ron Harper of this era?
Hell no.
Yeah. I mean, Ron was better, but
just so we clear, I think this season marks the only time in NBA history that a guy averaged 20 a game for 7 years and did not make the All-Star team.
7 in a row?
Yes.
Sheesh.
Well, if the Hawks are a better team next year, he'll make an All-Star team. Provided he sticks around.
No player in NBA history has averaged 20 a game more than CJ and not made the All-Star
not a free agent? He is a free agent.
He's expiring contract.
This is contract.
34 years old.
Yeah, come be a backup, CJ McCollum. I got something for you. Next up here.
A backup to Christian Brown?
No, he's your starting two guard.
Once more into the fray, $2 Drench Man never even met a French man.
My grandpa.
So yes, he did. So
Creole?
I guess if that's what you want to call it. My grandpa, mom spoke zero English.
Oh wow.
Zero.
Did we have a whole conversation on here about French colonies in Texas one day, Chill?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Definitely Louisiana. But first of all, French Indian, by the way. But my grandpa speak French. Like actual, well, he rest in peace to him, but he spoke French. So.
When he was around, when Granddad was around, he spoke French.
Sure. What's French Indian?
Nobody else. It's Creole. That's what it is. Creole, pretty much. French
Drench,
Indian.
Was he dark skinned like you, Drench, or was he light skinned?
No, he light skinned. Okay. My great grandmother, his mom, she was like light as hell. Like super light. Yeah.
Yeah. Once more into the fray, 7 again, $2. Penn disrespected Drench. First come up for air chat. This was when they were having their deliberation.
I don't know, man.
Xavian, or however you pronounce that, Allen, $2. So who all on the panel got SGA best in the world again?
I got SGA the best in the world too.
The funny thing after that first game, I know people were up here saying he's out of those conversations, and then so I know just the chat, quite literally the chat. Yeah. Tyler Talley, 71982 $2. Haven't said no help yet. 1 hour ago, blamed off ball.
I don't know what that means.
Pimp name Slipback 7780, $5. Telling y'all if they lose the series, Knicks fans going to turn on Brunson. Also, chill shout out to your Mets for getting out of the cellar. Yanks 8 straight.
Garbage. 12 straight games.
You a Mets
trash.
Swipe out. I know.
Unbelievable.
I know you're a
garbage.
dub host, but
no pitching.
I think
second base suck. Trash.
I think we need to stop being so communistic about these super chats.
I'll get through all of them.
No, I'm saying like some people have spent $20 and we're spending 2 seconds answering some of these super chats.
There's only $20 at the end of it. That's in at the end of the show. So I will get to
Carson, can you give me something that you absolutely despise? Just one thing that you absolutely despise.
In terms of what, like just
period, just something that you despise.
I'll give you a hot take I have. I wish charges were not in the game of basketball anymore.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, swear to God. And when I played basketball, like I took charges. I think offensive fouls should only be called when the player clearly pushes off or does something out of control, dips a shoulder. But like when a guy is driving to the paint and someone comes over last minute, doesn't try to contest, and they just get in the way and fall, I don't like that. That's a reward for the defense. I don't.
Well, I want you to do, Carson, is I want you to times that by 10. That's how I feel about the Yankees. There you go. Now
I'm a Dodger fan, so we took care of that.
As you were saying,
I don't like the pass and crash one on Chill. Where they fucking pass the ball and they set a charge on that shit. The pass and crash. That shit is ass.
And then getting through this, the super chat that came in at exactly 2:10 that Penn wants to answer. Cold Train 26, $20. Penn, you're on your knees for Jokic. I'm behind and Marz is cooking. You keep bringing up irrelevant points instead of acknowledging Jokic not as good as the other elite off players in the playoffs. You straw man Marz points.
I don't think I straw man Marz's points. I was trying to, quite frankly, highlight one of the most important points that he was bringing up, which is why I do believe that Jokic has dropped a little bit in the playoffs because of how he creates advantages. I think what Marz brought up was a very salient point in regards to how players find advantages as passers. And I do think that there is a massive difference between how Allen Iverson, Derrick Rose, LeBron James, guys like this find passes, and how Larry Bird and Nikola Jokic find passes. Tim Duncan finds passes, and they're not the same. And I think that you need different roster builds and different types of players and different types of stars to go with those players based on their strengths. I don't personally believe the Nuggets have always done the best job of building around Nikola Jokic, but I don't believe that that's always his fault. I'm not saying he's blameless. He could definitely be a better defender. He could be a lot more consistent. He could, work on his shot selection. It's unfortunate that he went as cold as he did from three in so many stretches throughout his season.
I think that's a fair point, but I think the flip side to that is that when you are at that level and you have that label of being said player and you are compared to those players who delivered consistently at that level, it's difficult to not criticize him at that level.
I think it's sort of weird, right? Because a lot of the players at that level have wanted to be put in conversations at that level, right? Sure. You have LeBron James. He declares, I'm the greatest player of all time. You have, Magic, Bird. These guys, they all are chasing this legacy thing. And quite frankly, like there's a lot of players in this league, I'm sure they're not happy unless they're scoring 25. That's not a good game.
That's a fair. That is fair. Sure.
And they're really not happy unless they're an all-star, all NBA, winning MVPs and all this stuff. I think what Nikola Jokic represents, to me at least, is a departure from all of that individualistic, narrative bullshit. It really is just about his team. And if his team is losing, he doesn't care if he has 30 points or 12 points or 2 points, or if Rudy Gobert is winning the one-on-one matchup. I don't think any of this really matters for him. And sometimes, you look at a player and they don't bring their A game, and you're just like, did they know that their team just didn't have it? And how do you treat a player in that situation, right? Like, how do you treat? Pardon?
I said that could be to his detriment. Like for him to not give a shit that Rudy Gobert is out playing him. I think that's part of it.
I agree with you, Jordan. So the thing is, the first thing I said was I think the Nuggets need to play with a lot more pride and they need to get angry. get angry that you're getting
Jokic
punked.
needs to play with a lot more pride. Like I'm the best player on the fucking court.
And this dude shouldn't be kicking my ass.
Yeah, like that. Like that's the whole thing. But
I just want to ask y'all actually, because this is pertinent to the point that like everything we've been talking about. How do you think the rest of the series folds out, and how specifically for the Nuggets and for Jokic?
Game 4 is going to tell me everything about this series.
I think Jokic is going to dominate for the rest of the series.
Game 4 is going to tell me everything about this series. They get their ass kicked in Game 4, the series is over. They're not winning another game.
Jokic is going to dominate for the rest of the series. I don't know if the Nuggets going to kick ass, but I know Jokic is going to dominate for the rest of the series. He's a great player, so like when he has some bad showings like this, he usually follow it up with something huge. So I'm agreeing with Swipe, but that 50-point game probably gonna come, or 40-point
like
game.
a 40-20, like a 40-20-15 game Swipe on good efficiency. Like you see that coming?
Yeah, that's definitely coming.
If he decides to be a man, I can't speak for it because I don't know Jokic's mentality, bro. I'm still trying to evaluate him.
We're not questioning a person's manhood because they didn't.
I'm obviously gonna say what I want, and I
100% you can do that.
Yeah, go be a man and go play better. That's just it's not even like a
game.
dance. It's just go play better.
Pushed around.
Yeah, go play better. Yeah, it's not even like that. Go play better.
Pushed around.
You're going so far away.
I'm not going so far. This is how I feel.
You're going. Is this really how you feel?
Yeah, you. People don't watch my shows, Joe. That's literally what I
show. I literally.
I'm saying I think you are the reason why your team is losing and you are folding. So yes, go out there and handle your business and step up to the floor and do your job. There's no if and a. You don't get to be best, Carson. This is the difference. You just meet me. You don't get to be best in the world and then do this. Like I'm saying, this is the standard. This is the standard. You meet that standard. You meet the standard, or
he'll respond. He'll respond, right? I expect that too. And Minnesota's in trouble because Ant doesn't have the same burst he always has, right? So he can't necessarily. I don't think he can go tit for tat with Jokic in terms of at his best, Jokic at his best. I don't think that's there for them. I think Ant is. I mean, we know he's playing compromise. Like if Jokic is back to playing like he can, they're in trouble.
And they're going back home. They win Game 4. They're back home too in Game 5. And then all of a sudden, it's like if the Nuggets make any of their threes pin. Like the series could be, I mean, that's the thing. Like shot variance is shot variance, right? Yeah. And then I said this. Chill starts to show. Jokic played terrific defense last night. Just couldn't get any shots to go down. Get the chat ready for what's happening. Then we got another members chat. Trey Ray, member for 11 months. I still believe in Brunson as number one option, as Drench pointed out. You take the good with the bad, and it's not like he's telling other 4 people not to get back on the break.
That's fair.
So transition defense was bad,
but also like if your best player isn't a good defender, I usually think you're not going to hold up in the playoffs as a good defense. Like you're not going to be able to quarterback a great defense if your star player does not care on that end.
Yeah, I agree. Zigzag puzzle member for 10 months. CMB out there playing like a 10-year vet pen.
Penn, you and we had a real extensive discussion on him when y'all drafted him. I love that kid. I think he's exactly what you guys needed. Now you need a 5-man.
Awesome. Like,
yes,
chill. He's like a 4-5. Like, there's so many players that have come to mind watching him play. The other day, I did a ranking of the top Raptors rookies as defenders. Where do you think he ranked all time? I'm talking. Let me give you some names: Chris Bosh,
Marcus Camby,
OG Anunoby, Marcus Camby, Scottie Barnes, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet. We have had some.
Marcus Camby wasn't a rookie. I'm sorry.
Marcus Camby was a rookie. He was a rookie with the Raptors. Yes.
Okay, he was a rookie. I'm sorry.
Yep. Where do you think CMB ranked in my little internal?
Because I know how high you are on him. I'm going to say top 3.
Chill. He was number 1. I didn't even have Scottie top 5, or maybe Scottie was 5th. He is the best rookie defender I have seen in a Raptors uniform.
That block that he had at the rim on Jared Allen, that was an adult block.
Chill.
That was a grown-up block.
No mismatch for him. He is guarding Harden, Mitchell, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, and the bonus is he had real touch issues around the rim earlier in the season.
Yep.
Where he wasn't really able to put it up. He was kind of overthinking things. He was passing out. They worked with him. I would also say, let me not get too hyperbolic. This is the best single season development I have ever seen in a Raptors player ever.
Includes DeMar DeRozan?
From single season.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like from the minute I walked in the door, from
the end of that season
to April. Wow,
best. This is the best.
Wow,
I have seen Scottie grow in ways. I have seen, Terrence Ross. I've seen Chris Bosh. I've seen a lot of these guys take a mid-season jump. I have never seen a guy go from, I don't know if he's ever going to be a paint scorer, to the dude is shooting 75% against in the paint against like the best two defenders, and he's going right through their body. And there was this little quote that kind of gives you an insight into who this guy is. I'll share two real quick quotes with you because I really do think this kid is like really deserving of some shine. I'm sorry, Swiper, to take up some more time, but I think this guy really deserves it. There was a quote from training camp where he was asked about his physicality and what he brings and how his teammates are, talking about how he's locking up and he's really been a pest and difficult to be around. And his few word response was, "I lift, bro."
I'm strong.
And then yesterday, he was asked about how he feels about being the youngest, the only Raptors rookie to ever score 20 points in a game, ever. And he said the same way I felt before the game.
There you go. Sounds like he's confident in who he is. I like that.
Shout out CMB, man. He's earned a lot of love. Devin Ligier, 8090. This is about to be a nasty episode.
I didn't think it was nasty. I thought it was good, Swiper.
I mean, if certain people were here, it would have been even nastier. But, the grace, we got a chance to talk about more ball than narratives. Ray, the light bearer, remember 5 months, Nuggets equal food. They all bad defenders. This is going to be so funny if they get out and defend well again. And then we just get back here.
Shout out to being food.
Yeah, man. Shout out to being food.
We need more negativity.
Please.
All of it.
And I'm not a toxic dude, Carson. I'm not. But I'm actually I'm looking for the toxicity.
He isn't.
I'm looking for it.
In that one bag, remember, for 32 months, look at the DM Marz I sent, 85 to 96 Jordan relative offensive rating numbers. Yeah, shout out. Remember, Shat. Got another members, 33 months, Alan R. Shout out to you. A big bro Marz. How them Luka offenses looking. Marz touched on it a little bit. Baby Shaq 0078, remember, for 16 months. Swipe it is a big A crybaby. I just realized that if I don't say exactly what y'all want when y'all want, y'all don't like it. But you know what? Sign up and get in line, bro. Sign up and get in line, bro.
That's what
yeah,
it
man.
Is,
Gabe Too Funny 01, member for 27 months. Do Penn and Swipe even have Jokic as the best?
He's not even top 10 for me. He's not even top 10 for me.
Mr. Sauceman 123, remember, for 25 months. Swipe a best and worst picks in NFL draft.
I think you had mentioned that already, Swiper. You talked about Downs.
Yeah. Now Chiefs fans are disgusted they traded up for Mansour Delane, the corner out of LSU. I think he's a really good player, but that's a good bit to move up, and they gave a little bit of value for him. I think Caleb Downs falling is big. I am not a Ty Simpson dude. If he works out, he works out, but they could have got an actual contributor. The Rams drafted Ty Simpson at 13, Joe.
What that reminded me of is when Washington drafted RG3 and then they drafted Kirk Cousins in the third round. I think they drafted him for insurance. Like, if this thing doesn't work out, we're gonna develop this kid.
Do you think Ty Simpson's like a good enough to be a number 13 overall pick and then be like a replacement though?
I think that if you can groom him and turn him into a legit, not dink and dunk guy, but I think that if you can groom him and turn him into a legit pocket passer, yes, I think that he can, and get him a legit running game. Yeah, I think that he could help. Yes.
Yeah, look, the Packers did it with Jordan Love, so maybe.
And worst case scenario, Swiper, if why am I drawing a blank on his name? The quarterback that they drafted ahead of him.
Matt Stafford. Mendoza.
If Mendoza actually turns out to be the real deal, then like you got a nugget here that you can trade and get something for.
Well, Mendoza went to the Raiders. The Rams, and then the Rams were the one that drafted Ty Simpson to replace Matthew Stafford. Yeah. Look, Matthew's 38 years old. So you know how it works in quarterbacks. If you got a quarterback that gets old,
I don't know how much
longer
he's going to play. Yeah, I don't even know how much longer he's going to play.
Cheese, remember, for 32 months, all I can say, I'm just disappointed.
That's my fault.
That's all good. It happens. Disappointed. This is about Jokic.
Yep.
I think everybody disappointed except for his haters. Jordakai 03. Somebody give this dude some damn creatine. Damn, this is about Francis Malgo when I was yelling, I think, Joe. Miles left, remember, 31 months. Wolves fans stay front running, job not done. Now, this is a lot of front running. So they do have to finish the job, but they do feel confident. Real talk, remember, for 7 months, W. Carson, you got a lot of love today. You did a great job today, bro.
Appreciate you.
The variant is your new name, apparently. Icarus 2003, remember, for 2 months. Would you say SGA is the most hated since who? I don't think Chill is SGA's even.
I don't think he's hated. No, I don't think he's hated at all. Not to that extent. Hell no.
We've never done an hour and a half tangent on SGA.
Yes.
Ever. Yeah.
No.
I hate how he's officiated. That's it. I don't hate SGA. But.
Yeah. Shouts. And then we got Prince DJJ became a YouTube member. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. We got Sincerely Control 9316 became a YouTube member. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. We got Steven the Great became a YouTube member. Thank you so much for the love. We got Master Chief. Yep, Master Chief. Shout out to Halo. Became a YouTube member. Shout out to you. Appreciate it. We got Kalen06 became a YouTube member. Thank you for joining the family. And we got Business Blackwater TV became a YouTube member. Thank you so much for that.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Williams 9237 became a YouTube member. Appreciate it. Welcome to the family. And then we got that guy Shay or Shell became a YouTube member. Thank you so much for joining. And then we got Lamrex, whatever 3 became a YouTube member. Appreciate it. And then we got Magar Melanin.
Yep.
1578 became a YouTube member. Appreciate it. And then we got Trey Ray became a YouTube member, very active today as well. And then we got Anime's First Fan 90 became a YouTube member. Pinned. Is there anything else that I'm missing? Do you see any more stars?
Yes, I do see something. There are
Okay.
3 games tonight. Can we get a quick prediction from everybody up here? Can we just get a quick
Sure.
Boston Philly?
I'm going to take Boston. I think Boston goes in there and gets back on track. Mm-hmm.
I got Boston.
I
Carson?
got Boston too. Yeah.
Okay, I got Boston as well.
Yep.
Lakers versus Houston, back in Houston.
I don't trust the Houston at all. Chill. I'm taking Lakers.
They are 8.5-point underdogs.
I think Houston gets it together tonight. I do.
Yeah.
I think they get it together tonight. Yes, I'm going to take Houston in this.
I think their role players will play a lot better.
Yes.
I'm narrowly going towards Houston in this one. Carson?
I'm gonna lean Houston. I feel like they gotta have at least a modicum of pride and shame. But if it's close at the end, I'm trusting LeBron over KD.
Shouts, man.
And then San Antonio, Portland.
I might take Portland tonight. No Wemby.
I'm not might. I think that I think they grabbed this. I think they grabbed this series by the horns. I do. I think the Trailblazers grabbed this series by the horns.
I'm going to go San Antonio here. I think when they look at the film, they're going to see how much they need to attack Scoot Henderson on the defensive end. That dude is not a good defender. He is not a good defender.
I disagree with that. I do. I really do.
Like
and I'd love to have this conversation some other time, Ben, but I do disagree with that.
Appreciate everybody for joining up today. We had well over 85 super chats today. Well over 85 super chats. We appreciate the fact that y'all joined, continue to contribute. Chill. Thank you so much, Marz. Thank you so much, Penn. Thank you so much, Carson. Great job today. Drench, everybody that participated in the show. This was great. This is Player's Choice. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Y'all know what time it is. We'll see you.
Bring him back
on
often.
the other side.
Peace, y'all.
See you
yes,
soon.
sir.